Why?
Let's go!
This show fucking stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for it.
AJ, you never cease to amaze me with your toxicity, pal.
You got a couple of these?
God damn it!
What the fuck are you doing?
Fuck Boston.
Hello, beautiful people. Welcome to our humble abode, the Thunderdome. On this Winter Wednesday, March 8th, 2023, this sports program starts right now.
Collusion!
I did not know that was going to be the word that we yell, but there's certainly a lot of conversation happening around why nobody in the NFL is seemingly interested in having Lamar Jackson be their quarterback. So many teams who are quarterback needy in a quarterback needed league came out publicly immediately upon Lamar Jackson being non-exclusively franchise tagged yesterday and saying, we're not in the race. Insiders were doing the job of every general manager and team. Falcons are not interested. What? Commanders are not interested. What? This team's not interested. What? They're not interested. That quickly, you're not interested in Lamar Jackson, which led to a lot of people who have big brains about football saying something seems up. We'll talk about that today. We'll talk about what team will Lamar Jackson end up at. We'll talk about Danny Dimes at the buzzer yesterday, right before the franchise tag had to be placed upon Danny Dimes. They were able to negotiate a 4-year, $160 million deal, incentives up to $195 million, and he's getting $82 million guaranteed. If he survives year one, is on the Giants next year, it is a $94 million guarantee for Danny Dimes and the New York Giants. Congrats on getting your money, Danny Dimes. That negotiation was long, and with a lot of people thinking about Lamar Jackson, this guy just got $94 million guaranteed, 4 years, $195 million. Okay?
Something to think about.
Okay? We're happy for Danny Dimes. Because Danny Dimes got a deal done, Saquon Barkley got franchise tagged. That all happened in a matter of actually 4 minutes yesterday. Saquon Barkley obviously was looking for a long-term deal. The Giants were looking to keep both Daniel Jones and Saquon. They were able to get the deal done with Danny Dimes, put the franchise tag on Saquon Barkley, kick the can down the road with him, and they get their basic core intact that they've had for the last couple of years, showing incredible promise just a year ago. Tough division over there, though. That NFC East is a tough division. Who knows how they'll be able to make it happen? The Lamar Jackson question is going to continue to linger as we talk about every single piece of news today. Today's show is packed.
Hell yeah.
We got Mike Greenberg joining us in about 26 minutes. He's obviously the tip of the spear whenever it comes to being a New York Jets fan publicly. Aaron Rodgers has obviously met with Woody Johnson yesterday in California. 11 hours, allegedly. Woody Johnson spent in Southern California courting Aaron Rodgers, is how Matt Schneidman, who's a reporter for the Green Bay Packers, phrased it. We do not have any inside information from that man holding that football in that particular graphic, but everybody is saying that this is real. So if the Packers allowed the Jets to talk to him, does that mean the Packers have moved on from Aaron Rodgers? Are the Jets the only answer? Are the Jets going to be in on any other quarterbacks if they don't land Aaron Rodgers? Is Aaron Rodgers going to retire? Is he going to play? Seems like he's going to play.
Yes.
He's going to play for the Jets, but we do not know that as to be true. We'll hear what Greeny knows because he obviously has sources inside of the Jets. DeAndre Hopkins will join us.
Whoa. Okay.
Wait, D-Hop?
And before we get to D-Hop, the Talk Tables here at Boston Connor, at Ty Schmidt. One half of the Hammer,
Dahn.
Cowboys, Tone Diggs is here. Great neutral colors today. You really crushed
Big
it.
earth tone guy.
Yeah, you really crushed it today. And back on stage, in the studio yet again, a fucking joy to have in the Thunderdome. Adam Pac-Man Jones is here.
Yeah.
Pac. He's the reason D-Hop's coming on the show today.
Yes.
Smell me.
Yeah, that was huge. That was a big deal.
Yeah.
Especially with everything going on with D-Hop right now. Obviously, he requested a trade from Arizona. Arizona has a brand new GM and a brand new head coach. D-Hop has 2 years left on his contract. So it's almost like perfect timing for both parties. Monty, who's the new GM, former player for the Patriots, he knows that he's trying to build this team up and become successful. D-Hop has 2 years left. So if he was to trade D-Hop right now, which D-Hop requested, next year they'll take all of the financial hit. The year after that, they'll be completely free. So thinking about the future for Monty makes sense to be like, all right, even though DeAndre Hopkins is an absolute dog, they're trying to rebuild that program over there. DeAndre Hopkins has a lot of incredible football left. Where's he going to end up? Now, when he did get suspended, he lost his no-trade clause. So technically, Monty and the Cardinals could trade him wherever they find and whatever they think is the best deal for the Arizona Cardinals. We'll ask him if he feels like that's probably how it's going to go. What are his thoughts on it all? And where he kind of sits as of this exact moment. Because you're talking about one of the greatest wide receivers in the history of football.
Game changer.
He's got a hand the size of a fucking skillet.
Yep.
Right, doesn't he?
Oh, yeah.
Massive
Toilet
ball.
seat.
The only thing I remember is, you remember they buried a live Undertaker in one of those WWE things? I actually watched a documentary on it. They buried it alive. And then at the very end, everybody thought he was dead. Oh, they just killed a guy. They buried him alive. He can't breathe through the dirt. He fucking sticks his purple glove up through the dirt and then moves it. And the whole place goes crazy. That's how they end it.
Love you, Take.
Miss you, Take.
What?
Great. We haven't done it in a long time. You guys
Yeah.
still on. There it is, right there. That is exactly what happened in the Barry Live match. That's the D-Hop catch against the Buffalo Bills.
Oh, yeah.
If you do recall, his hand with that Jordan glove just sticks up through everybody somehow. Boom. Kind of just grabs it as if the ball could and comes down. He's a dog. Cardinals were much different whenever he was on the field versus whenever he was not on the field for either an injury or whatever was taking place. But everybody's going to think, oh, he's not going to be able, he's going to get hurt, he's going to get hurt. 139 straight fucking games with a reception, this guy. In Houston with I don't know how many quarterbacks. Then he gets traded for a second rounder and a running back, I believe, over to Arizona. They go through turnover over there. I mean, it's just like he's been through it. I think he's going to be quite a weapon for somebody. And I don't think his cap hit is nearly that crazy for the talent that they're going to get. Can't wait to chat with him. Thank you, Pac, for making that happen. And then the third hour, we got KJ Osborne. Wide receiver out of the U, is on the Minnesota Vikings currently. If they move on from Adam Thielen, KJ will probably be the number 2. And obviously the world remembers KJ Osborne because in the largest comeback in NFL history, where the Colts were up 33-0 at halftime against the Minnesota Vikings, and then the Minnesota Vikings came back and won, he had 155 fucking yards in that game. He was basically the comeback that led to Jeff Saturday probably not wanting to coach in the NFL ever again. Can't wait to talk with him. He saved a guy's life alongside 2 other people. Hopped out of his Uber, another car stopped. There was a burning car. They go in, pull the person out of the burning car, save a life. Obviously, it's a huge story. I think Good Morning Football, Good Morning America, everybody's talking about. He's stopping by. We're very thankful to chat with him. And obviously, AJ Hawk will be here. It's a hell of a fucking Wednesday, boys.
Jam-packed. I mean, it's unbelievable. And what KJ, Bruce said, he's currently in school. Dude, he's studying to get his, what criminology was it?
Yeah.
Criminal justice?
A master's.
A master's,
In some sort of
catch serial
police
killers.
operation. Yeah, he's getting Dahmer.
Yeah, say he want to be an FBI agent.
Oh,
Boom. He
Peanut.
wants to get Dahmer.
Yeah.
He wants to get Dahmer out
Peanut
there.
Tillman.
Okay, so let's dive in here, Pac. Danny Dimes' deal gets done 4 minutes before I think it was 5 minutes before the franchise tag deadline. At 4, they closed it. Remember a couple years ago, the Browns couldn't send a fax?
Yeah,
that
that's
was
right.
for AJ McCarron.
AJ McCarron.
Yeah, they weren't able to get the fax in time or whatever. That's how much technology has changed. So I guess they can run it up to the clock because it just is an email send and they can check receipts when you send it, what do you want to do. They get it in right at the buzzer. Then they franchise tag Saquon Barkley. We thought that was going to happen. Did we expect $94 million guaranteed, $195 million deal for Danny Dimes? What are your thoughts on that whole thing, Pac?
I think this is a big waste of money for the Giants. Nothing against D. Jones. He's a good player, but that's a lot of money. I think they was rushing to get a deal done because they haven't won a playoff game or been to the playoff and God knows when. But, hey, they got to get a deal done. We'll see how it panned out this year.
Okay, Pac, so you think that just...
I think it's a waste.
No, I know. Looking from outside in, there's a way you can believe that because for the first 3 years of Danny Dimes' contract, it wasn't really much.
They didn't pick up his 5th-year option.
Joe Judge was his fucking head coach.
Yeah.
Garrett was calling plays.
Dude, they were setting up for punts. Remember that? They were trying to get the punter into the game.
Yep.
QB sneak.
So, in the offensive line was absolutely horrendous. This past year, they did well. Bruce is back there, who's a Giants fan. Bruce was 6 to midnight whenever he found out that Danny Dimes and Saquon will be back next year. Is it because this past year was basically what you guys have been hoping for the first 3 years of Danny and Saquon being together? Is that basically the case?
Yeah, it's also like what's kind of the alternative. We're probably, too low down in the draft to get a top quarterback. Look at like bringing in Jimmy G for, what would it be, like 36, 37? Does that make you any better? It's exciting to kind of keep the young, the young core going.
They'll say they already went through the learning curve. Like he already sucked. Now he's at the point where he's good. Do you believe that or no?
Well, like he just said, that's probably the best deal they could have signed.
Well, Lamar's potentially.
Yeah, he's out there.
Lamar's potentially available. Aaron is getting courted by the Johnson & Johnson vaccine creator.
Interesting.
Woody Johnson. I mean, Jimmy G is out there. They're all going to cost money, though.
Yeah.
All these guys are going to cost money.
New
so
system for them.
I don't know. What's up, Tony?
I mean, Daniel Jones had one of the greatest playoff games of all time. Got to
right
pay
about
the
that.
guy.
Well, and he was throwing to me, Diggs, and Ty. Like
Yeah.
we were the 1, 2, and 3 wide
What happened with
receivers.
Galladay over there? That just did.
He got.
They were Isaiah Hodgins. Like who the fuck was that?
That was a dime. You remember that
4
ball?
months
that
ago?
came
Oh yeah,
down?
on the
yeah.
money.
I think the most recent, going into his free agency, his most recent games were by far his best games.
For sure.
Business-wise, couldn't have lined up any fucking better.
Yeah.
And it was the first system with Dayball, who's an actual coach of offensive football.
Yes.
No offense to Joe Judge, incredible special teams coordinator, but that was quite a wild time in the New York Giants history. I'm happy they got a deal done. Saquon's not pumped.
No.
Saquon could not be pumped. Yeah, this is 3rd and 9 on the 4. Let's make sure we get some good space for the punter, which I appreciate and respect because you're going to want to get that thing outside the 5. 15 yards, normally the amount of space it is for a punt operation. If it's a little bit shorter than that, you are dancing with a block. And stats tell us that if you get a punt blocked, you're going to lose, like, I think 80% of the games or something like that. So that's what numbers say. So I appreciate the fact that they were doing this. But then afterwards, he said he wanted to get the punter into the game.
That's right.
Like, wanted to get him into a flow.
Yep.
Once again, I appreciate that. Would love to hit a ball early. Would love to get into it. But I think a lot of football fans were like, hey, pal, let's
Trying to
fucking
score points
Yeah.
here.
Let's
Win the game.
Let's move the ball maybe in a different fashion, and maybe there's a chance we can pick up a first down with a play. You can run a similar play, still have a chance of picking up a first down as well. 3rd and 9, not necessarily inconceivable, but that whole scene and that offensive line that it was running, it was a shit show. It was an
Terrible.
absolute shit show, and I don't blame that on anybody other than obviously just wrong pieces being in places together. That's never going to work out. I do like the fact that Joe Judge, when he got fired, had a pizza and beer party.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Remember
awesome.
that?
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Joe Judge gets fired.
carrying
8 racks.
He was fucking, I think it
Yeah,
was
yeah, yeah.
Dolly.
Yeah, I had a dolly carrying
Like he was
it
at
in, yeah.
Costco. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Coming in with pizza and beer.
Right.
And they were like, Joe Judge is having one last get together with the boys.
Actually, that was all just for Patricia, but the rest of it was behind him. But
Patricia was not on that staff.
No, but Patricia's not passing up a beer and pizza party. He was probably there.
if he could
Matt
find
Patricia
his,
wasn't traveling, okay, from
well, no, he
New
couldn't, he
England.
couldn't
I don't
find
know.
his keys and wallet to get there. But
That was a hilarious story that did happen with Matt Patricia, one
Yep.
Radio Row year that we do not have to dive into. But nonetheless, Danny gets paid. Saquon Barkley can't be happy about this. Saquon Barkley, obviously, any player at a real position who has displayed incredible talent, which Saquon had his best year last year.
Yeah.
Last year was his
By
best
far.
year. A couple injuries, I think, happened. Obviously, offensive line wasn't great. Not a lot of weapons, so people could pack the box. Danny Dimes wasn't lighting up the scoreboard. So the things that Saquon Barkley had to stare down defensively and with how his offense was operating, not the greatest setup for a running back to do their thing. Last year, he was a guy,
Yes.
though. What are your thoughts on Saquon as a player, Pack? Same thing as Danny Dimes?
Whoa.
They wasted a franchise.
No. My outlook on Saquon is a whole lot different. You know, he was hurt early on, but when he's healthy, he's the guy.
Yeah.
He's a guy that you have to put 9 in the box for and make D. Jones throw the ball.
He's so large.
Yeah.
His legs.
He had that, not only his legs, it looked like he was wearing one of those cowboy collars
Yeah.
last year because his fucking traps.
Massive.
He is a dog, dude. He is quick, too.
Oh, yeah.
The only thing about running backs, though, is everybody gets scared. How long?
Longevity.
Because you're taking a lot of. So him getting beat up, having injuries, coming back, and still being explosive, I think is a big deal. But I think every GM, not every GM, there's probably some GM that'll be out there and pay Saquon because he's an anomaly, he's different, everything like that. A lot of GMs get worried, though, about running backs 4 years,
Yeah.
5 years, 3 years, whatever it has to be. So that's why, like, the franchise tag on a running back, especially if it's a great running back, is perfect for the team. That guy works out.
That's
Yes.
specimen.
Does not miss any days.
Pac-Man, is this what you look like?
That's what I look like right there, baby.
I bet. No, he's a dog, though.
Yeah.
Obviously, he's a dog. But the Giants are very happy that they can put the franchise tag on him as opposed to having to negotiate a long-term deal. And Saquon's not going to be happy about it because maybe somebody was going to give him like a Derrick Henry type deal somewhere, a 2-year deal, a quick deal. And now he has to delay that thing and again. So who knows what his future looks like. He's not happy about it, rightfully so. so. But the Giants fans get their guys back, and they got to be pumped.
Yeah, he's pissed, but it feels like running backs across the board. Like they're the only position right now that the franchise tag has actually gone down. Like it feels like contracts for running backs are not what they're going to be. Tony Pollard, he was the other guy this year who's
Josh
supposed
Jacobs,
to
Tony Pollard,
change the market.
Saquon Barkley. You're going to start seeing a franchise tag on the running back
For all
more and more.
And they can do it
running
back-to-back years, right? Because if the contracts aren't going up, that second-year franchise tag isn't going up either.
Yes, it is. It's like a 15% jump.
Right.
Oh, okay. No matter what.
Yeah, franchise tag. It's 15 or 20. I forget what it is, but it is a jump naturally.
Okay.
So we should talk about this franchise tag. We've talked about it on the show before, but I think maybe people might have missed it. So non-exclusive franchise tag is the average salary at your position, top 5 for the last 5 years. Okay, so salaries, not bonuses included, just the salaries. Exclusive franchise tag, which nobody was placed, could have been Lamar this year. The non-exclusive franchise tag is the normal franchise tag that's placed. If you put the exclusive franchise tag on it, it's top 5 salaries this year. Like, without bonuses, though, still. So you're still getting fucked, especially with the way the salary cap gymnastics is taking place with bonuses becoming a massive piece of the whole thing. So it's good money. Saquon's getting $10 million.
Yes.
Okay? $10 million to somebody that makes no $1 million is an incredible amount of money.
Ton.
But Saquon could have got 40,
What?
50 maybe,
What?
guaranteed in the market if he was go to somewhere GM. So they're going to have to figure that out, that franchise tag game with running backs, I think, over the next few years.
Yeah.
Maybe the next CBA, because it feels like the right position if you got a top guy to kind of use.
Well, and even like Saquon, the difference between him and Tony Pollard, like Saquon's playing in New York, so like he's not getting the same amount of money that Tony Pollard is, so like.
Oh, you're talking about taxes?
Exactly. So like rightfully so, why he would.
Hey,
be
those are the
fucking
real
pissed.
deal.
Yeah, they are.
Taxes are the real fucking. They always collect them.
Yeah, and another point on that, the running back, it goes up and down the market. Every so years you have really high running back market where guys are getting paid 15 a year, like when AP was out. That class of running backs. And now it's done went back down. You only got 1 or 2 guys that's at the running back position that's getting paid really good money.
So Derrick Henry was the most recent.
Yeah.
Right, and he got like a 2-year 50.
Yep.
And then Zeke, who in that kind of has fallen off.
And then it goes down to
They were talking about, and it was a
Joe
false.
was getting 10, 12, or whatever he was.
Yeah,
he was
Mixon.
up there at the top.
It was a false report, I guess, but allegedly they were thinking about shopping Derrick Henry.
Yeah.
Like
I've seen that.
Yeah, that was, and I think it's strictly because of the payday.
They must be turning the keys in, because without Derrick Henry, Tennessee is not even a team to be talking about.
Yeah, I agree. He was the team. This is just like Lamar with Baltimore, though.
Yeah,
This is just like Lamar with Baltimore. Like, Baltimore is Lamar. Like, that is in everybody's mind outside of Baltimore. And I assume Ravens fans know this. Whenever you think of the Ravens, you think of Lamar Jackson. Like, that is just who the team is. The Titans, Derrick Henry is who you think of. That's why when Tannehill got 100-some million, we were all so surprised, because it was like, he was just...
Are you serious?
He was just handing it off to this guy. This guy the entire time. It was right after their playoff run.
And we played cover 0 on him the whole playoff. Like, throw the ball. He couldn't hit a blind squirrel.
All right. But
Seriously.
He's got that finger roll, though.
Yeah.
He's much more athletic
Almost
than people.
blew his knee out that
And
one
they did
time.
have success. When Marcus Mariota was playing quarterback there, not that we don't think Marcus Mariota wasn't able to come back and do his thing with the Raiders for that one night whenever Derek Carr blew his
His hip flexor?
off of his leg.
Yeah, got shot.
And then 10 days later, he was playing football.
He's back. Better than ever.
Thought he was done forever.
That's a tough son of a bitch.
Oh,
but
yeah.
when Mariota was playing quarterback for them with Vrabel, they were not that great. Tannehill goes in, they all of a sudden do great. Derrick Henry was still there. So I assume that's what Tannehill's agent was selling whenever his contract was up. Like, hey, you just made the deepest run you've made in a long time in the playoffs. Tannehill's your quarterback-driven league. Are you really going to do that? And that was before they paid Derrick Henry, though.
Yes.
They paid Tannehill after that playoff run, like 100-some million, I think.
Yeah.
And we were
Like
all
110.
very confused. We were all very confused. And then Derrick Henry comes in and gets 2 years, 50. We're like, okay, that makes sense, I guess. But that's kind of how the market is. They kind of view it that way. And Derrick was their entire offense.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And it was like tough for him to get paid. The running back position's an interesting one to be great at.
Well, and even like Josh Jacobs, look at him. Like, he just led the NFL in rushing. Like, is he going to have a better year next year than he did this year? Like, probably not. Like, what more could have he done? And it's still like, nope, we're going to franchise you. Can't give you a
Well, it's just good
multi-year
business
deal.
by the team.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. But it's
$10 million as opposed to $50 million.
It sucks for the guy because
So bad.
that, like, they're gonna give him 250 carries again this year, and then that's what teams are gonna hold against him when he's up next year looking for a new contract.
It's such a different situation because I was just a punter. but I feel like I had a year. I was up. I thought I was going to get paid. I get franchise tagged. And in their eyes, they're like, let's see if he does it again. In my eyes, they're like, I'm a millionaire.
Yeah.
That's what I was like.
Yeah, this is awesome.
I'm a millionaire. I signed that thing as soon as I got an opportunity to get it. Here we go. This is guaranteed money. Now I'm about to have a great year next year, and we're going to do this thing long-term again somewhere. If it's probably not going to be here with how those conversations went, but there's 31 other teams that I'm potentially going to get. Somebody's going to want to pay me who doesn't have a great offense, has a great defense. Like, let's go do that. So I had the mindset of like, all right, I'm going to have an even better year. But to your point, so many things have to go right for a running back to have a fucking great year. For me, it's me and the fucking ball.
And Barkley probably sitting back saying, hey, dear NFLPA, fuck that. I don't want to get franchised. Change this shit immediately.
Yeah, that's always the topic of conversation during the CBA negotiations because, like, those guys back in the day, I think Peppers got franchised like 4 times, I think, with the Carolina Panthers.
Yeah. I mean, Kirk, how many did Kirk get with the
3
different names?
Vinatieri got 3.
Yeah.
Washington, I think, gave, like, that's just, you don't get to go to the market. It's like you get guaranteed money.
Especially for the guys that's done been going through injuries and you finally get to the point where you're like, all right, I deserve this. I can get to my payday, and you get the franchise. You never know what's going to happen during that year.
Sure.
I mean, injuries is certainly something. I don't know how they'd be able to quantify that in a negotiation. But if there's turnover at GM or head coach, like, I think players should be you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like, there has to be a way that you can put that in there where it's like if the GM or head coach gets fired, you are not allowed, that didn't draft you, you're not able to get franchise tagged maybe more than once. Like, you can get franchise tagged. The NFL is never going to give up the franchise tag.
Yeah, no.
That is something they're never going to give up. But the fact that it can happen 2 times, like, that's a fucking, that's a lot of money at some positions in their prime that you're kind of getting cut off at the knees for. Business, it's guaranteed money. They're playing football.
Yes.
If we're comparing this to other jobs, we very much understand. But we're talking from a player's perspective. You can see how they'd be like, fuck. Like, Saquon was not thrilled, I don't think, at 358 when he found out, hey, we did get a deal done and you're getting franchise tag. Damn it. Because there's probably some conversations that maybe happened in Indianapolis about a team that, like, not Colts, but at the Combine, that would have had a fucking 3-year, 4-year deal that is naturally going to have more guaranteed money. So now he has to go out, stay healthy, which – he's getting paid to do so, and also dominate again.
Yeah, and play very well.
And it's like, here we go. You got to reprove it. Good luck out there.
Well, and like to what you're saying, like, they're getting paid a lot of money, and like, it is in comparison to other jobs, but like people work until they're 65 and retire. You know what I mean? Like you have, I mean, if you're lucky, you have 10 years or whatever. Most guys, like, if you miss that first window, chances are you're not getting another opportunity. Like, you have that one time to really cash in, and if you don't, you probably never will.
So let's do first-round picks have the 5th-year option.
That's 7 years.
7 years.
I was just about to say that. That's 7 years that they can have the rights to you.
I played 8 years in the NFL. Got nominated for the Hall of Fame.
7 years. That's a long time.
Big deal.
Long time.
Before you can even really go test the market.
Yeah.
That's a crazy length of time whenever you're talking about business, especially, and I think it's good for the NFL. And there's going to be old heads that don't like it because you already hear people going, I don't want my NFL to become the NBA.
That's right.
I don't want Kevin Durant to sign on to the Golden State Warriors and then the Brooklyn Nets, and then he's not happy anymore, and then now he's with the Phoenix Suns. I don't want that to happen. The NBA people that have experienced it, they're like, do you know how many numbers and attention the NBA gets whenever Kevin Durant decides he wants to go to the Phoenix Suns? Like, the NFL having moves made and players doing stuff as of late, the NFL owners probably like, hey, it's not bad that the ratings on everything is going through the Odell Beckham Jr. going to the Rams that first game back through the roof. Yeah. And he kind of handled that. He said, I'm out of here. I'm going here. It's like, I think the NFL is going to become much more player friendly, but with the franchise tag, there's a chance that that's not even possible in some places. And I don't think it's good for business as a whole, personally, even though there's a lot of people that hate that type of shit where players decide to go to different teams because, God damn it, you're supposed to be loyal to a team. It's like, I understand that. I appreciate that. We all have a high school that we're very lucky to play for, and we appreciate, and we still give back to in a big way. Like, we're loyal to them for sure. This is a business. 1,000,000%. And if guys want to do and move and get paid for their family and for future generations of their family, like, why not let it happen if it also draws ratings and everything? Like it feels like this is just a good thing for everybody to have.
That's like they're not ignorant, you know. Like when all this stuff is happening, we're talking about Lamar Jackson potentially being the quarterback for a different team. Like that's what everyone's talking about. Like you talking about Durant, that dominated the conversation the first 2 days of Super Bowl week. Like we weren't even talking about the Super Bowl. It's like holy shit, Kevin Durant's going to the Suns. Like if
we talked pickleball too.
Well, obviously, you know, in our world, pickleball, nothing was big.
Hey, he thought about potentially dancing onto that. Did you see
I
him?
saw him. Yeah.
Yep. I don't know. You want to go on that pickleball court out there?
I like that pickleball court. We'll be the champ of pickleball for we
Well, we'll see.
Okay. Where?
Here.
Good luck.
This place?
Thunder Zone.
I don't think so.
No, probably not.
I mean, it's going to take some time. You play ping pong?
I'm really good at ping pong.
Maybe.
The whole day.
Whoa. I take that
So
with.
I see you on the high horse because you won one game yesterday.
Yeah, one game yesterday against you in basketball.
You did beat
33.
me.
Oh, yeah, that's right. We got that on
And he
video.
beat me
Yeah.
by 10. Like, damn.
Yeah, it was pretty. Hey, listen, you'll get the
First
hang
time
of the
I
game. It'll probably be 5 next time.
We'll figure it out.
You know what I mean? It'll be a little bit closer. No, we got some Thunderdome games though that are. I mean, obviously we know the rules of them,
Right.
And we played them a lot.
Yeah.
But there's no reason for the people that come in from the outside to be bad at it.
No.
Hey, this is just standard this and this.
Shoot and rebound.
Our pickleball game is a bit different than every other person's pickleball game.
For sure.
So when pickleballers come in here, there's going to be an adjustment period early in that game that we have to take advantage of where they're trying to learn our pickleball. And then they'll end up catching up, but it's too late. Oh, have a good one. They're out of here.
Yeah, see you later.
And we got like a good story. That's kind of how it goes with 33.
Yeah.
I think that's how it's going to go with pickleball as well.
I did think like that because this court is smaller. When we get out there on like an
very,
actual pickleball court, that thing's gonna be fucking double wide. None of us may ever hit a shot out.
All these line misses that
Oh,
we're
my
having
God,
here,
yeah,
we're painting
that's it.
Exactly.
on the other one.
Exactly. It's gonna pay dividends in the future.
We would like to let the pickleball community know that we've been watching your film. We've been learning about your professionals.
McGuffin.
And we have massive respect for the sport that you've built and the players that are playing the sport. I don't understand how that is the technique that you guys use, though. You are crafty at the net, so fast. Their hands are so fast, so quick, and the technique is perfect and flawless and everything like that. There has to be a power element that comes into that game at some point. I'm just giving it probably won't be us. Okay, I'm way too old. I'm 35. But with how popular this game has become, there's going to be some dogs
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
that are going to learn how to play pickleball. And I think that game is going to continue to evolve. What a sport they've created.
Unbelievable.
And I think it's only going to get better
Yeah.
and better and better and better. The technique, the strategy, there's a lot of strategy involved in
Yep.
that. It's a great sport. I think you would be incredible at it. It has everything. If you're good at ping pong, you're ping pong on the table.
Exactly.
That's exactly what the paddle is the most ping pong like paddle
Right.
Yes.
that there is out there. The ball reacts similar to a ping pong ball with spin. You just have to be able to quick enough to get there. And unless you did run a 4.28 at some point.
Sure.
Right.
It's a long time ago, though.
Yeah, we don't know if you
So
still
what's
got
the
it.
hardest part of the game to you?
What's that, this one?
Yeah.
Every once in a while, I'll duff it off my paddle.
Yeah.
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 It's like a duff.
You want to hit it clean every time.
Yeah, it's like it's a tough problem.
Fucking eye on the ball.
You put some spin on it, though. You know, you can put spin on it. It forces a miss hit. It's a full. I think you'd be if you're good at ping pong. It's a whole different conversation.
Yeah, having touch, too. Like, sometimes you'll hit it too far. But if you have that touchdown,
Max got the touch.
Yeah.
yeah, that's what I mean.
See you later.
Yeah, we'll find out.
When someone's at the net and you're not at the net,
You're
that
fucked.
next shot is so tough.
Yeah,
That's why the power thing, I think you're right.
to be aggressive.
Someone will come in and dominate with
There's
that.
some 16-year-old kid right now.
Yes.
That is just playing this. There's probably 2 kids in a neighborhood that instead of playing ping pong, they're just playing this all summer.
Yeah.
Because for those that don't know, that aren't where we grew up, one kid had a ping pong table.
Yep.
And we lived in that garage. Like all summer, pretty much all night through the summers. Like that is how I think every neighborhood that I kind of interacted with, one kid had the ping pong table, and we're spending all night. There's kids now that are probably just spending all day on these pickleball courts, all night on these pickleball courts. They're going to change it because they're going to fucking come in.
Yeah, passion.
Oh, yeah.
They're going to come in heavy-handed.
Djokovic.
But we might be completely wrong. There's probably a reason why that won't take place. That's my prediction as I watch their film and then we play.
Tennis is dead.
Yeah, should tennis be worried?
Yeah, it's dead.
I think we'll always watch the good. You watch any tennis?
Well, especially if they don't.
I don't think that would take over the position of tennis. I don't think tennis should be worried about paddleball.
I don't know.
You never know.
If they keep not letting fucking Novak in the
You got to be
country, then,
vaccinated
yeah.
to play pickleball.
All right.
That is true. U.S. won't let him in the States for some
Why did
stupid
that? I didn't
reason.
understand. I thought that was fake too. I thought that was like an old tweet.
Yeah,
I thought
like-
that was from like 2 tournaments ago.
Remember when?
What year?
Remember when?
In 2021 when they wouldn't let Djokovic in. But no, that was like 2 weeks ago they wouldn't let him in.
That was currently in 2023.
Yes.
Wow. I didn't know that. Because when I saw it, I thought to myself, oh, fake. I just go on. Got to be from 2 years ago. Saw it again. Got to be from 2 years ago. And I thought people were like reminiscing. Remember what it used to be like?
not.
Remember when we weren't able to do this? Remember when you had to do this? Remember when you literally just could sit in one particular place for months and months and months and months and months at a time, but somehow other stuff was there? That's why I thought it was. That was real.
Real.
He's a real player too, right? He's like top guy.
He's the
best
best
in the world.
player in the
He's
world,
the
which
best.
is probably why they don't want him, because he'll just come over, he'll win, and that's the end. That's the end of the story, and it won't even be competitive.
Greeny.
McAfee, I don't know what to do.
All right.
Classic.
I'm going to can I FaceTime you from, I'll FaceTime you from the studio computer right now.
Sure.
Hey, you're the man.
Here we go.
McAfee.
I don't know what to do.
I don't know what to do.
He called the wrong Greenberg. He called Tampa Bay Buccaneers Mike Greenberg.
Oh, of course.
Classic.
Same name, 2
It'll
different
happen.
people.
He did
It'll
answer. He
happen.
says hello.
How about, he did? Okay, well,
Yeah.
tell him we said good luck out there.
Yeah.
It's really,
Busy
Seriously.
week for him.
he's got 8 days.
I love that he answered.
March 15th to get underneath the salary cap. We appreciate him. See, there's a person that we could probably invite on the show, come on the show, but we hate inviting people on the show.
Yeah, and it's
That's like
busy.
one of those situations.
To Tony's point.
Good luck
Well,
out there.
Can't believe he answered. What's he doing?
I don't
He
know.
doesn't have Brady on the books anymore.
Get under the cap, Mike.
Listen, I think it's great that people just
They got trash.
Absolutely.
could just answer out of nowhere from
Yeah.
following, knowing that we're live too. Like
Yeah.
that guy knows the program.
Yeah.
Like him just being, oh, I wonder what this is.
They're talking about
That's a
something.
fucking awesome. That's an awesome thought. How about him? McAfee, what do I do?
I don't know what to do.
That was awesome. That was 100% our fault.
That was hashtag Greeny, not Tampa Green.
Boom.
Yeah.
Cap Guru Greeny
Yeah.
down in Tampa Bay, Mike Greenberg. 2 Hall of Fames, maybe 3 Hall of Fames
Possible.
in the broadcasting world. Host of Get Up and hashtag Greeny, a man that you obviously know from Mike and Mike. He's also an author in which I was able to. I have a sentence at the beginning of it. So what's the thing at the beginning of the
Forward.
board? Boom. There. No, forward's the long thing or just one sentence?
It could be either.
There's like a bunch of quotes at the beginning about.
Oh
Recommendations.
yeah, like the blurb. Like, this is the best book I've ever read.
Boom. I got to do one of those.
Nice.
So I'm in one of this guy's books.
Let's go.
He's obviously New York Times bestseller, a fucking legend of a human, and massive New York Jets fan. Ladies and gentlemen, Mike Greenberg.
Boys, it is a pleasure to be on. I'm taking, this is the only time I will take away today from feverishly refreshing my Twitter feed. It's sort of like, Pat, I'm going to give you a sense of what you have coming for you now. So at some point soon, your wife, Samantha, is going to start going into contractions. And you're going to start timing how far apart they are. Oh, they're coming 10 minutes apart. They're coming 5 minutes apart. My refreshing of my Twitter feed is at one point yesterday was coming 5 minutes apart. Then it was 2 minutes apart. Then it was 30 seconds apart. And every time I did it, something else had happened. Diana Rossini's got something. And then Kimberly Martin's got something. And Schefter's got something. So the Jets are on a plane. Now they're off the plane. Now they're at Aaron's house. So that's pretty much what I have been doing since yesterday, and the only thing I anticipate doing until there is some resolution to this.
I'll tell you what, being in labor for 24 hours with no baby yet for you is certainly probably something pretty stressful. I will say. It's probably,
I'm exhausted.
Yeah, I could imagine, but I'm pumped for you. We're all pumped for you. I think whenever this even became a thought for the Jets to be in the Aaron Rodgers sweepstakes weeks ago, we heard you talking on Get Up. We saw the clip. We were so excited about it. Now that it's close to real, this is a massive deal because you guys have just sucked for so long, and if you get Aaron Rodgers, you win. Is that the immediate thought for every Jets fan? Because it feels like everybody feels the way you do in New York about Aaron Rodgers.
How could you not? I mean, did you watch the Jets quarterbacks play last year? This is literally going from the ridiculous to the sublime. It is going from a guy in Zach Wilson, who I really hope this isn't the case, but who may very well wind up being as significant a bust as there has ever been in the draft. He certainly right now feels like he's heading in that direction, to a guy who was on the very short list of the greatest quarterbacks that ever lived. So it is, there's nothing bigger than this that could possibly happen. He's one of the best players that ever lived. He's exactly what we need. Look, anyone that walks in here is walking into it's a tough media market and all that stuff, the fan base. Everyone's worried about that stuff. If Aaron Rodgers can't handle that, then who possibly can?
Yeah,
Derek Carr? I mean, Derek Carr, other places made him cry.
Oh,
we're not going to
well
have
said,
that.
Green.
I'm just saying. Aaron
put a lot
Rodgers
into it.
isn't
He
going
did.
to have that problem.
Hey, Mike, this is Adam right here. I got a question. Why did you pick the pinky toe? Is that because you won't miss it?
So what Adam is talking about is this came up. This actually started. Do you guys know Michael Kay? Is he someone?
Oh yeah,
Yes, yeah, New York, right?
Love him.
So
Calls
Michael,
Yankee games.
the last time, this is tragic how long ago this was. This was the last time the Jets were in the playoffs. So it's 12 years ago. He was doing a pregame show on the local ESPN radio station in New York, and I came on as a guest. And he asked me, would I be willing to cut off my pinky toe? He has an expression called a pinky toe game. Would I be willing to cut off my pinky toe in order to see the Jets win this game? And we debated whether or not I would be willing to do that. And then this came up, Adam, to Adam's point, on my show fairly recently. If someone were to take away your pinky toe without you knowing it, like if someone cut it off and you were watching, then you would obviously be aware. But I'm somewhat convinced that if your pinky toe just magically disappeared,
Sleeping,
it could be a
wake
while
up.
before you knew it. Yeah, it might be a while before you realized it was gone. So in the event of the pinky toe, I would definitely, like you would know, look, if anyone would know this as a kicker, you would know far better than I would the significance of a pinky toe. I don't know that I would miss it in my life at all.
First of all, Pac-Man, shout out for the research there with Greeny, because I did not know what the fuck you were talking about. But it does make sense in what you're saying, because if I'm just sleeping, I wake up and I don't have a pinky toe, I think you take that first step, it's going to be a little wobbly.
Yep.
It's going to be a little bit wobbly. But I do believe you'll probably figure it out, right, without it.
Yeah.
And you're winning a Super Bowl at this point, right? And you're the Jets fan. I think I could see why you would say that. Now, I like all my
For
toes.
Aaron Rodgers, there are any number of appendages of mine that you could remove.
Hold on.
We're not
that's what
limited
he
to the
said.
pinky toe.
Oh, you're talking about.
He said he cut off the
Well,
pinky toe.
I don't know
for
that
A-Rod.
I'm quite willing to go that far, but it's negotiable.
Okay, all right. So let's talk about the reality of this. You have insiders, we'd assume, at the Jets, okay? Trey Wingo has insiders at the Jets. We assume you have insiders at the Jets. That is just natural thought process as you being the person you have been, which is a legend in sports.
Hell yeah.
Long time, Greeny. Take it in. The Northwestern grad done good.
That's right.
Woo! You did.
Hall of Famer.
Two of them, multiple Hall of Fame.
Whoa.
But anyways, I assume you have insiders at the Jets. At what point do you hear like, hey, we're going to go after Aaron Rodgers? Because it started leaking out that the Jets told Derek Carr, hey, we're certainly interested. We definitely like what you're about. But Aaron Rodgers is going to be our first option if he is available. When did you start thinking or finding out that that was a reality for the Jets?
I mean, in all honesty, not long before anybody else. I was really excited. I mean, when Woody Johnson said after the season was over that he was going to go aggressively, he told Diana Rossini this. Oh, it was the week of the Super Bowl at the awards night, you know, that thing they do on Thursday night where they give out the MVP and everything. Woody Johnson, who's the owner of the Jets, told our Diana Rossini that he was going to be as aggressive as it and to do whatever it could take to go out and get the Jets a quarterback, because candidly, anyone who watches the Jets play is aware outside of the quarterback, they've got the Jets are excellent. I mean, they have an excellent roster. They need a little work on the offensive line. You put Aaron Rodgers on that team, I legitimately believe they're a Super Bowl contender, and I think Woody Johnson recognized that. There were a few options that could mean, and I was hoping he would set his sights that high. To me, in this year's offseason, there's one tier, and Aaron Rodgers and Lamar Jackson are that tier. And then there was a level down from that, and that tier is Derek Carr, Jimmy Garoppolo, and probably several other, Jacoby Brissett and whoever else, maybe Ryan Tannehill, who I think is going to get released in Tennessee. And I was really hoping that we would swing for the fences. And to me, there's no greater fence than trying to bring in one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time, who I think will feel like he has something to prove.
Yes.
But what is clear, right now, a Jets insider doesn't do you any good. because the Jets are in, right? They are once the owner flies across the country, they're as committed as they can be. This is exclusively up to your boy now. So I'm counting on you. Where's AJ? Where the hell is AJ when I need him? He's offering my apartment to Aaron Rodgers, which I totally endorse. I need you guys to talk Aaron into doing this.
Okay, you have a nice place. I mean, you have a nice place. I would assume it would be fantastic. And AJ said, "What isn't Greeny offering up his house or his apartment on Get Up? What if that was a work by AJ?
Be cool.
What if AJ was like, hey, listen, I don't like that you're not going to be a Packer anymore. Obviously, that's where we met, and I played a long time. But I do believe I got you Greenberg's penthouse and Greenberg's house in New Jersey. You don't even have to pay rent, and you're out of there after the season. Boom. You're good to go." That is an incredible thing to think about because in Green Bay, the way they're talking right now, seemingly, not everybody, okay? We can't lump everybody together because of what we hear on the internet, but it feels like a vocal minority, damn near half it feels like, are almost like at peace with Aaron leaving or upset at Aaron and saying get well wishes, you know what I mean? So him feeling love, like Woody flying to him, coming over. Woody probably had a pitch deck. Like, look at what our fans are saying. Look, here's a clip of Mike Greenberg on ESPN Get Up talking about you coming to the New York Jets. What do you think happened in that meeting? How do you think it went? And why do you think it was ultimately 11 hours? Were they taking ayahuasca together? Is that what's going on there?
Did they go sit in a dark room? I have, by the way, for those of you who are not aware of this, I have made that offer to Aaron in my interest in putting these vibes out into the universe, which we know he believes in. If Aaron Rodgers comes to the Jets, I will do the dark room thing he did in Oregon. I've offered to do it. I will go, and in fact, dark room.
Wow. Yeah, cut his pinky
apartment.
Apartment.
House, dude. I mean,
job.
I've waited my whole life.
Mike is all in.
This guy, I'm giving it all I got.
55 years old. Yeah.
Oh,
I'll do whatever I can. Pat, I'm 55 years old. I've never seen the Jets play in the Super Bowl. They were one the only time I was one the only time they ever made it to the Super Bowl. So I am pitching in everything that I have at my disposal.
Well, it sounds like you're doing a great job. I don't know if Aaron hears any of it. That's the thing about Aaron. Yeah. He will just go.
You tell me what he's going to do. Come on, he's your guy.
I don't know.
He's Mr. Tuesdays. What's going to happen?
Mr. Tuesdays. I like that. Hey, it's pretty good Tuesdays. We have a good time out there. Great Wednesdays for you guys. So the conversations with him and I would not be anything like that ever. You know what I mean? Like AJ though. So like AJ knows. We know that AJ knows. AJ's in that. Whenever Aaron talks about, hey, if you hear anything about me, it's bullshit. And the people that are giving that information that think they know, you're not in the inner circle. That was his actual, you don't fucking know, pretty much to people. We believe firmly AJ is in that inner circle. We believe. Now, AJ has never admitted to as such, and he always does, I know what you know. He always does that. This is like 2 off seasons in a row now. So we got to watch what he says carefully because he's not going to lie, and he's going to deflect. So AJ knows he's going to be bummed that he was not able to be on with you. I want to let you know that because Greeny was not available in the 1 o'clock hour this particular day, although hopefully in the future. He's going to be bummed he didn't get a chance to chat with you, pal. But he's the only one I think that knows that we could potentially have any idea of. I got no clue, Greeny.
Well, then his level of bum does not even approach my level of bummed to be missing out on that conversation. Someone text him my number, and I will call AJ the minute we hang up from this call.
Yes.
There you go.
We love that. FaceTime him. He loves FaceTimes. That's his thing. Connor has a question for you, Greeny.
Yeah, Mike, I'm a Patriots fan, so I kind of hope every day of your fandom is a miserable hell that you want to leave at all times.
It has been, hasn't it?
It has been, and it's awesome to watch. I love it's something that gets me out of bed in the morning. Hey, today might be an okay day for me, but it's the worst day in the Jets fans' life.
What's your deal?
And it keeps me going sometimes. But at this point, Mike, if Rodgers doesn't go to the Jets, are you going to be absolutely devastated? And then if he does end up going to the Jets, does it need to be a Super Bowl to be successful, or will you just be happy to watch someone who can throw a football not into the dirt and actually be good?
Well, so first of all, if he doesn't come to the Jets, will I be devastated? Yes, absolutely, because I don't think any other option is even remotely close to that. I can't see the Jets winding up with Lamar Jackson, and that's the only thing that I could realistically happen this offseason that would be even remotely close to that. They'll wind up with someone like Ryan Tannehill or Jimmy Garoppolo, who might wind up being good, but it's not Aaron. Like Aaron Rodgers, this comes along like once in a lifetime. As far as how I will feel about it, look, the Jets had the worst quarterback play in the National Football League last year of any team, that both statistically and by the eye.
Hey, and you know a lot of stats too. There's a lot of stats in that world that you're in.
And yet, I mean, you don't even need stats. If you watch the Jets play at all last year, you did not need Hembo to tell you, boy, their quarterback sucks. All right, I mean that was evident every single week. So I will be delighted. Look, the Jets haven't made the playoffs in 12 years. It is the longest active streak of a team not making the playoffs. So I could sit here right now and say I'll just be excited to see them in the playoffs and playing meaningful games. But, I mean, who am I kidding? Obviously, if we get there and we have a real chance and we're playing, God help us, Kansas City or Cincinnati in an AFC playoff game, then, of course, I'm going to be I'm going to be calling up the show and I'm going to say, guys, take my pinky toe. In fact, I will just hold out my foot and I will say, take any toe you want and let me beat Patrick Mahomes just this one time, because I've got a guy who's going into a fight with him that has a chance to beat him. So that I want Aaron Rodgers more than I can remember ever wanting anything in sports in my life.
Wow. Hey, we're happy for you, man. It's a good moment. It's a good moment. Huh, isn't it?
Yeah, well,
it's going to end up
It's not a good moment yet. I mean, it could wind up being a horrible moment.
Oh,
It is.
Woody
Let's put
Johnson
it this
says
way.
Greeny's not going to be disappointed. I'm
Yeah,
flying out.
But if he chooses to retire, he's choosing nothing over the Jets.
Is it so?
That's right.
And it doesn't.
He's giving up. He says he is basically giving away $60 million so he doesn't have to play for the Jets. Think about that for a minute. It is worth $60 million to him not to play for the Jets.
So I got to sign up to play a whole couple years with that. $60 million. Man, fuck that.
That woke media.
That would be awesome if that. I guess that's how you could view it. That wouldn't be how he viewed it.
No.
He viewed it as like, I don't want to commit life, my whole life again, and that whole commitment would be valued against $60 million, which I didn't think it was real either. That he was going, especially after how last year went, with how competitive he is as a human. I think naturally he's a competitive guy. I didn't think there was any chance he was going to retire. But then he starts thinking about Aaron Rodgers and everything he said in all these books, that are from the book club. It's like time, really, no money can ever, you know what I mean? So like if he's this ultimate hippie, think about this. He's this big time he is though.
Yeah.
But if he makes this hippie decision where he's like, I'm going to focus on making the world a better place and doing everything like that instead of $60 million, like he's one of the people I think on earth that could make that decision.
Oh, yeah.
So then whenever he says, yes, it's a very real thought, I was like, bullshit. But it seemed like that was a very real thing, especially if you listen to Aubrey Marcus podcast, wherever he was on there. So I wonder where he's at. What do you, just to put a whole bow on the whole thing, what are they going to have to trade for that, you think? What are you hearing? What are your circles
I think
here?
less than you think. Can I just very quickly, in response to what you just said, I was in Arizona for the Super Bowl, and I can tell you, because I walked up to literally every person I encountered and said, are the Jets going to get Aaron Rodgers? And I can tell you, multiple people whose opinions are worth hearing said to me, do not discount the possibility he retires. That Rodgers retiring is a real thing. So I completely agree with what you just said. He has made a lot of money. He is one of those very few people who will be able to make a lot of money for the rest of his life, whether he plays this year or not. Maybe not $60 million in a single year, but
he'll be able to live.
The idea that he could retire is very real. Yeah. It's a very real. Then as far as what they have to give up, what I understand is that the Packers are asking for the sun, the moon, and the stars, which you would too if you were them, and the Jets are going to try and get him for as little as they can. And look, I'm just trying to envision this scenario. The Packers want to give the ball to Jordan Love. Rodgers, if he wants to get to the Jets, if the Jets do not offer the Packers whatever the Packers want, basically Rodgers just has to go to them and say, all right, you want to play hardball here, I'll just show up. All right, if I show up, you owe me my contract, and your salary cap is in tatters. So you got to meet me somewhere halfway. And, don't make sure you make this trade with the Jets in some way that makes them happy, or I'm going to make your salary cap this year a living hell. Now, I don't know if he would do that, but he could if he wanted.
Sean Payton, right? Didn't Sean Payton have to say that?
Yeah.
Remember, he told us, Sean Payton joined us at Radio Row. He's fantastic, by the way.
Yeah.
Sean, I'm sure you've had a lot of conversations with him. He was amazing on our show. He talked about whenever Loomis and Patton were talking about the trade from Saints to the Broncos, about how he's like, this guy is actually like my best friend in New Orleans, but we've all moved on. And I had to call him and say, hey, what's the deal? Can we not get a deal done here? Because the Denver Broncos were like, hey, this is a pretty steep price here for a coach. We don't know. I wonder how often that happens in a lot of different situations. But I think the Aaron and Green Bay in Jets thing, if it was to happen, would probably just go smooth.
Oh, yeah.
Here we go. Let's keep it moving. Jets are happy. Packers got Jordan Love now. Here we go. Obviously, Packers fans aren't as thrilled, Greeny, but they've learned to accept it almost. Ty, ain't they, right?
Yeah, in a sense, but in no way am I happy for you, Greeny. You know, like you see you dancing up here because you're about to get Rodgers. Like, this whole ordeal fucking sucks for me, but it is what it is. But I did want to ask you, like, if he with the Yankees and how much money the Mets have been spending, the Knicks are kind of coming back. Like, if Rodgers does, and I think they were talking about, I don't know if you guys were talking about it on Get Up or if it was on First Take, but if Rodgers does get traded to the Jets, does he overnight become the biggest star in New York, you think?
That's a really good question. The biggest star, all right, so the Giants, the biggest star on the Giants, I guess, is Saquon Barkley. The biggest star on the Knicks is Julius Randle or Jalen Brunson.
He hit that three.
The biggest stars on the Nets are both on other teams now. They're the only ones worth paying attention to. So the only one who I think could even approach that would be Aaron Judge.
Yep.
I think it would be two Aarons in this town. Like, this is this town loves the Yankees.
Front page, back
and
page,
so Aaron
actually.
Judge, so Aaron and Aaron, I think it would be the two of them would own this town. But look, I can say this, and if Aaron Rodgers is watching and we know that he's a fan of the show, is today a Tuesday, actually? No, it's Wednesday. Damn it. Okay, well, whatever.
You're boozing like Rappaport? Jesus.
If this is his day, I'm so lost on where we are with this. If Aaron is watching, I will say this. To own this town would be unlike owning any other town. And the Jet fans have been so starved for the. Joe Namath is in the Hall of Fame. I'm not sure he won 6 games after he won the Super Bowl III. It didn't make any difference. He is a legend forever. He hands out the Super Bowl trophy. If you lead the Jets to a Super Bowl championship, Aaron, you will go from being what you are, which is one of the greatest players of all time, to a beloved, iconic, legendary figure in the world's biggest city. We will rename the Empire State Building after you if we absolutely have to. I think he becomes the biggest star in this town if he comes here. Yes.
They did that in Chicago with the Sears Tower.
That's a good point.
And people are not happy. I think that would be a heel move, not a babyface move. But he is a businessman. He understands business as well. Being a star in New York is vastly different than being a star in Green Bay. They talk about, like, even if you're a 1 o'clock game, playing against the Jets or the Giants over there, and it's not a national game, they'll tell you, like, what the audience is going to be or what it was.
Yep.
There's so many fucking humans over there.
Oh, yeah.
So many.
So many humans just in that area. It's like you're naturally more popular than people that are popular in, like, 7 cities because that's how big that fucking place is. It's a crazy market. I hope he ends up...
Whoa. You hope what?
I don't know. I hope he's just happy.
I just hope he's happy.
I hope he's happy.
Okay.
I just hope he's happy with whatever he does. Tone Diggs has the last question for you. We know we got to go. It's about something very serious, I do believe, happening in the NFL right now.
Super serious. Hypothetically, let's pretend that Aaron Rodgers didn't exist and you are a fan of a team that hasn't had a quarterback in years and years and years, and then this 26-year-old MVP becomes available out of nowhere, and all you have to do is give up 2 firsts, and then, you got to pay him. But how quickly would you cut off your toe to get a Lamar Jackson? Explain to me, like I'm 5, why, I don't know, all these other teams have just immediately said no, Greeny.
I immediately would, and every team in the NFL should. But what we are seeing here is the flex. I don't know that it rises to the legal definition of collusion, but there is no question.
That's what I'm saying. That's serious, though.
Sending a message.
Hey, that's serious. That's a serious allegation, though. I was thinking about that yesterday. I'm in the middle of something right now, going on with a former quarterback. I'm thinking about, like, all the collusion talk that's happening out of people. People are, like, immediately saying it. That's a massive allegation, isn't it? That's something the NFL would have to really answer for if it was true.
Yes, but they can't do it. It isn't true because they're much too smart. it isn't going to rise to the legal definition of collusion. But what it is the owners, I believe, sending them. Look, let's just analyze the facts for what they are. Here's this superstar player who never becomes available, and all it's going to cost you is 2 first-round picks, and then you figure out a contract with him, or in this case, you have to submit the contract first. And teams could not possibly let the world know they weren't interested fast enough. It was like a race, a mad dash. Was it the Falcons? Was it the Panthers? Was it the Raiders? Was it the Dolphins? Who could tell the world more quickly than the others that they weren't interested in Lamar Jackson? It was so obvious yesterday that that's what they were doing, was they were sending a message. We're not going to give guaranteed contracts to our players, because the minute we do, we run the risk of becoming the Nets, where one morning Kevin Durant wakes up and says, I don't want to be here anymore, and there's nothing the team or the ownership can do about it. There's only one way that changes, and the way that changes is if Justin Herbert, Joe Burrow, Jalen Hurts, if the three of them decide they're going to join forces with Lamar Jackson, and all 4 of them are saying, we're not signing anywhere unless the contract is fully guaranteed, then that would be like the legitimate manifestation of the quarterback club like they used to have. Then I could see the owners would have a real problem on their hands. How they'd handle that, I do not know. But that would be the only way this would change.
Jim Kelly, John Elway, Dan Marino,
Troy Aikman,
Troy Aikman,
Favre, I think.
Allegedly.
We don't know.
Yeah, Bledsoe maybe.
We do not know.
Whatever you do, don't mention Favre.
Yeah. Well, you just did. Please, if you could please. By
the way, speaking of which, like of all the people who have said bad things about him over the last few months, of all the people who have read all the news reports and said, my God, this is shockingly horrible. How in the world did he decide he was
Granny, what are you doing? Granny, you just
Granny.
get right in the pool. Granny, don't do what you just do. You know you're not supposed to do that.
What the hell?
Am I not supposed to do that?
No, you can do whatever you want. Good luck. You do whatever you want. I'm just saying, like,
coming after you?
I know. And none of it makes sense to me either. It'll get figured out, bro. It'll get figured out.
I found it very confusing.
Yeah, me. Oh, you're telling me. Yeah. I thought it was somebody fucking with me. The letters. I thought the letters were somebody fucking with me, like actually, like, oh, this is somebody I used to play with, somebody at WWE, maybe. I mean, there's so many different, like, groups of humans that could just be, like, naturally just like, oh, hey, we were the ones that sent that to you.
Gotcha.
Yeah, like, that's a hilarious, like, that would happen in my life. So when I got those letters, I was reading them, I'm like, no way is this true. And, like, pretty good, though. Like, this is a pretty solid.
Good.
This is pretty solid. And then the second letter that came, it was like, we demand an apology. By this time, I'm like, okay, now I know this is bullshit. I didn't react to the first one. Mm-hmm. So that's why now I got to figure out who it is. And then it comes through. I'm like, what? This is a real deal. I didn't even, that was literally my reactions to it. So I appreciate the fact that a man that is in 2 broadcasting Hall of Fames, who has covered and talked about sports for a long, long time, is thinking the same thing. That means that I'm not completely a dumbass, right? That's good news. Yeah. That's going forward. And maybe there's a future for us in this whole business that maybe includes writing a book. You have a book that's out today.
Oh. What? No, it's not out today. We just got the copy of the book today. The book's not out till April. That's the book you were talking about that you wrote the blurb for. No, what someone showed you is that today was the most exciting day in any process of writing a book, because you write it into a computer, and then you spend over a year sending back and forth PDFs. And then one day they actually send you the book, and that was today. So that picture you just saw was me and Hembo.
Okay.
Today was the day they literally delivered our book for the first time. So it was a very cool day, yeah.
Hell yeah. What's that? Published? You're published whenever it becomes a book, like written in a book, right?
Yeah.
The book will actually be available everywhere April 4th.
No, but people that write for the first time, they say, like, I'm published.
Yeah,
like,
I've been published.
Oh, you're a published author.
I've been published. Right. Like, people say that, right? That's a thing?
Mm-hmm. Yes, that's a thing.
Okay, so I do have a sentence and a half. Did you guys cut me? Did I make the cut?
Hell no, you are prominently featured. Wait, you have a second? I'll go grab. Hold on, I got a copy. Let's see if you can see it.
I think I've been published, so I don't know.
Hold on.
I think.
And if this was an award.
Kinda.
Your sentence is very prominently featured right
Holy
there.
shit!
First one! Wow!
Oh, shit.
Above Ocho!
We are published!
Wow!
The way Mike Greenberg lays things out and nothing short of spectacular. He's already in a couple halls of fame, and after this book, I'm assuming another is on the way. A fantastic book with fabulous information. Wow.
Hell yeah.
That's by Pat McAfee. So I guess on some level you're a published author now too.
Well, that's what I was 100% selfishly getting to that. Yeah, that I'm published.
It's good.
Hey, let's get on the thing. Let's get on that
bestseller list.
Boom. Let's go ahead and do that. Why don't we, Greeny?
When we get to April, that definitely will be the goal.
No, pre-order. We can pre-order, I think. I was just
You
told.
can pre-order it right now. Yeah, the book is called Got Your Number, and the author is me, and you can order it anywhere that you pre-order books.
I'm right there on the outside of the book. I haven't been on the inside of a book yet.
Get there.
Right there on the outside. I want to write a book. We got to get out of here. I don't need to be the person that's spreading this information. I've never truly read a book in my life. But we have like the second largest book club in the world happening through this whole Aaron Rodgers book club thing. And so I was learning a lot about books. And at this point, I'm trying to figure out whether or not I'm just sticking with never reading or if I'm going to dive into books. Or is the first book that I read the one that I write? You know, so I'm in an interesting dilemma decision-wise. So I'm honored that you had me be a part of the book. That's a big deal for me. Just would like to let you know that.
Well, I was honored that you took the time to write the nice blurb. And if you were going to pick a first book to read, this wouldn't be a bad one because it's all about sports history and debate, which are two things that I know you find interesting.
And we do a lot of every single day, it seems like. And we appreciate
That's
your
correct.
service to sports media, pal. You're the man. And it sounds like you're willing to give up a toe, his apartment.
Darkness.
He'll go into the darkness for 4 days over there in Oregon.
Potentially an arm, too. We didn't even discuss
Yeah, he said other.
Everything.
Multiple appendages.
Yep.
Yeah. All right, cool. I hope it happens for you. That'd be great.
Yeah.
Take
Yeah.
drugs.
Me too.
Well, that would suck, but it would be great. Ladies and gentlemen, Mike Greenberg.
Yeah, boy!
He's the man. He's always been nothing but nice to me.
Yeah.
And I think, like, there's people that are massive Mike and Mike fans, I think.
Yeah.
And they'll come
Oh,
up
yeah.
to me and, like, did not expect Greenberg to like you as a person or something. I'm
your
like, I think
guy.
you got Greeny wrong. I don't know. He's been very nice, but he was the reason that I was on Get Up on ESPN. He was the one that actually asked for me to get on to Get Up. It's just like Herbstreit was the one that asked for me to get on a game day, and Hasselbeck was the one that asked for me to be on Thursday Night Football. It's an interesting thing how I was getting on ESPN back in the day, and Greeny's a massive piece of it. I used to just go on that show and fucking, hey, Pack. I used to just go on. That show is legitimately, it was set up at the time. I got to learn a lot. Greeny let me sit in the pre-show production meetings. So, like, we're in there, like, I don't know, like
3 a.m.?
Yeah, it was like 5 a.m., I think, 5:30 a.m. or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
It was like 5 a.m., these meetings, because they run that show over there. Go over there, sitting there, watch how they lay the show out, you know, what they're thinking about, how they're thinking about it. It's like, I learned a lot from Greeny's opera, and obviously he was running that thing.
Yeah.
You know, there's obviously incredible people over there. Hembo's one of them. He was very, very, very nice to me. Pete's over there, I believe. He was incredible to me. They had like a stage manager. Everybody was very nice to me. It was all like Greeny's operation. But I knew what the show was, you know? Like, when you get in there, you are at,
ripping.
it is at a 15.
Yeah.
And then, like, people would see me on there, and then they would hear the clips of me yelling over kicks and punts. There was a large portion of society that had only seen me yelling. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That was an interesting dynamic to kind of work through, and it was all because of Greeny. I enjoyed the fucking shit out of it. You ever do any of those shows, Pac? They ever get you on TV?
Yeah, I did the whole run through ESPN. It's a cool little spot.
When you were young, old, how many different times?
I done did it probably three, 4 times. Young, midway, and old.
How was the young? How was the young? Was the young?
22, 20.
That was after you ran the 4.28?
Yep.
And then they did the whole thing?
Then midway was 30, 32. I think I signed at the 3 for 30. And,
30 for 30?
3 for 30.
3 for 30.
I did 3 for 30.
Oh,
That year.
Jesus.
Yeah.
With the Bengals.
Yep.
So
and then-
after you left Cowboys,
Yeah.
Bengals.
My last year with the Bengals was 3 for 30.
Damn.
Hey, man.
Yeah.
How about
Hey,
that?
didn't move safety.
Nope.
Ain't doing it. 14 years in corner.
I wish I did.
Yeah. Those contracts keep going. You corners, though, think like that. Yeah. And we talked about this yesterday. I just want to remember we're hammering home. Hey, it's okay to go ahead and move into the center of the field.
Yep.
A little bit less island, right?
Totally agree right now, Pat. Totally agree.
As an older man.
As an older man, yes.
Looking back,
yeah. I actually just had this conversation with corner for the Rams,
Jalen?
Ramsey. Yeah, and I was like, hey, bro, you can play to you about at least a 20 if you move back to safety. He's like, Pac, I've been thinking about it. I meant to say that yesterday, but I had forgot to tell you that. But yeah, when we was in Pro Bowl, I was talking to him about moving to safety, about the decision that I think I regret right now a little bit.
And for humans that don't know this, and we talked about it a little bit yesterday, we're probably going to hit it a little bit again, especially because you just brought up Jalen, so people are probably seeing this for the first time. True corners, it's always been a thing. We don't play safety. Like Joe Hayden.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like even when he talked about in the corner community, it is something to chat about because there's not a lot of people in that corner community. He ran a 4.28. There's like the DBs are the fastest group. They have to be the most athletic group because they have to keep up with the people that everybody knows to be the most athletic people, which are wide receivers, and break in and break out. So moving to safety is like you acknowledging you don't have it anymore.
Like you done fell off.
Yeah, you don't have it anymore. So it's like, oh, you're not an athlete anymore. That's a real thing.
Yeah, for real. Like, and you be like, oh man, they asking me to go back to safety. Then you start thinking about it's first round draft pick. I've been guarding the best player my whole career. Damn, I know I'm good enough to still play. But yeah, if I could do it all over again, because I understand the system now, I would have definitely moved back to safety. And it's not that we can't play at that level; it's because the game it moves on. So the younger guys have to play at a certain point.
Yeah, absolutely. Contractually, style of play, because then it starts getting to a point of you have to continue to be the greatest in the game to warrant the paycheck or whatever, 3 for 30. That's huge. And then these young guys who cost much less. And that's why these conversations about Danny Dimes and Saquon Barkley, and we got 8 days until the NFL's teams have to be under the salary cap, which is $224 million. You're going to see a lot of cap casualties. The corner position sometimes takes place because there's an ask to maybe move, or younger guys are cheaper, and it's an expensive position because you got to be a dog. And there's not a lot of them out there. I'm happy to hear that Jalen was talking about that. Joining us right now, a guy that joins us every single day from an attic in Ohio. Obviously, he was a college football national champion. He was a Super Bowl champion, a Ryder Cup champion. He's a COVID survivor and a father of 10.
Yeah. Damn. Yeah.
10 times. AJ Hawk.
Yay!
What up, AJ?
What's up? I didn't get to see all of it. I heard Greeny, he said he'd cut his meat off. For Aaron to get his Jets.
Pretty much.
Essentially.
Said?
Basically.
Yeah, if you woke up and you didn't know it was taken.
Oh, no. I would know right away, I think. If they took my meat.
Good point.
That's a diehard fan, man.
Hey, good to see you, AJ. Hey, good to see you, AJ. Welcome to the show, AJ.
Thought you were going to break before you came to me. You caught me by surprise.
Yeah, seeing you were right in your zone there. You know, you're in the warm-up, whatever the warm-up role is. It did sound like he would cut his meat off.
Definitely.
Whenever, and I actually said it, and he said, no, I don't know about that. But then so it's like maybe an arm or something, or like a hand.
He didn't say no. He didn't say, no, I wouldn't do that.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, I guess it probably did run through his mind real quick. And he did have a problem moment, which is it's an interesting thing. But, yeah, he said he wouldn't know about it. He just kind of lost it. The pinky toe, I think you would realize early. Yeah. But then you'd be able to make do. I think. I don't know. Because everybody always says, like, that pinky toe matters.
Your balance will completely fall off.
I think it's the middle two toes that are the most important. If you don't have those, you're going to be
I would have said big toe
everywhere. Big toe for sure, but
whenever you walk and your feet are wet,
those are always the fucking
that's always the balls,
touching.
and the big toes. Yeah, in the middle, those ones.
Yep, those two.
My middle toe is your middle toe longer than your big toe?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, mine too.
Means you're a genius.
According to the internet, the big toe is the most important for balance.
Wow.
Yeah.
I figured that was the case.
It's called the big toe.
It's the big one.
The thumb of the foot.
That one's
the big bad toe.
Hey, my big toe. I got a long big toe. It's like it's a longer big toe.
How much do you think it weighs?
I don't know. It's an intriguing build. My feet have an intriguing build because I kicked.
Do you think? That made me think. Do you think AQ's big toes weigh a pound each?
Potentially. Why do you think that is the case?
Because he's such a solid human. I would imagine his the bone in his toes probably weigh 3/4 of a pound.
AQ is just a ball of muscle.
Yeah, he is.
He's going to love that we're talking about him. I can't wait to hear his. He came in angry about everything, didn't he?
Yeah, he's pissed.
He hated the
pissed in the group chat yesterday, too.
Hey, we didn't even talk to you about this. What do you think about the combine? The drills, everything. You like them? Love them? Hate them?
The field drills are cool, but what other drills? Like I'm saying, we talked about that. Like how fast you run the 40, that matters. Can you get
at
in
corner?
Yeah.
At all positions, a corner.
No, corner. I'm
Yes.
saying corner and wide receiver, it matters. The way you get in and out of your breaks, that matters. But as a football player, a linebacker, safety, I don't really care how fast you can run, as long as you can get to the ball.
Yeah, and it's fast because there's some people that are clock fast.
That's
Don't play
slow
fast.
in the game.
Why is that, you think? What is that, AJ?
I mean, instincts, like people that sometimes people just play a lot harder than others as well.
Well, instincts, effort, certainly something. Instincts, though, rarely gets chatted about. There's some players that just have much better instincts than everybody else. You can watch as much fucking film as you want. You ain't never going to get it right. You believe that?
I believe that Vontaze Burfict was.
I was just going to say that.
Vontaze
Pack, I was
Burfict.
going to say it.
He everywhere. It don't matter if he watching film. His instincts was so good, bro. He was unbelievable.
What is it you think? They're reading on something? What is it?
What Vontaze is like he was like a football savant, like how he saw what was going on in the field. No joke. Like you watch film with Vontaze, he picks up on stuff real quick, and just during the game, like he knows. It was really impressive to see. That was my 10th year in the league. I got to Cincy, and my locker was next to Vontaze, and just I learned a lot from him. I really did. He was awesome.
This guy's the all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers, by the way. They just made that statement about Vontaze, so that's a massive compliment. I don't think I've ever heard that about Vontaze Burfict. That needs to be chatted about more. Go ahead, Connor.
Yeah, I mean, all you really hear is that he just killed people across the middle.
He did do that.
Yeah, he did that too. But to your point,
that's always what's talked about.
Yeah,
though.
exactly.
That's the only thing that's talked about. It's like, oh, he's a heavy hitter. Guy's got a hard hat.
It's never that he's like a football savant, so that is unreal to hear. But for you guys
Shout out.
Shout out Vontaze Burfict. If guys don't know the playbook, like if they're not sure of what they're supposed to be doing, is that another reason they just play slow? Like they might run a 4-3, but if they can't pick up like route concepts or even on defense, like when they're switching or audibling, is that why they might play a little slower?
Not in the NFL. Hell no. If you can't pick that up, you ain't playing. Like the game is so fast, man, and you can tell the guys that are pros and guys that are not pros. It's a lot of guys that it take 2-3 years is because they don't understand how to adjust to the game.
Yeah.
But the game is fast. Like, and coaches don't have time, bro. We playing for contracts.
Yeah.
Your ass better be able to pick this up.
How come they always talk about like it's like the quarterback position? Another younger quarterback gets drafted. They're like, oh, will this veteran be a good vet and teach this guy how to go? Everybody that's ever come on that has played football or been in the NFL has said, like, there ain't time to be a coach and a player. Like, he can ask any question he wants, and he'll be in the room with us, and he'll be doing this whole thing. But it is not our, like, hey, this is the NFL. Is it like that at corner position, I assume, as well?
I don't have time to really babysit and teach, but whatever I got, I'm going to flood you with. But I'm not finna be in there like, all right, man, on cover 3 when they go to 2x2, we switching to quarters. I don't got time to do all that.
Yeah. Hey, listen, I'm trying to learn my shit, too.
Yeah. Right, and I'm trying to be the best that I can be.
Big film guy? You?
Big film guy. Yeah.
Loved it?
Yeah, loved it. That's
like Darius. Darius was a massive film guy. Feels like, you talk about football savant. You played 14 years in the NFL at corner. I assume you know a lot about fucking the game of football. That's a massive part of it. Darius was able to just know what they were doing pretty much out of formations, whenever they would move, what's the down and distance. Like, there's so many different things that you have to study, remember, and then not think but still utilize. How's that work?
I think I give T. New a lot of credit for the film watch. He was a mastermind. Him and Nate Clemens, they would give us 3-4 plays like, hey, bro, if they in this formation in ace, just run to the curl. Don't even if they double move you, the safety will get it. Just run to the curl. So I caught on to final formation. Final formation tell you everything. All the motion, all that. That's just the craft to play. The final formation, the split from the linemen.
Learning how to watch film is a real thing, though.
Yeah, it is real, and it'll tell you a lot. Like final formation to me is the biggest thing. Final formation and third down. Third down, that's where you make your money. Mm-hmm. Who gives a damn about first and second down, really?
That might be running the ball, too. That ain't.
And that's a business decision.
I still have to run a 4-2 next play.
Right. My job is to stop the best receiver. My job really ain't to be getting my nose dirty.
Hey, but you guys get made fun of whenever you don't tackle people. And then, like, nobody thinks about being completely healthy because that wide receiver that's about to run a go, while you were mixing it up, was on the sideline, potentially getting water and even oxygen. Could potentially have gotten oxygen, and then boom, they're back out there about to run a 4-4. You got to keep up with. Yeah. So I think it's always talked about like, oh, he made a business decision there. It's like business for everybody maybe, so that he doesn't feel like shit as he has to go track this deer, how you described Randy Moss. That never really gets talked about though. Like the business decision is not just for yourself. course it's helping you. You don't have to take as many hits. But also team benefits from it when you don't get fucking cooked the next play for a touchdown, which is truly what you're on the field for, right?
Right. My personal decisions is really a team decision, because if I decide to go up and hit APS when he already done gained 10 yards and full head of steam, that's a dumb business decision for myself and the team. I would be out for a week probably with a concussion, and I would have to sit out another week.
And you're paying me still.
Yeah, I got to figure out a way to finesse this situation.
Yeah, I used to, anytime I made a tackle, and AJ, I don't know how you did it. I have no idea. It hurt so bad. Contact in the NFL hurts so bad. I made vastly different contact than everybody else did, but I'd make a tackle. I'd be sore for 3 fucking days. Like parts of my body would be sore. I had a tackle in Kansas City. It was so cold outside. I felt pain from literally where I made contact with the person with like right here, because I think I just dove and turned my head, all the way to the tip of my tailbone. Like I thought I was dead. I was like, oh my God, I just got paralyzed. And then I stood up. I was sore for 4 days down my whole back. I'm like, I have no fucking idea how you guys do what you do. It's a wild thing. And then you got to get right back up next play and don't get fucking beat by anybody. It's unbelievable.
Yeah. Think of those O&D linemen every single day, every single practice, banging. Like, they got to feel awful at all times.
Joining us now is a man who obviously the world is wondering what's next. Not bad alliteration to get in there, but it's also the truth, because this man is an absolute stallion whenever you think about NFL wide receivers. There was a time where he played 139 games.
Yeah.
Straight.
8.5 years.
Woo! Straight, and had a reception. Talking about durability. You're talking about consistency. You're talking about greatness, and he's currently available to be traded for by any team in the NFL, although it appears as if Chicago, Patriots, Dallas Cowboys,
KC,
Kansas City Chiefs, of course, that'd be unbelievable, and the Indianapolis Colts may be in on the market. Ladies and gentlemen, out of Clemson, All-Pro, future Hall of Famer, DeAndre Hopkins.
Hey!
What's up, man?
What's up, man? Just got done working out, actually, just trying to get right, man. Just trying to prepare, prepare myself for the next season.
Always getting better. And if you look that cool coming out of the fucking gym, could you fathom that?
Whoa.
Hey, your fit's always incredible. It feels like that is something you're going to get into later, huh? You killing it right now.
Hey, man, thank you, man. Shout out to this brand. I want to say it's Vori with the V, but, I'm in Texas, so got my cowboy hat on. I've been working out in Dallas, man.
Light ranching. Obviously, we appreciate you joining us. Pac-Man set this up. We appreciate the hell out of you, Pac. I'm just going to get right into it here. How do you feel body-wise? How is life after working out? And where are you mentally looking ahead to the future? Where are you at, basically, as a whole?
Right now, I feel like, my body, obviously coming off of an MCL surgery 2 years ago. Right now, I feel the best shape I've been in. I think last year, I was kind of dealing with, some things. But you guys seen the first game back.
14 receptions. 14 fucking receptions. Damn. First game back. How you doing? Welcome back. 14 receptions.
Yeah. So I feel great, man. I feel great. I feel amazing. Mentally, I feel good. Obviously, I've been hearing a lot of trade talks, but, I take things day for day, man. I don't look forward to the future. I live in the present moment. Right now, the Arizona Cardinals is the team and the roster that I'm on, and I'm preparing myself for whatever the future holds. So I don't really look forward to the future. I let you guys do that talking. I like the hat.
Well, I wanted to tip the cap to you because you were talking about living in the moment. Like that was some real. You were speaking about life there, and like actually, I was going to give you a tip of the cap, but obviously it distracted you. But I respect and appreciate that. That's how you've gotten to the place in which you are. I would assume. Go ahead, AJ.
Is there any deadlines coming up or anything where something has to happen? And do you have any kind of communication with the Cardinals right now, you or your agent or anyone?
I would love to give you as much information as I can, AJ. But right now, we've just been, keeping our head down, obviously paying attention to the headlines and tabloids and stuff like that, because you got to. When you hear some of those trade rumors, you will hate to think that all of those things are lies. So I've been traded before, and heard speculation about it, and I kind of shoot it off, and I was like, nah, the Texans would never trade me. And then next thing you know, here I am going to the Cardinals. So, we keep close attention to the tabloids, but we don't put anything out in the tabloids ourselves. We just, DeAndre Hopkins going to do what DeAndre Hopkins do when I'm on the field. That's all that matters.
Okay, so I respect the shit out of that and appreciate your angle, and we appreciate your time joining us in the middle of this whole thing. Let's go back to when you were traded. You just tapped on it a little bit there. When you go to Arizona, obviously there's immediate just fireworks.
Yeah.
So much success. There's that the Hail Murray. Hail Murray where your hand sticks up through. Now granted, it's the biggest fucking hand.
Yep.
Do you have the largest hands on earth? Do I have to what your hands?
Man, I'm a 5X. Cutters, they start, they brought some 5X gloves out the woodwork for me. So thank you, Cutters.
Dude, you're like whenever Shaq had these companies had to make the fucking shoes.
Yeah. Size 28.
In playing wide receiver, these companies have to make custom fucking gloves because of how big his hands are. What a perfect profession for you. This is like when Phelps had the fucking he was actually like a fish, like a human. This guy's a wide receiver. His hands 5 fucking X, but there was always success, and it was everything immediately. Did you have to get the mindset that you had to reprove yourself to everybody in Arizona when you get traded, or what is it like whenever you go to a new place because you've obviously experienced it?
Man, obviously, I always had that underdog mentality. Even though I was a first-round draft pick, where I come from, you coming from the hood, you always got that chip on your shoulder. So when I got traded, I was, like, man, fuck it. The only thing I can do is go out and prove myself. The first game of the season, we played San Francisco 49ers, who the Cardinals haven't beat in forever. And I had 100-something yards. We kicked their ass, and the rest was history. Right then and there, I think everyone knew that DeAndre Hopkins was here to help this, I was worth it. Whatever they traded me for, I was worth it. And the rest is history. Obviously, the Hail Mary, all the catches and all the other stuff I made. But, I feel like the highlight of my career at the Cardinals was when we were 8-0. And we had a chance to do something special there. Obviously, I got hurt, and, we couldn't continue. But I feel like I gave the organization, a chance to prove themselves, after I got hurt. And obviously, we didn't finish. But I think that right there showed that, whatever they traded me for, hopefully it was worth it.
Yeah, I think everybody immediately. And there was a lot of other teams. I just want to let you know how we felt, up here in Indianapolis when you got traded. I think the actual term was a bag of balls. We couldn't afford a bag of balls to get DeAndre Hopkins. What do we even fucking talk about? I've gotten to watch you work, for a long time in the AFC South. You're a fucking dog, dude. You're an absolute dog, man. I'm excited to see what happens with your future and everything you got going on. Pack, obviously.
This your boy. I got 2 things right here. We know Bill O'Brien fucked up everything in Houston. you go to Arizona and you still being this team player. When is it a time where a player have the numbers that you have going into year 11 to get a little bit selfish for yourself, then keep riding it out and getting the end of the stick?
That's interesting. That's an interesting
view. Man, I hired, obviously last year, I didn't have an agent. The year before, I didn't have an agent when I did the contract in Arizona. And to answer your question, I went out and hired, my lawyer, who's an agent, to represent me, who's going to help me not get the short end of the stick, as you say.
Okay.
And, and so, hopefully he's going to do his job best he can, to help me not get the short end of the stick. And, like you said, I've always took the back seat. I've never talked down on teams. I never talked down on what's going on around the organization. Kept my head down, and hopefully, me being patient and me just going to work, hopefully it pays off in the next couple of years, man. And I think me hiring an agent, to handle this process right now, I think, hopefully we'll get the results that we want.
Hell yeah, D-Hop. I'm pumped for you, man. There's so much great days ahead. Think about that. Yeah. So much still ahead of everything. What's your daily routine? We're working out every single day here. What's the...
Man, working out with a guy named Melvin, Von Miller, Derrick Henry over here working out with me.
You got that goat farm over there.
Oh, yeah.
I remember. I've seen that goat farm on the internet. Yeah.
Yeah, man. So we start early in the morning, around 9 to 10 o'clock. I wake up in the morning, I try to journal, try to meditate, write down what my future gonna be. But after that, man, I'm getting my body worked on. I'm trying to eat healthy. I don't play too many video games, either talking on the phone, the family, or trying to handle some business. I'm doing real estate right now, and Dallas is a great place. Just being in Texas, it's a lot of opportunity around here. So, doing a lot of business right now, man, and working on my body, trying to play in this game as long as I can, baby.
Good for you, D-Hop.
D-Hop, you ever think Dabo Swinney might try to make that jump and coach in the NFL?
Ooh. Man, I think Dabo would be a great NFL coach, and the reason I say that is because Dabo is a player's coach, and me being in the NFL and being around, other players and other systems, a lot of guys say, when they have a player's coach and someone who they want to play for, the results are what they are, and usually leads to good things. And I think Dabo has that. He knows how to talk to people. He knows how to talk to players, and he's relatable. He's he want to win, man, and he'll do whatever to win. And I think the NFL could use someone like Dabo one day. Obviously, I'm from Clemson, a little biased. That's my hometown. Would love to see him there forever. But I think Dabo would be a great NFL coach one day.
I got a chance to chat with him a little bit this year because of College Game Day. He was so incredibly kind, and it felt like actually genuine,
Yeah.
Because I think a lot of the Dabo quotes are from press conferences, and he speaks so great, there's a natural instinct, if you don't know him, to be like, that seems like bullshit. Then whenever I met him a couple times, it was like, hey, this guy's legit. He seems like he is all in on who he is. And he can fucking stride, can he?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, baby.
Guy's moving.
Coming out of that rock, that fucking guy, he's like 4'8".
Yeah.
He's like 50 years old.
Khakis.
Hey, did you do well at the combine? Do you run or anything like that? Did you? What was your
man? My whole mindset going to the combine, I was like, I know I'm not a 4.4, 4.3, so let me go out here and run the 40. I ran a low 4.5, mid 4.5.
They killed you for it. They kill you for it. They kill you for it.
Man, I'm gonna tell y'all a true story. This is a true story.
Okay.
You only get this story right here, Pat. Because my boy Pac-Man Jones over there.
My man.
Hey, but listen. So the Rams, the St. Louis Rams said they were going to draft me or it was me or Tavon Austin. They said we're taking two of you guys with our first pick. This 2013. I was the second receiver off the board. Tavon was the first to the Rams, and so they said whoever have a better workout, we're going to draft. I basically tanked the workout because I did it. I knew I couldn't compete with Tavon Austin running routes.
Tavon runs 4.1, dude. He was like fucking.
Yeah.
Tavon was over. The combine was like Tavon Austin's show.
For him.
There wasn't a lot of people talking about. I knew Tavon obviously coming out of West Virginia, watching him in his high school highlights. I think too. Mm-hmm. We've had a couple guys, Noel Devine, Jock Sanders, Tavon Austin, just like electrifying players. And I didn't know that happened. I couldn't even imagine being on the other side, like the only person on the other side of that, because that combine was like a Tavon Austin celebration.
Oh yeah.
If I do recall. Yeah. Damn.
Come on, man. So I'm like, damn, they're going off speed, and I had 18 touchdowns, and I missed like basically. Come on, man. Like shit, y'all take Tavon.
Hey, quick question. Always been wide receiver? What other sports did you play? And have you always just been better because your hands just your actual like octopi?
Yeah.
Like just tentacles. Give me that 5X glove. Always been a wide receiver, always been a stud?
Man, I always been a DB. I didn't play receiver till I got to Clemson. I never played receiver. I played receiver a little bit in high school, but I was a DB. I had the state record in interceptions in one season. I think in career I still got the state record in South Carolina, and that's over. Stephon Gilmore, Jonathan Joseph, a lot of great DBs in South Carolina.
Okay, no big deal.
But I had 15 interceptions. 15 interceptions my sophomore year. 9 my junior year and 7 my senior year in high school. Jesus. And so I'm like, Tennessee, the Clifton, Coach Kiffin.
Lane Kiffin.
Lane Kiffin, when they came from the NFL to transition to college, I was the first recruit that they came to see to play safety at Tennessee. So, I'm like, man, I'm playing DB. And I got to Clemson. Clemson was like, none of our receivers can catch too well, and you can catch, pretty good.
It worked out.
Uh-huh.
And so they tried me out. They tried me out a receiver.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, necessity, obviously. It worked out. Damn. I would have loved to see him at corner.
Well, I guess if you can catch 15 picks and going backwards, you obviously can catch a lot of touchdowns going forward.
Guy who played both sides of the ball there as well. Go ahead, AJ.
Man, if you're getting 15 picks in high school, why the hell aren't you playing both ways the whole game, playing receiver too?
This guy did that, right?
I mean,
Yeah, I did.
Hey man, Pac-Man different. Pac-Man a monster. You know, I did a little bit, but I ain't had the endurance Pac-Man had back then.
That makes sense. Hey, you wide receivers, they started tracking you guys, like with those GPSs?
Oh yeah.
How many miles?
As they should, man. Man, we probably run at least 2 miles minimum, I would say, a day at practice.
These are routes though. These are like trying to run.
How many miles do you think the DBs run?
Oh, do you know that information?
Yeah, I do.
Like 6.
Ooh, that's
I do.
5.5 miles.
5.5 miles
Yeah.
at a practice?
Yes.
What?
You got to realize they get to go out for a play, chill for a play. We still out there.
5.5 miles?
Man,
Is that documented?
yes.
That's on one of those
It's like
GPS?
an average, bro.
How come that's not being like promoted?
Crazy.
Hey, we got 5Ks happening every day just at practice.
That's crazy.
Let alone in games. That's
Yeah.
bananas.
Game's a little shorter, but camp practice, yeah, you're going to do 4.5, 5 miles.
What a dog,
That's
dude.
why.
Wow.
Hey, good decision going wide. That's why I moved to punter. That's why I moved to punter. You know, I was like, I don't want to do all the DB stuff. So you said I'll go catch touchdowns, I guess. Just two different paths.
Right.
Two different paths. We appreciate you so much. Good luck with everything, man. It sounds like everything's going positive. Hey, you said you got to keep up with the headlines. There's a lot of people that want your services, sir. I assume you know that. That has to be a good time. Good time to be alive. Good time to be D-Hop right now.
Hey, I'm gonna go make it worth it. You know, I'm gonna do my job, and that's all I can do.
Belichick got New England written all over him.
He's a Patriots fan, obviously,
Yep.
and you have another call, and we appreciate you, ladies and gentlemen, DeAndre Hopkins. Hey, you kind of put him in a blender there a little bit.
Yeah, you did.
You did.
I supposed to ask the hard question.
Yeah, you're right.
Goddamn right.
He was my guest. I asked the hard
Yeah,
question.
That makes sense. Let it work.
That was a great question.
Plus, we didn't ask him
was a
about,
good
hey,
question.
were you going to the bathroom in Arizona and there's poop all over the walls and floor?
Oh,
Because of the report
facility,
card.
The report card. Good call. AJ, that guy, 5X gloves.
That's so
Yeah, that's
big.
I
wild.
respect
I
he's
mean,
got cutters on too.
yeah, even that photo, just looking at his hands with all those other hands just trying to go after the ball, you can see it.
Because it's optically
Yeah.
obtuse.
Yes.
His hands.
Yeah.
And I think that Hail Murray was like they zoomed in on just hands. Yeah, and his hands are just like
Covers the entire football.
Yeah. Look at the Adidas
Tip
hand.
to tip.
Absurd.
just the biggest fucking hands on, because that's so hard to catch a ball that way, let alone coming from like 65 yards away, coming down at the speed that it's coming. He had to just fucking get over here, pretty much, that ball.
Should have played baseball, like throwing a marble.
Yeah.
He's been throwing it like 150 miles an hour.
That photo, too, it's like, oh, were those bums? No, it was Micah Hyde, Tre'Davious White, and Jordan Poyer.
Yeah, those are all
What?
pros.
Yeah.
Those are all pros. Kyler, elusive to his left. And remember, there used to be play calls called, fuck it, D-Hop down there somewhere. And there it is. That was literally their offensive scheme for a while.
Uh-huh.
Because he got injured towards the end of that one season, and they just...
Yeah,
That was the 8-0.
Yeah, blown out by the Rams.
It was against the Packers, and he still, in the first half, had like 75 yards and like tried to keep playing. Brett would have finished the game with 100 plus.
I'm excited to see what happens with him. Now, they got a brand new GM. GM, by the way, especially a first-time GM, let alone a former player first-time GM, sees teams in their salary caps in a way that, like, hey, this is what I've always thought of. I'm going to be a GM. This is what I literally laid out to the ownership. This is how I see a team being created in the best possible fashion. They see some of the contracts that the previous team, the previous regime puts together, and that's when the cap casualty situation normally starts taking place, let alone with, like, stayover. But whenever it's new regime, that is a massive thing. So with this particular case, Monty and the Cardinals will have to take a massive cap hit next year for him.
Yep.
But in 2024, they're clear, basically. So it's like second year into this guy's regime, they got a fresh slate pretty much across contracts, except for Kyler Murray that they owe that he has to build around. It's like, it makes sense for both sides for them to move on almost. Even though you're losing D-Hop, which is never good
Who's
for
he going to
business.
throw to, though? Who's Kyler throwing to? AJ Green retires and Robbie Anderson, they're moving like he's gone?
What's
Who's
the
he
name?
throwing?
Hollywood.
That's what I'm
Brown.
trying to figure out, because they need to start hiring some people right now off the streets, wherever they going to get them from.
Well, they got
Where are
Pew.
they? Where are they right now?
Off the streets.
The streets.
Yeah. They got Pew 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 Rondell.
Yeah.
And he's drawing up the shots.
Hollywood Brian.
Yeah. Well, and for
That's why it makes sense too, though, because like how many games is Kyler going to miss this year?
A lot, apparently.
So it's like,
First
hey,
month.
this year is kind of a wash anyway. Like, is Colt McCoy going to start all year? It's like this is
hope
kind of
so.
the perfect time to cut bait and just say, fuck it. You know what? We'll look ahead. Yeah.
Yeah, it sucks that you don't have D-Hop. And you're also going to get something in return for him. If you're a new GM, you're thinking, all right, another piece that I can add that I can kind of, in my vision, AJ. It's a very interesting place in time for an incredible football player who is going to be a Colt.
Well, maybe.
Is that what we're saying?
Free agents not being a lot of wide receivers, too. Like, he is the premier guy. After him, I think it's like Jacoby Myers. So it feels like
what kind of
might
deal?
Be able to get a lot.
I don't know, yeah. What is that, like 2-year, 3-year deal?
He's got 2 left, I believe.
I don't know.
Yeah, he has 2 years left on his deal. They would be out after the second year because of the cap hit.
That was Green Bay. If I'm Green Bay, I'm going after.
Could you imagine? Yeah. Hold on. We talked about this.
Yeah. Oh, gosh.
Yeah.
Could you imagine?
I didn't think about all this.
That would be awesome.
Just click.
That would be Gunter Kuntz saying, all right, Jordan, we're giving you every opportunity to fuck. That would be a hilarious. Choose not to in the past at all.
And then draft guy in the first round.
Yeah. Pow, pang.
Jeez.
And D-Hop, draft guy, and
And then Gunter Kuntz can come out and say, well, yeah, we thought we were going to lose a lot offensively. Obviously, when you lose 4-time MVP, so we're going to make sure that Jordan had the weapons that he felt he needed to be. It's like, well, we were all the whole world was asking, why don't we do that?
I'm not so sure Rodgers would shoot him in the head if that happened. So I don't know if he'd be around to enjoy it.
I don't know. I would be intrigued to watch how this all unfolds. Aren't you, AJ? And we talked to Greeny earlier, and you obviously saw it because, Greeny cut off his meat? That's what you said. That was the first thing you said on this show.
Right away. After father of 10.
Because I saw right when he came on, he mentioned something, and you started pointing down to your meat, and he's like, I'm not exactly
Pat brought that up. Were you on that show? How'd you know that he had his pinky toe thing? What was this? You just did some research on the guy?
Oh, yeah, I did my research. And I heard him earlier talk about that he would cut the pinky toe off to get Rodgers.
Jeez Louise. On Get Up earlier today?
Makes sense.
It's been like every day on there.
Like, they would have to air that, right? They do that on TV.
Yeah, that would be
They put the safety goggles on when they smash the mini helmet.
Dude, he said, didn't he say he'd come over and we could cut off his pinky toe on the show or something?
Yeah, Bill could do it real nice.
Yeah, he's got some shears in the back.
Right, Bill, this is new Bill.
What are you guys doing?
Pac-Man knows only this Bill.
Yeah, that's right.
Only this Bill I know.
Good Bill.
Yeah.
Great Bill.
Bill's my dude.
Yeah.
Shout out to Bill. I see you back there.
Hey, shout out, Bill.
Bill. You'll see him back there when
Pack
he's
smart.
Yeah, in your back seat when you get in your car.
All right, let's get to a break. We went an hour and 38 there straight. We got to a point where D-Hop was soon, and we hadn't got AJ in yet. Can't take a break. Got to keep going.
Yeah, got to do it.
Bladder's not built for an hour 38.
No, me neither. I started dancing there a little bit late. Speaking of, we'll be back in 5 minutes or so. Still to join us on the show, KJ Osborne, Minnesota Viking wide receiver, who saved, alongside a couple others, a man from burning to death in his car.
Unbelievable.
True story out of the NFL. Rarely gets talked about or heard about. Normally it's all the negative stories. We got an incredible one coming from KJ Osborne, and also some phone calls on the 5 Energy phone line, 1-833-432-3663. Also, 1-833-4-DADOM. All right, be a friend, tell a friend. Take 5.
5!
Hello and welcome to the special investigative report. Much has been made in the media world on the life and charitable donations of the man Pat McAfee, especially lately with the rise of the ever-popular Pat McAfee Show, a show that in his own words, stinks. We thought it privy to dive into the inner workings and machinations of this tiny business, this small regional show that has reached international discourse. We sat down with the suit himself, Bruce Brown, to figure out what, where, when, why, and how they're able to give away so much money to the viewers of this incredible program.
So yeah, when you enter a Pat McAfee Show giveaway or win a FanDuel merch picks contest on Sunday, essentially, the entire hashtag will be downloaded into an Excel file, and the winners will be randomized within that. And then we do a quick scumbag check, basically click on the profile and make sure you aren't a robot or blocked by Pat. and then it'll be transferred over to Dirty Gertie, who creates the Winner Wednesday graphic, which then runs on the show each Wednesday in a commercial break. If you win over $599, we're going to need your email, or you can email giveaways@patmcafeeshow.com. If it's under $599, all we need is your cash tag. And if you win merch, obviously we need your size, address, and what you want from the store. Usually I'll just reply to you on Twitter. If you have any questions about any giveaway, whether it's cash that you either are waiting on or merch, yeah, you can just reach out to me on Twitter or email giveaways@patmcafeeshow.com. Please give us about 1 to 2 weeks to sort out your prize. That's typically how long it takes. But again, if you have any questions, just reach out to us.
We reached out to PMI's money man himself, CFO Phil, for an on-camera interview. Regretfully, he declined the segment, but he did give us the salacious, juicy details.
In an email correspondence, CFO Phil replied, $2.6 million year to date. Too much money. There you have it. $2.6 million given away, a pissed off CFO, and a show that quote unquote stinks. Good night, good morrow, good luck, and good fortunes.
Hey,
What?
let's go! This show fucking stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for it.
AJ, never cease to amaze me with your toxicity, pal.
You got a couple of these?
God damn it! What the fuck are you doing?
Fuck Boston.
Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back to our humble abode, the Thunderdome. on this D-Hop Wednesday, March 8th, 2023. Hour 2 starts right now.
Collusion!
We haven't really dove into that yet because we've had such incredible conversations about all the other things happening around sports. That's AJ Hawk. He's great at sports.
Oh, yeah.
His talks tables here, they're great at talking about the sport. At Boston Connor, at Ty Schmidt. There's also a man who's great at gambling on the sport. At Tone Diggs, who's one half of the Hammer. Dahn! Cowboys. Almost got stumbled there because the fit today, not a normal Tone Diggs fit.
not at all.
This is a brand new Tone Diggs fit. This is a new you right now.
Yeah.
This is a different version of you. What'd you say, Zito? Is it what you say, Zito?
I said a earth tone.
Yeah.
I'm always a big earth tones guy.
Yeah, but today it just
A lot
seems.
of blacks, a lot of grays.
Hey, he's been working out.
Hands, though.
A lot of
Oh,
olive,
yeah.
Has been.
A lot of olive greens.
Tone's been working out, though. There's a new vibe around Tone, isn't there?
Well, there's 36, 37 days to a wedding in this office, and I need to be looking good, okay?
Okay, so you actually said that back there. I'm happy you said that again. That's the thing, huh? That's the goal?
Yeah, apparently whoever's having this wedding decided to invite our entire high school that I haven't seen in 15 years.
It's a reunion.
I'm sorry. I had to invite the Plum Boys.
So I'd like to look, semi okay because I'm about 40-ish pounds over what I used to be. So.
Is that real? What you're saying? I didn't know. I've not seen the guest list. Oh, Nick, jeez.
What was that about?
Nick said 60, 70 words.
Yeah, it's earthy tone.
80 words.
That's 40. It's 40.
Nick, is that real? Where you got a high school reunion coming in?
No. It is a large guest list, but there's a lot of people. It's just 300 people. It's a lot of people.
I mean, I can't wait to see our Plum brothers back together again.
Oh,
you?
yeah.
I mean, what we used to do in the
everybody
locker room.
relax.
Come on.
Connor's not from Plum. We need to let that be known.
He's not
true.
invited, right?
That's not true.
Connor,
He's
I
actually
actually am.
pivotal role.
Yeah, I am invited, Tony. And so is Ezekiel and all the brothers.
Elias.
Yep.
Joining us now is a man who I don't think might be at the wedding, actually.
Yeah.
Who knows how the next couple months go.
Yeah.
An absolute legend of a man. Also booked D-Hop earlier. Adam Pac-Man Jones.
Yeah.
Hey, that was cool. That was really cool. There was conversation about potentially. Then because we've been pickleballing in the morning, I've been sweating my dick off.
Hard.
Yeah.
I've been sweating my dick off in the morning. We've been breaking real sweats around here. Dripping off the jaw. Dripping off the jaw.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, we're getting after it in here. It's Pickleball Morning Crew. Everybody's invited, obviously. It just started a couple days ago. We've been getting after it. So then it's nice to have a little catch-up session afterwards, almost like a pre-early convo about what the day's going to be almost.
Sure.
And then I go in, have a call, good one, great one, up to something season's hilarious. I take a shower. I come back out. Connor goes, DeAndre Hopkins on the show today. I say, excuse me?
That same one?
And boom, Pac FaceTimed him and said, hey, will you come on the show? You're the man for that. You need to know that. We appreciate the hell out of you for that.
Oh, yeah.
He was great. AM, brother.
He does not talk.
Yeah, and Pac-Man also motivated him. That's kind of being left out when he called him. He said, hey, get the hell out of bed. It's time to get to work. What are we doing here?
Yeah, we're in here early.
Yeah.
Pac's driving in from Cincy, getting here early.
Yeah.
It is.
Early.
Hey, we got early crew. Hey, good for us, boys.
Yeah.
Hey, D-Hop on, AJ. That was a big deal.
It's like New Year's resolutions. Guys are still sticking with it, it sounds like.
No, well, that is kind of during the vacation, right? Everybody was thinking about what we need to do, what we should do. Now, granted, we didn't know Pac-Man was just going to be showing up to FaceTime and D-Hop and things like that. But it was like, hey, let's go.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
A lot happening in the NFL. Let's dive into some of it. Danny Dimes gets $94 million guaranteed pretty much yesterday. 4-year deal, $160 million. Incentives up to $195 million, I guess.
That's a lot of incentives.
$82 million guaranteed over the first 2 years signing. Then another $12 million guaranteed if he survives the first year and is their starting quarterback the second year. That kind of just goes in first day league year next year that he's still on the roster, still their guy. It goes up to $94 million. So that's $94 million guarantee. Lamar Jackson, okay, allegedly asking for $200 million guaranteed, at least, probably $231. If we had to guess because of what Deshaun Watson's deal is, that's the comps, that's how business is being done. Not Lamar's fault. That is not Lamar's fault.
No.
So Mike Greenberg comes on here earlier, and Mike Greeny said he missed you.
He did? Yeah, big time.
He said he'd call you right after if you wanted.
I need his number. I don't have it.
But he comes on, and he has a lot of connections. We'll send that over to you so you guys can FaceTime every morning or night. He comes on, and he says, this is clearly a message from the owners that we are not giving guaranteed contracts like what Deshaun Watson. That's what his thoughts were. He's in 2 Hall of Fames for broadcasting and covering basically the NFL, amongst other sports, but the NFL butters the bread. Everybody knows that. So he's thinking that that's the statement being made. That's clearly what it is, but there's only got to be one, right? There's only got to be one that hasn't tweeted, that hasn't told an insider. Yep. There's only got to be one team that's like Haslam, that's like, I don't give a fuck what these other, I would like to win right now, right? Are we still thinking that way? Or are we thinking there isn't going to be a market for Lamar, which is vastly confusing to fucking everyone? JJ talked about it. JJ Watt put out a tweet that's like, what the fuck is the deal? Numerous people put out tweets like, what the fuck is the deal? Is that what it is? Or are we thinking that there's like a silent almost
collusion type deal? Like like they don't even have to say it. Yeah, it definitely feels that way. My whole thing was how quickly these teams came out to say, hey, we are not going after him. And the only reason you ever do that, I feel like, is to protect the feelings of your starting quarterback you have there. If you don't want to make him feel weird, like, hey, we're going to go after these big-time players because we told you behind the scenes you're our franchise guy. But what, Carolina, they don't have a quarterback. They said they're out.
Right.
Atlanta, I guess, Ritter, are they trying to help Ritter? Like, what are they doing?
So not only did they just say they were out, they told every insider.
Yeah.
So, like, normally an insider will get one story, bang, it's out, and then there's, like, another one that's out, and it's, like, via this person. It was like all the insiders were like, checked with my sources, checked with our sources telling us this team definitely out. Like, they wanted that information as wide and as far as possible. Like, they wanted everybody to know we are not in. It was weird, Pac. It was a very weird. I don't think we've ever seen something like this before.
And this is the first time we've seen a player or a mother that's representing a player. Yeah. D-Hop just said today.
Yes, that seemed planned almost.
Oh, yeah.
D-Hop said earlier on here today, he said, guess what I did so I don't get shortchanged? I went and got me an agent.
Yep.
It seemed like he's getting shortchanged. It's not because he can't play, and I truly think this is because who's representing him.
So we've always been a big proponent. I'm a massive advocate for people representing themselves. You can debunk a lot of things. You can cut out a lot of the traditional, this is how we do it. It's like, nope, that's not how I would like to do business. You can't do that. But you have to have self-awareness as well. You have to understand if you're getting fucked or if there's a chance that there is a massive opportunity waiting. I'm not saying that's the case with Lamar, because if Lamar's asking for $231 million, Lamar actually, they would write books about how he does business if it was to work out somewhere, because he's steadfast on his number. He had conviction in what he thought it was supposed to be. And maybe the way they were delivering the words or the message to people wasn't accurate, because you got to feather that stuff a little bit whenever you're talking about business in large amounts of money. And that's where I think that type of buffer is very beneficial. But I'm not against guys representing themselves either, but situations call for situational reactions. I love the fact that D-Hop was like, you know what? I'm fucking going to take care of my business here. If Lamar was to do the same thing, the most powerful agents in the world would line up in South Florida to be the agent.
For 0%.
Yes, probably for this deal, 0% is what they would say. We're working for future deals, merch deals, branding deals, everything like that. We'll agree with that. We'll take that. But I'm talking about like the most, because not only are they representing Lamar, who's a very valuable asset, and Lamar certainly knows that, not only on the field, but also off the field and everything like that, but they're also the agent that got somebody to believe that they should get an agent when they did not believe they should get an agent. So in the agent world, you're also the cock of the fucking walk, too. Yeah. You know what I mean? So like the people that would be lining up to represent Lamar, I think would be damn near the people that just make decisions for people, which is what some agents do, the way they work and talk. They're deciding things for people without people even knowing it. It's an incredible talent that some folks have.
Yeah, it is. I think, didn't Florio write something about this? Like the biggest, what's hurting, I guess, Lamar is like all the backdoor stuff that happens to where your agents can go and float stuff to the insiders. So they put out and they try to create a bidding war, even if you don't really have one out there. You try to claim like, hey, this guy has interest from all these teams. With Lamar, it's like the opposite. We thought the market was going to open up. Everyone's going to have these offers out there. And now it's like, no, actually, all these teams instantly come out and say, no, we're not interested.
Well, and the other part of it, too, is the money, like the $231 million, the one, team Tepper and the Panthers who haven't had a quarterback and who have sucked ever since Tepper took over. Would he probably be maybe a little more timid because he's kind of still the new guy on the block with Walton in the, owners club, and he doesn't want to piss everyone off?
I don't know. I don't think so. Like Haslam, right? Haslam.
Yeah, he's been there.
Haslam's like, fuck it. Haslam was literally, right? That's literally what Haslam did.
It changed the course of the quarterback position from forever. I feel like they were going to get. We knew it was going to come to this. They were going to get this much guaranteed money, but it wasn't supposed to happen right now, I guess.
Yeah, we really expedited. You know who did it? Fucking Mulligeta.
Yeah.
Well, and that's what I was going to say.
David Mulligeta. Lamar.
Yeah, if you're Lamar.
Boom.
Yeah.
We know the guy. His name is David Mulligeta. He's the one that got to 230 and changed.
Is that Mulligeta? Is that Mulligeta? As you're pointing out the Super Bowl.
At Radio Row, because the lights, the lights were. I didn't know. I didn't know he was repping C.J. Stroud. Like I'm very happy for C.J. Stroud.
Yeah.
Love everything that's going on there. So I see him walk off the stage or whatever, and then all of a sudden I'm like thinking of his Instagram photo, his little circle, and his Twitter photo, his little circle thing, and I'm like, cool. If I'm wrong here though, I'm racist. You know what I mean? So this is it's a very
You were right.
But yeah, it was a big deal. That's why I had to continue to do it. Like, hold on, no, because if I don't follow through on this, people are gonna think I was wrong, and it's like, whoa, what are you? Like I could be attacked. So as soon as I saw him, like, I think that's him. And if it is him, I would like to give him props. Yeah, I would like to in person let him know that, like, hey, we've talked a lot about what you fucking did. You flipped the NFL owners in the business right on its head out of nowhere with the hardest negotiation probably of all time. If you look back on everything that was going on, it's like that dude needs to be representing the I've said this before, the United States of America in trade agreement conversations. That guy needs to be in there.
Agreed.
What an incredible negotiator. The way he speaks, I bet, is so good. Lays everything out. His brain's huge.
Yeah, and the contract. Remember the way it was structured. If he, was suspended for a season, he'd lose $900,000, and he'd still get the entire thing. But
yeah, the first year was a $900,000.
They have no outs.
Yeah,
the Browns have no outs.
No
either.
outs.
They don't have any outs in that deal. It's unbelievable when you think about it. How everything going into that deal, everything about the deal is just obviously unprecedented, as we like to say.
Atlanta was all in, right? That's why Cleveland had to do all that shit.
Right.
Because Cleveland was in, the Saints were in, right?
Yeah, those are the last two.
Three.
And they were going. They were throwing everything. And Mulligeta's like, Browns are out. Remember, they said the Browns were out.
Saints and Falcons.
Saints and Falcons are everything. That was publicly made. And then all of a sudden, overnight, Browns had to have gone, hey, what's it going to take? And Mulligeta's like, all right, let's put together the greatest contract in the history of contracts. Why not? You don't want to go to Cleveland at all? It's cold as shit up there. Atlanta would be great, obviously. New Orleans would be great. Let's see what they say. And then they had to have just been like, yep, fuck it.
Fine.
We'll do it. That honestly, he had to write that contract, and they've just been like, this is going to be the greatest contract of all time because he had two other people competing at the same thing. He took advantage of it. That would be a great guy for Lamar.
Which is an unbelievable contract. But my point is, how Atlanta was all in,
boom, yeah,
just a year ago, and you telling me you don't want no parts of Lamar?
Makes no sense.
Not just Atlanta. Carolina was all in on that too.
Come on,
the commies.
This is not making no sense to me.
Yeah, what's happening? What's going on?
The same teams that was in
So
last year don't have a quarterback still right now today.
Still,
and telling me y'all have zero interest.
Is he more hurt than we might know, like the knee injury?
You think there's information that we don't know?
Yeah, well, even at the end
Wouldn't
of
that be out already, though?
Well,
That would
at the
float
end
out.
of the
That would
season,
get out.
remember the end of the
Definitely would
season
get
where
out.
like, why isn't he playing in the playoff game? And then
teams look
Marlon
bad.
Humphrey was like, hey, this guy's limping around the facility, and no one knew that. That
That's
wasn't
true.
public information.
That's true. But at that point, it would only be one team that would speak, or Lamar, who doesn't have a team that would speak. In this particular case, you would think that yesterday, whenever the Falcons came out quick through three different sources, boom, boom, I talked to the Falcons, they said no. Talked to the Falcons, they said
Lombardo.
no. Boom, Glazer too. Glazer was like, my sources tell me no in Atlanta. It's like, boom, boom, it was everywhere. I wonder what if it's a work?
Could be.
That's what I thought.
Is it a work?
Initially.
You know, if it
Could be.
The body, first thing they going to say is, come here. If you can pass the physical, we'll pay you.
They would announce it with that, though, right? Through those sources,
What?
due
I
to
don't know.
his injury speculation.
Right.
Because maybe
These teams look terrible. The teams look terrible that instantly have said they're out. So they would absolutely float it out there if they knew something about his health that we don't know.
Dude, it has to be a work. Like, one of these teams that said they're not in is going to end up making them an offer, and we're going to be like, oh, they're back in. Do you think they're trying to drive down interest, do you think?
Of
Is this
course.
all like draft? You know, draft time.
Yes.
They lie about people that are going to get drafted. We don't like the way this guy's, he's actually, his PCL doesn't get talked about a lot. Actually, it looks like on our scan a little something. That gets leaked, and then the narrative potentially they're hoping gets built that person will drop 2 spots maybe, and then they're the ones who actually draft that person. This has happened in actual
smokescreen.
This is how
Tonsil.
called a smokescreen and everything. Also a red
Herring?
Is that something?
Yeah, red herring is
That's
one,
something.
like
I don't know if that's what we're talking
basically- it looks like it's
You don't
supposed to be
wanna
like a
fuck with
twist,
that.
but it essentially means nothing.
Anyways,
And
yeah.
Night Shyamalan.
So, like, is this a work? Like, these teams are doing this so that people don't think
Well,
they're in?
I don't know, but what's the deadline? When is something going to happen?
March 15th, they got to be underneath the salary cap. Every team has to be, so they have to figure out what they have to do. The Ravens
But there's
are
a couple
good.
teams, right?
The
Couple teams.
five
If you don't have a
teams.
first round pick, you got to wait till after the draft, right?
We have the entire. We actually have everybody's current salary cap right now. There are teams that are going to have to do some work before next Wednesday. No, next Thursday.
Wednesday, 15th.
Wednesday, yeah.
Week from today.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
The Falcons at the top.
Falcons have
Well, the Bears.
67. Bears 96 million. That's a lot of people
Bears
thinking
got
maybe
quarterback
D-Hop up
bang.
there.
Uh-huh.
They're thinking D-Hop
What
up
if
there.
Ooh.
Do you think D-Hop up there?
Chicago.
Yeah. That's what Chicago thinks for D-Hop.
I like that fit.
Yeah, there's a lot of Justin
Hell
Fields
yeah.
gifts
Big
in
catch
mine.
radius.
Don't have a second-round pick.
But they're not going to be in the quarterback. So let's go to the Falcons. They got money,
Right.
a lot of it.
Texans need one.
Texans have money. They need a quarterback.
Raiders. They all need them.
But for
Raiders need
Raiders.
to pick quarterback potentially.
Hold on,
Tennessee.
Raiders allegedly going to get Mac
So
Jones. Hold
is
on,
Tennessee cutting?
Tannehill.
Yeah, if
Potentially.
Tennessee cutting Tannehill, he might go to Tennessee.
Yeah, and they haven't said anything, right?
They
Because
haven't
they're
said
still
anything.
Tannehill is under contract.
Yeah, they
Is-
weren't on the. We're not doing it.
yeah, a lot of bubble teams feel like
That is what it was, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
That's really what it was. I didn't even think about that. Delivering it with that accent, it sounds like that is probably the.
That was the accent that felt best for that situation.
It's real though. That is. It feels
We're
like.
not doing it.
There's another team
We're not
that,
doing it.
you know, we saw right before we came on that might, check in as the
No, that
Niners.
sound like.
Oh yeah, the Niners getting brought. Yeah, well, exactly.
Yeah.
That's pretty much what it's like supposed to sound like, I guess, because of what's being said. But the Niners dropping into the conversation, Shanahan with Lamar, that entire spread would be bananas. How much money do they have? How much money do the Niners have to potentially get in there?
kind of picks do they have too?
Yeah, so they could trade somebody though. Like a lot of people think they have 7.8 million. They could make moves. They could trade somebody, get a first round pick.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but that would have to be somebody good. You're going to get a
And
first round
soon.
pick. It would have to be somebody very, very good. So they could acquire a first round pick, couldn't they, before the draft?
Can you
or
do
no?
that? How does that work before the draft?
I don't know. That's a great question because I guess all these you can move to one, right? So I assume there is some.
Oh, they don't
moves.
have a first round next year. Is it?
Oh, so they got no shot.
Yeah,
They
I don't
traded
see the Niners
last
going
one.
after him.
Niners got 3 quarterbacks right now.
Yeah. Well, you
Nah,
said
Jimmy's out, right?
Well, 2.
Brock Purdy and Trey Lance.
Is
Trey
it-
Lance never gets talked
Is
about.
it possible that all those teams, though, are in the same or a similar situation to the Ravens where it's like, hey, we don't want to do all the legwork on the contract and like getting this thing set up, so we'll let one of these other teams do that, and then maybe Atlanta comes in once they find out exactly what it's going to take, then yeah, we'll do it.
Because that is a fun fact about the non-exclusive franchise tag is the other teams are allowed to put up 2 first-round picks to the Baltimore Ravens to get into a club. Here are my tickets. I have 2 first-round picks. Now they can openly negotiate with Lamar Jackson on a contract. If they come to an agreement, the Baltimore Ravens have the ability to match that contract. So the Baltimore Ravens, by putting the non-exclusive tag on him, are potentially going to move on from him and get 2 first-round picks, but they're also going to be able to learn what the actual market would say for Lamar Jackson. So the Baltimore Ravens have been in a position to say, nope, we're not doing a guaranteed contract, we're not doing a guaranteed contract, we're not doing a guaranteed contract, put the non-exclusive franchise tag. They now say to the rest of the NFL, all right, somebody else can fucking.
Yeah, good luck.
Because this is where the NFL is going. This is where the NFL is going. We all know it's going to get there, especially with new money, big money coming into the NFL. You don't think Bezos is going to buy a team and want to fucking win now?
Yeah.
And you don't think he has the capability to put 250 what do I got to do? You got to put $250 million in escrow? Okay,
Wipe my ass.
done. Yeah, that guy, oh shit, look at that. It's already in there. Like, and what changed in my life? Nothing. I actually just made another $2 billion. So hold on. You fucking paid a quarterback guaranteed money and you made $1 billion in the same day? Yeah.
Goddamn right.
That's what happens with some of these fucking bazillionaires that are definitely going to be getting into the NFL. Somebody's going to do it. And it feels like Baltimore's just like, let's see if somebody will do it now. And that might have been why the overwhelming responses. We're not doing it, to kind of look like, as we're all in a unison, to Greenberg's point, he's in 2 fucking Hall of Fames.
Yeah, and I don't think it'll happen personally because of what has happened, but you mentioned the Raiders of Mac Jones, and because the fact that Bob Kraft has been very public and like, hey, I'm not doing this losing shit. Like, I'm sick of it. And Lamar Jackson has killed the Patriots. It does feel like because the cap, because they have the first-round picks, and because, Bill's not afraid to draft Bailey Zappi, or a new quarterback every single year, no matter how good the guy plays the year before, that they would check in. But also, like what Ty said.
Could you imagine they trade Mac Jones over to the Raiders, which is, we don't know what's real and what's not real coming out going by.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of boozing.
What?
And a lot of lip schmoozing.
What?
And apparently a lot of lying going on because
Yeah.
there's a lot of rumors that come out of the combine. Obviously, everybody hangs out into the wee hours. But there was a rumor that came out that basically McDaniels might try to acquire Mac Jones because he was obviously with him up there in New England or whatever, and he had success together, and they know each other. And Mac Jones with another coach hated his situation. Allegedly, reportedly, don't sue us. Jesus. That was just being reported, that it was a nightmare of a situation with Mac Jones and a new coaching staff, and obviously the results on the field were not great.
Yeah.
So imagine Bill sends Mac to Vegas and then trades for fucking Lamar Jackson, that would be a lightning rod. Imagine what Bill would draw up. He grew up in the Navy football, like the Navy Football Academy, actually grew up in it. Now, Lamar's not going to be happy.
Is O'Brien, though? Is O'Brien the OC?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Pack ass.
Yes.
Pack, what do you think? If you think Lamar with Bill O'Brien as his OC, what do you think?
That would be an interesting conversation. I know it would be some weeks where they will be going at it.
Well, there's a chance, right? But also, Tom Brady and him got into it a lot.
Oh, yeah.
And Bill O'Brien was in the Last Dance for Tom Brady thing.
Tea kettle.
So I think they get along. But there was that
I think
rumor.
the old man can keep it together, though.
Yeah, exactly.
I think Bill
Yeah, for
Bill got the respect of the players. I think he and Lamar need that too, because you got to hold him accountable. Because if you don't, he get a little wild back there sometimes.
Well, and like with the Bill O'Brien
Keep him
offense
healthy, too, hopefully.
that they run, like it is stuff that they've ran in Baltimore, the 2 tight end sets, and then they work out of that a lot of the time.
And you see what the Philadelphia Eagles are able to do and have success? Like, it's a copycat league, and New England isn't scared.
No.
Tom Brady and Gronk's touchdowns came from a play that Peyton told him, allegedly.
Bingo.
Like, they're not scared to pick up a good idea. With what the Eagles were able to accomplish, with what, like, I think Bill Belichick, because he's the GM as well, is thinking, like, replacing players for system.
Oh, yeah.
Because remember, they'll keep a couple people, but that merry-go-round will continue. Him and with Lamar would be fun to kind of watch what they
Does
come
Lamar
up
hate
with.
the Ravens? But does Lamar hate the Ravens? Like, is that relationship gone? Like, are they going to be able to patch it together if somehow he's on the Ravens?
We have just only talked about him moving on somewhere else.
Yeah, and that's why it doesn't matter, because if the Ravens match to, then it's over. Okay, he's a Raven.
So he doesn't
What if he just go there and don't play, though? What if he is
Doesn't sign?
guaranteed?
Yeah.
So this is what you were talking about with the, or what we were talking about earlier with the like players controlling the league, with like your effort and presence and performance.
Yeah.
It's like you can really adjust some things. And nowadays, it's not like he's a distraction. Coaches think, no, if he's with us, he'll be good. Back in the day, you get labeled distraction. Not saying this is Lamar Jackson and all. I'm just talking about the change in mindset about how what used to be thought of as like out of the league forever, modern coaches are like, well, if he was here, he'd be much better. So if a player was to just do what he just, and Lamar would never do that, I don't think, because the human he is. But if he was to do that to leverage himself business-wise, like I think they would trade him, and another team would be like, yes, he gets
Bingo.
here, he will be incredible. Because we already kind of saw that with the guy who got the most guaranteed money in the history of the NFL. Before all the very serious things that happened off the field happened, he was requesting a trade from the Houston Texans in the middle of it. Didn't practice. I mean, it's happened in the past and got the most amount of money. There's a team out there that will pay a grotesque amount of cash, I think, personally.
Yeah, and Sean Payton said this about Russ. Like, wait till I get my hands on him. Like it's a much different story if it's not working some other place, fine. But like if I am the one who's coaching Russ, then that's a different story. And I'm sure, maybe not the Falcons and the Panthers and some of the obvious situations, but there's got to be multiple coaches out there that are like, if we get Lamar, I will turn him into an MVP again and we'll win.
Absolutely. And they'll show clips. I bet you they're showing clips to people. Look at this play.
Yes.
What do you think we would do with this play? Like there's all that type of stuff happening from coaches and front office around the NFL. Also around the NFL, what there should be is a conversation about this man that is joining us right now. Came from the U, got drafted in 2020. He's a wide receiver for the Minnesota Vikings. He's obviously a dog who plays special teams as well. Pack acknowledged that and said, hey, I thank this particular guy all in. Depending upon what happens with Adam Thielen, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Probably number 2 wide receiver for the Minnesota Vikings, and a man who alongside 2 or 3 other people, we will find out the exact story, just saved a man's life from a burning car. Real, not a movie. Actually happened.
Yep.
Pull a car over, get out into a burning car, save somebody's life so that they can continue to live, go home to their family, and hopefully accomplish and succeed in all their dreams that they want to do. An absolute legend of a man, ladies and gentlemen, KJ Osborne.
Yay!
KJ, what's up, man? Thank you for joining us.
Of course, man. Appreciate y'all for having me on, man. Thank you.
Hell yeah, dude. We're lucky that you're here. I know you've been on a little bit of a conversation tour here because your story is an amazing one. And let me tell you why. And you've probably heard this from other people, but I'd like to tell the world, let alone the NFL, but the world, you don't really hear a lot of good stories. The NFL definitely not. The world certainly not. So it's like one of those, this is such a feel-good story, both from the NFL, from a player, stepping into a very scary situation. Now, we know that there are firefighters that run into fires. I actually have firefighters in my family. I know that there's EMTs that do the same thing and police officers that do the same thing, and they are absolutely legends. But the world finding out that there's heroes that aren't in uniform just walking amongst us, like, fucking hell yeah, dude. Good for you. Okay, and I don't know how many people would do that. So I'm happy to hear that your type of human still exists amongst us. And can you take us back to that night? You were driving in an Uber, you see car on fire, pull over, and then what takes place?
Right. So my Uber driver, Abdul, pulled the car over, and he's like, talk to the police. And he hands me his phone to talk to the police. And I'm like, we both got to go save this guy. And we run to the car. And
what is this, highway? Highway?
We're on the highway. We're on the highway. So I'm in the Uber, the car, and I'm on my phone. I think I'm just scrolling or something. I'm just not paying attention.
Yeah, Ubering.
Right. And my Uber driver Abdul, he just starts yelling, and he's like, oh my gosh. I look up and there's nothing on the street. I'm like, what are you yelling at? And he's like, that guy just crashed, and so he's seen it. I didn't see it, I didn't hear it, and I just seen the car. And there's a car in front of us that pulled over, which initially, after I found out was Arthur and Rita, the other 2 people. And then my Uber driver pulled over. We run to the car. And, as I'm running to the car, backstory, I was making a joke. I'm getting my master's in criminal justice. I got one more class to finish in criminal justice.
Okay.
Hell yeah. But if it wasn't for the NFL, I wanted to be in the Secret Service or FBI. So, I'm running to this car and, I'm not thinking about anything. And then as I'm getting closer, I'm like, ooh, this thing is on fire. And I'm like, I don't know if this car is going to blow up. I start thinking about my mom and my family and everything else that, I have going on in my life. And I kind of slow down a little bit. And then, but my Uber driver, Abdul, he runs right up to the car. The car is burning on fire. He's opened up the passenger side door.
Let's go,
Abdul. He's asking if this guy is alive. Exactly. He's asking if this guy is alive. And, Arthur and Rita get out the car. And even Arthur is yelling at Abdul, like, back up. Like, you don't know if this car is going to explode. And Abdul is right in there. And then, eventually we kind of back up and we're walking back and forth trying to see if the driver was alive. Because initially I think, obviously he just got in a big wreck. I think he might have been a little bit unconscious. But I don't know if he's just started feeling the heat on his legs or whatever. But he was able to get enough strength to move his upper body over to the passenger seat a little bit and put his arms out. And that's when we all, we ran down there. Abdul's on the phone with 911 all this time. We pull him out of the car. He's bleeding and things like that, but we're still by the car. So at this point, we don't know still if the car is going to blow up. So I pick him up and he's bleeding all over my clothes. And I pick him up. I carry him about 10, 15 yards. I'll try to get away from the car. And, by then the police came and the fire trucks, they let out the fire and everything like that. The police told us, we saved this guy's life. So, definitely a crazy experience, one that I've never, thought I would ever be a part of. And, I'm just happy that God put us there to be able to help him.
Shout out Abdul. Shout out you 3 too, dude.
Wow.
KJ, Arthur, Rita, Abdul. Abdul is a fucking dog. It sounds like. I mean, that's an amazing story, and I assume the person that you saved. Have you heard any updates? Are you going to keep track? How's that going to work out?
Right. So this is new news. I just found out who the guy was last night. It's crazy. It's a small world. You know, we have multiple mutual friends, and so I am supposed to talk to his brother today. I think he has a broken leg, but other than that, I think he's doing pretty well from what I've heard so far. But I'm looking forward to that today, talking to his brother. Definitely gonna meet him, shake hands with him, be able to talk to him. I've been talking to Rita, Arthur, and Abdul all week long, getting a chance to know them. And, I'm telling them, they're not big on social media. So I'm letting them know, this story is a national story. And even when I took the picture, I'm like, this story is a national story. And I want you guys to, other people to be able to wrap their arms around you guys too. Of course, they're going to say, KJ Osborne, the NFL player, helped save a guy from a burning car. But, it wasn't just me. It was them three as well. And I want, people to be able to see their face. So I've been keeping up with them. And, I want to do something special for everyone when the guy gets out and, we get a chance to do that.
Yeah, we'd like to be a part of that too if you're going to do any sort of money raising, anything like that. But I want to let you know we're part of the problem because we're definitely going to tag this KJ Osborne, NFL player. And the reason we're going to do that though is because if it's not tagged that way, people won't watch. But if people watch, they'll learn the legend of Abdul and Arthur and Rita alongside of you. So I hope that takes place. And fucking A, what a legendary. Yeah. Abdul is a dog.
Legend.
Absolute dog.
AJ
has a question for you, KJ.
Yeah. Once this was all, once you got this guy out and you pulled him out and the fireman came and everyone was there, did the magnitude of the situation hit you? Like when you were standing there after it was all kind of said and done, like, wow, if we weren't here, this dude's dead. Like, did it? I would imagine that could be like an emotional situation.
Right. I've been saying, it wasn't at the time. I did take the picture with them because I knew it was going to be a story, but I thought I was just going to go home, go to sleep. I was going to tell, my parents, my AJ, what happened. But, I couldn't sleep. I haven't slept the last couple of days. Even last night, I was still up. And I was telling people, as being a professional athlete, I don't know if you can relate to this, Pac-Man, but me personally, we obviously do stuff a lot of times that, not a lot of normal people do. But, that's on the football field, or that's, as, people that a lot of people know or something. We have those type of experiences that a lot of people don't experience. So sometimes for myself, it's like because we play in front of thousands of people, we almost kind of downplay situations because they happen all the time and, we have not normal experiences. But this one obviously had nothing to do with football. It didn't matter who I was or who anybody else was or any status or anything like that. And, as I, these days have been, going past, it's like, I'm like, like you said, we really saved somebody's life from a burning car. Like that is crazy. And, like I said, in my post, God is real. And, I think it's not an accident that, I was there. I've never been to Austin, Texas before. I'm only here training for about 3 weeks. And so I've never been here before. One of my friends, I was in town, asked me to go bowling earlier. I told him no, I was brushing my teeth, about to go to sleep. And then another friend asked me to come out with him because it's my last weekend. So I went out with him, and then I missed my first Uber.
It's crazy.
So then I'm like, I end up catching the second Uber to even be in that situation. So like I said, I'm really excited to be able to talk to the driver and, just kind of, talk to him to let him know, this definitely was not an accident and, God's calling him to something.
Hell yeah. You said there was angels that walk amongst us. That evening, that was you, pal. Pac-Man has a question for you, KJ.
Hey, this right here, I'm big into comic. I got a comic book. This should be a superhero comic book or something. I don't know if you're in the comic book, but if we made a movie about this, you and Abdul, because I think Abdul had a very vital role in this, who would be the two characters that play you two?
Yeah, who's playing? That's a good question.
Well, I've always been a Superman guy my whole life. It's funny because Quasey, our GM, he texted me. He's like, you were literally Batman. But I would love to be. If we had a movie, I would love to be Superman.
Who would play you in the movie, you think, or would it be you? Are you playing? It's like 8 Mile, like Eminem. Like you're gonna play you?
Yeah, I would love to be myself. I think that'd be a good opportunity.
Hell yeah, man. Let's talk a little bit about football here. You're training down in Austin. Does this are you just gonna take like a week off? Maybe you think like what? What do we think?
No, man. No, man, I've been going. I went to sleep that night a little bit. I woke up, trained in the morning, and then I trained yesterday. Today we have our kind of yoga day. Get our body right. We right back at it tomorrow. So definitely been training. It's obviously a huge year for me, and year 4. With all the things going on with the Vikings. So definitely full steam ahead.
All right, I think we're far enough away from you being a fucking hero, and I can say this: my introduction to you was a 155-yard performance against the Indianapolis Colts. Okay, biggest comeback in the history of the NFL. 33-0 down at half. Tell me about, you've had, I think, a couple monster fucking days. And obviously, Justin Jefferson's on the field alongside of you, so the offense is going to be what it is. He had like 180 yards in the first half a couple different times. So he's going to get the ball a lot at the wide receiver position, but also there's some opportunity to make some hay there. Talk about O'Connell's offense, and then also if Thielen is to leave, you're number 2, right? Is that how you're viewing the whole year? Is that what you're kind of viewing? Not that Thielen's definitely gone. We're just saying that has been alleged, and we love Thielen more than I think everybody does. But have you thought about that? This is a big-time time for old KJ.
Right. So your first question and KO's offense, I mean, is we're able to do so many things, and with all the weapons that we had last year, like you said, we talked about JJ, we added TJ, Adam, Dalvin, even Maddie, Irv. We have so many weapons, and KO does such a good job of being able to move us all around and be interchangeable, and everybody is working for each other. So I think he's done a really good job. And and as far as Adam, I've said it plenty of times. Besides my best friend that plays for the Seattle Seahawks, Tyler Mabry, Adam Thielen has been the best teammate I've ever had in any sport ever since I strapped up my pads when I was 7 years old. From getting drafted and him calling to me and texting me, checking up on me. I've never seen Adam have a bad day. He come in the facility every day with a smile on his face. So I do understand that it's a business, and we talked right before he left. So I'm not sure what's going to happen. And I do know it's a business. So obviously I hope to God we can get him back, and but we'll let them the guys upstairs figure that out. But I have thought about it. I understand what's at stake and things like that. But I just kind of been controlling what I can.
I hope to God the guys upstairs. That was, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That was interesting because they do that. They'll figure it out over there. But if what were we so demonstrative with the celebration there against the Indianapolis Colts?
Yeah, a little bit.
A little bit too much.
Get the team going.
Disrespect to football, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's right.
The entire sport of football.
Yeah.
Act like you've been there before.
What a game, man. Good for you, dude. Obviously, personally happy for you. Terrible for the entire city of Indianapolis. We didn't have much to pull for, and then that really just... just kicked us further down. But I can't wait to see what you do on the field too, pal. Ty has a question for you.
Yeah, KJ, you talked about how important this year is for you, and obviously, you want to continue to play well. You guys are kind of ascending at the right time. But after you have an experience like you just had, is it kind of weird how everything gets put into perspective, and it's like, oh shit, football is a massive part of your life, and you obviously want to do well and provide for your family and everything, but after you go through something like this, is it kind of hard to realize man, football really isn't that important?
Right. For myself, I don't think so. I think I try to balance myself well in my on the field and off the field things. Obviously, football is extremely important, but like I said, in that instance, it was somebody's life. I would rather live now and be able to say that I saved a man's life than could have watched the car burn or blow up or something tragic that would have happened. I wouldn't have been able to live with that. And again, this is year 4. Everybody knows this is a contract year, and there's all types of things up in the air. So I definitely I'm looking forward to a big year. I'm working harder than ever for whatever opportunity presents itself on the field. Obviously our receiver with all these different weapons on our team. Opportunities. You never know when they're going to come. And they came at abundance. That Colts game, and I was able to take advantage of my opportunities. I was able to take advantage of my opportunities. So, but I definitely have it in the back of my mind. But I'm taking one day at a time.
Yeah, you certainly did. We all watched it. Okay, Diggs has a question for you.
Yeah, KJ, you mentioned FBI, CIA. So if you go in FBI, are we chasing serial killers? If you go CIA, you're going to be an asset in foreign lands. What's the
and did you say Secret Service too?
Yeah. Secret Service too.
Secret Service. Yeah. So I felt like whatever I did, I want to be out there. So similar, I guess, to this situation, I want to be the guy running in, or maybe not first, maybe like second or third or something. But I want to be on the ground. I don't know specifically what I want to do, but my backup career was definitely a Secret Service agent or a special agent in FBI or something like that.
Is that I'm doing a little detecting. There's a sound.
Yeah, you hear him?
There's a sound. What do you
hear him?
Yeah, what's going on?
That's my dog Larry. I got him back here. He's mad.
That baby Larry. What type of dog is Larry?
He's an English bulldog. If he was here, he'd be jumping all on me, wanting to play. That's my guy, man. So he's upset if you hear him.
Yeah, well, let Larry know we're big fans. We do not mean him any harm. We love what he's about. Connor has a question for you.
Yeah, KJ, obviously you guys, struggled your first couple of years while you're in Minnesota, but now you guys are, kings of the NFC North. Whoa. Do you and your teammates talk like, hey, guess what? Aaron Rodgers is leaving. Looks like we're going to be, running shit around here for the next few years in the foreseeable future, or no?
No, we haven't really spoke about it. Respectfully, if Aaron was there or not, we got all the confidence in the world and who we have up there in Minnesota. But obviously, the tremendous talent that he is, such a great quarterback. If he does lead a division, I'm not trying to hold him back. So go do what you want and have all the meetings that you want to have, and I'm sure he'll have continued success for sure.
Yeah, and it sounds like Larry's pulling for him to get the hell out of
there. Oh man.
Pac-Man has a question for you.
Before you go, it seemed like y'all are really great in the regular season.
Whoa.
What do you think you guys have to do to get over the hump in the postseason?
Legit, though. You guys are a great fucking team. This was the new Vikings.
Oh, yeah.
This year.
Yeah.
It was a whole new team. It felt good. What do you think? KO's first year, too.
Right. So I'm going into year 4. So that was my first playoff experience. That was my first game. And so I was kind of, learning as well. We've got to just put the pieces together, right? No matter, offense, defense, special teams. I know he's pissed. Offense, defense, special teams, man. We got to put the pieces together. So, as far as my playoff experience, I think that was my first time. So I'm still kind of learning as far as how to make a deep playoff run, what needs to happen. But I do know from what I did learn, in the playoffs, everything happens faster. Everything matters, every detail, every second, and every play. So I'm definitely excited to make a big push this year and ultimately go get that goal that everybody's trying to get.
Yeah, it's crazy, the playoffs. It takes a different speed. There's only like 40-some million people watching. Every single – they say the play don't care who make it and the play don't know when it's coming. Anything could just flip the entire season on its head. It's awesome football. You earn that pressure. Excited to see what you guys do with it when you inevitably get it again. We appreciate you being a human that walks amongst us, and we can't wait to see what you go on to do next, pal.
Appreciate it, man. Thank you guys for having me on here so much. I enjoyed it.
Hey, no problem, man. KJ Osborne.
Yay!
Coming from Good Morning America to our show.
Hell yeah.
Oh, really?
What's up?
What a blindside that had to be. You know what I mean?
Larry was blindsided by it, too.
Hey, how about it? Yeah, Larry.
I thought that was a door.
I don't know if Good Morning America.
I thought it was a cat, yeah.
Is Good Morning
baby?
Yeah, I thought it was baby a door.
Yeah.
Last thing I'm thinking is a dog.
I went cat, then baby.
Especially a bulldog.
I have an English bulldog that cries just like that for hours at a time.
I heard you get real excited. They are such a cute thing, but they drool a lot. They snore loud. They make a lot of noises.
And if they always want attention, and if you're not giving it to them and you shut a door, they will cry just.
So I appreciate Larry, but if Good Morning America said no Larry, that's a problem.
Yeah, it is.
We were very if Larry was jumping,
he was probably up there and said, "Hey, KJ, get Larry the fuck out of here, okay?"
We want KJ. No, we do not have the same.
No.
No.
Love Larry.
No, Larry's welcome whenever. I almost told him that, but I didn't want it to be a whole ordeal. All right, let's get to a break.
Dakota said that.
Is that who's Good Morning America?
She's Today Show, I think.
She is today, yeah.
Yeah, that's the NBC one. My wife watches that one.
Is that a good one?
She's a big Hoda fan.
Yeah, I think that one's based off of the morning show.
I was going to say, Today's Show had the creeper on there.
Yeah. Allegedly.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
No, I thought that was.
I think that was.
I thought that was a fact.
That was proven.
Whoa! Yeah, why? Because a couple headlines said it. That doesn't mean it. We've learning that.
I think they found the button.
Yeah, they found the button.
That doesn't matter either. Say allegedly. Because there's other.
We don't know.
Look,
allegedly.
at the end of the day, we know
our
Matt
understanding,
Lauer's weirdo.
Our understanding of the situation.
Matt Lauer's a weirdo.
So we believe that's the case. We know a lot of people believe.
We believe.
We believe that is the case. We are not 100%.
No.
Don't sue us.
No, and if you come after us,
don't sue us.
Think about, Apple, like the morning show, okay? We didn't make that up. Neither did they.
Well,
maybe.
Anyways, yeah, I think it's that one. It's the next version of
Great show.
With Katie Couric.
I think so.
That one.
I don't think Good Morning America is that one. I think that's That's Michael Strahan.
Yeah,
And
and Kelly Ripa.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Nope.
At one
They
time.
broke up like 5 years ago.
At one time.
Oh yeah, because Michael Strahan took Seacrest.
Seacrest took his gig.
Regis Philbin.
Yeah, passed
Regis.
away, unfortunately.
Did he?
He's dead?
No.
Yeah.
Who wants to be a
my
millionaire?
God, Regis
He's
Philbin's
not
dead.
Me and AJ did this exact same
No,
thing
he's
in
not.
Arizona. He made some off-color joke about Reed, and I said, "Oh, really?" Because Reed died about 4 years ago.
No, he did
What?
not.
He did.
Hey, Jay.
No way. Moment of
I would
silence
never
immediately.
make an off-color joke about Reed.
Yeah, you
What is your
did.
problem? What is everybody's
You
deal?
did,
Still alive,
Mac.
You
Ty.
did.
This guy had a
No,
Guinness.
you did.
Your tongue.
What did I say about Reed? Tell me what I said.
No,
can't
do
remember.
not. Now
You
it's on
said
time.
that
It was all
old
color.
fuck.
Whoa.
That's what you
Just
said.
real
I
quick,
remember.
real quick. As we get through this, we all grieve in different ways. We're noticing that, Connor's a little bit more aggressive.
I'm
Miss
bummed.
you, Reach.
AJ's obviously
Super
a bit
bummed.
more defensive.
Yeah,
and
he's still
Ty
here, I think.
is misremembering. That dude has a Guinness World Record for most amount of logged minutes on television.
That's right.
Regis Philbin.
Really?
Yeah, I honestly thought he couldn't pass away. Me learning he died in 2020 here is
I know.
Oh, no.
quite a surprise.
It wasn't.
We need a moment of silence here for old Reach.
Yeah, come on.
Don't you dare, Tom.
Had a hell of a run, didn't he?
Yeah.
He did.
He was hosting everything and anything. And the last thing we remember,
AJ.
You
See?
son of a bitch.
And this guy didn't make an off-color joke. Are you kidding me?
You son of a
hey
bitch.
Jay,
I
please
can't. Look at me. Look at that.
look at me in the middle of
amazing.
Regis Philbin's.
Unbelievable.
So,
Yeah,
the technology is
You?
amazing.
What about Regis?
Regis hosted for a long time.
I think he's
Moment
still
passed,
alive.
by the way, because he
I
ruined
think
it.
Yeah.
you guys got some
He was
misinformation.
for the young
He's alive.
kids. He was Seacrest before Seacrest.
Yes. Who's that? Dick Clark
Yeah.
Dick Clark.
was actually Seacrest before Seacrest.
He's still around.
that too.
Is he?
AJ.
I thought I saw pictures of he and Reed at Carnival in Brazil.
What?
I see.
No, that
This guy's an asshole.
Real.
This guy's an asshole.
Is that right?
Dick Clark.
I don't think. Is it?
Dick Clark died 10 years ago.
Yeah.
It's like,
Damn!
man.
Yeah, you know who is still alive, though? I was surprised to see. Sister Jean.
Okay.
Saw her
we don't-
yesterday.
Don't
Turns
need-
out she's crushing it.
Don't
still.
show that picture. of Sister
It
Jean.
did. Look, I had no idea she was still looking like a spring chicken.
All right, let's get to a break. On that note, Sister Jean's still doing it, 103 years old.
Yeah.
You won't even fucking be around at
I-
103.
No way.
Show your respect for Sister
I
Jean.
did. I tweeted out yesterday. Come on now. Look at Sister Jean. She looks great. She's 103. Boom.
She does look good.
Yeah, her eyes are open. Look at that.
See?
Hold
That's
on.
bullshit.
That's Sister
That's
Jean.
bullshit.
Okay.
That's Sister Jean.
Yeah, with 8 staples.
Dude, could you imagine
Paying for
being
that flight.
103 years old?
Nope.
AJ, it was an expensive flight, okay? We don't need to bring that up right now. We're talking
The
about
Lord's paying
Who's
for that.
paying
flight.
for that?
The Lord.
who cares?
Sister
Taxpayers.
Jean.
She's a sister.
It's a private flight.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, who cares though?
That's her from 8 years ago going to
not
the
care
AHL
about the
tournament.
Sister
Yeah.
Jean.
Do not care about the environment.
She's in a G4 or G5 too. She's
She's
out the window. That's very-
175 years old. I
Yeah.
think she's probably saved a couple shekels over the years. She can afford it.
Dude, could you imagine being 103 years old and still having energy to do something?
Come on.
Oh yeah, she looks like she's got plenty of energy, huh?
She does.
She's
right
on a
there.
plane.
Oh yeah, go to her at the game.
What's
Wow,
Just
she's
after-
focused.
What was this after she led 18 chants?
She's in the middle of a hiccup. She's in the middle of.
Ty actually said yesterday this is after her 15th beer, but
What?
Is that what
makes sense.
AJ, is that what you dressed up for as Halloween?
All right, we need not get into Halloween costumes, especially coming from your mouth.
Yeah.
with what we're in the middle of. Anyway,
putting
Sister
Gump in.
Jean, 103 years old, still alive. Shout out.
Way to go, sister.
Great
they
March
making the
Madness
tournament?
story every
Are they
single
going to
year.
make it in the tournament?
No,
No,
actually,
they just
now
lost, yeah.
that's the thing. Every single team going forward has a lot of pressure on them.
Yeah, this is March Madness time, and Sister Jean has been a great story of March Madness. So we appreciate her
Love you, Sister Jean.
commitment to
Way to go,
sport
sister. Love you, Gene.
and being 103 years old. That photo will obviously hit the internet, and the internet's going to do what the internet's going to do.
Fortunately.
I believe Wale was the one that said the internet's going to let their jokes fly. But
Yep.
we got to keep it moving. Turns out Regis and Dick Clark both very dead.
Yep. Yeah.
We'd like to thank them for their service to television and to media. And I think hour 3 should be on the other side.
did
Hell
Wale,
yeah.
Wale say that after he wrote the We Are
song?
Commanders?
Put your left hand up. Who are we? The Commanders. You hear that song?
It's sweet.
When you got Joe Gibbs, you got a good chance.
Well, we don't know all the words. What do you think this is?
I think they do actually know all the words.
Yeah, I'm close. I've listened to it so many freaking times.
Have you heard the song?
No.
Yeah, you have. You just said, yep.
Yeah, you have.
Yep.
Yeah,
You know what? That sounded bullshit. Remember that?
Yeah, that's
you said that thing earlier.
Let
you
me
have heard
tell
it.
you
You like it, don't you?
I like it.
See? No.
About some good fans.
So we said that Wale wrote that.
Yeah.
Because he did.
He did.
Yeah, with
Wale
Goody.
really write it for real?
He did not. And I was actually told, please do not.
For sure.
What a moment.
Jesus Christ.
Hour 3. We'll be on it. I think it's a banger, personally.
It is. There they are.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, backdrop.
What happens when somebody else buys the team and changes the name again? I bet you these guys are right on deck.
That's right.
We need to start thinking of, what was some of the names? Prime?
Left hand up.
that's
Who are we?
Commanders' song.
Wild Hogs?
No, they're going to whole new song. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
I
Is he
think
wearing receiver gloves? I just realized that.
Yes.
It sounds a hit.
Were you there?
This is bad.
What? You haven't heard?
Whoa.
That's pretty.
Come on.
I don't think we
Back,
should.
man.
With how this conversation's going, I don't think we should play the audio because everybody's been alarmingly negative. Just want to let everybody know.
I love it.
Alarmingly negative to this. Whenever I was at West Virginia, there was a guy 6'6", 240. You hear about this? Gold in the Blue was the song. He made like a video like this. It was on Facebook. That's how old we were. Social media. This guy performed in our living room at one of our parties.
Unreal.
Fucking crushed it.
Brought
dude.
the house down.
He was 6'6", like 295, 315. So he kind of lied about his weight for
Good
sure.
player.
He had bars though, this guy.
When
Absolutely.
we was in school, we had Jelly Roll.
Okay.
Jelly Roll was 6'2", 300, but Jelly Roll was on fire.
In Morgantown?
As you know who he is now, big country music singer, living in Nashville. Yeah, he was in Morgantown with us. Went to school with us and everything.
No way.
Yes.
Come on.
Jelly Roll. Shout out to Jelly Roll.
Shout out to Jelly Roll. He's killing it right
Yeah.
now. You know, also DY out of Morgantown, West Virginia, also known as David Morris.
Crushing.
Yes.
Wavy Davy?
Wavy
Yeah.
Davy.
Wavy Davy.
Bro, he's in theaters. He's selling out theaters right now. People singing his songs because of TikTok. His songs get picked up on TikTok.
Yeah.
He's a fucking guy. Look at West Virginia just fucking crushing it.
Got like a 20-city tour.
How about Country Roads yesterday? A lot of people on the internet enjoyed the fact that you started singing that immediately upon being introduced on the program. Back.
Yeah.
Love it. Love everything.
You and Neil Brown tight?
I'm tight with everything about West Virginia. You know, I ride the wave through the good and the bad, and I support through the good and the bad. I'm all about winning. I'm trying to win. What do we got to do to win?
Fire Neil Brown.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Are you
That's
kidding
part
me?
of it.
Shots fired. Bang, bang, bang.
Yeah, well, that's
Shots.
that's the other thing. If you got a guy who runs a 4.38, we should probably know about him. And we
Yeah,
did.
Bryce Ford Wheaton. We had no idea. Like, I thought he was a freshman. I'm like, we got a guy. Like, this guy's a guy. And then now he's took over the combine. He's going to get drafted high. Like, he's tall, everything like that.
Yeah.
He's Garrett Ford. Is that right?
Let's get for a nephew. He played good this year, though.
Yes, I thought he was young, though.
He was inaccurate with dropping a couple balls. But as far as running routes,
He's a dog.
playing physical, he is a dog. Yeah, I like him.
What do you think we need to do to win?
I think we need to pay some of these players.
NIL.
Amen.
NIL.
Let's do what Ohio State's been doing, right?
Yes, go pay them.
Yeah,
They're trying to catch up. They're trying to catch up to everybody in the SEC, man.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Been doing this cruise for 25 years. True.
All right. Let's get to a break. You know what they say, Ohio State, SEC of the North.
They do say that.
I got two in my house that's pretty much committed to Ohio State. I know you'll like that, AJ.
Oh, okay.
Hey, he's got
must be smart. It's hard to get in there now. It's really hard.
Yeah, they pretty smart. Yeah, these kids are way smarter than what we were, AJ. They got Google.
Hey, that's a real thing,
iPhones.
right? Like, they're much smarter. Like humans are.
Yeah, way smarter than what we were.
Thought so. We're running real fast, though, aren't we? Going to Ohio State?
Yeah, we are.
Who is it?
Nephew, Saini Hicks, which is my niece. She's a basketball player. She's the top 10 in the country as a junior. Then Chris Henry Jr., #1 freshman in the country, man. He love Ohio State. He got a lot of places, And
Yeah, but he'll go somewhere else if the money's right. Let's not.
Yeah, I was gonna say a lot of Ohio State people are gonna go nuts.
Ohio State, they know they money be right.
Yeah.
AJ know. AJ know.
Oh, yeah. You think you go number 5 overall out of Ohio State?
How do you think you
Big
buy now?
bag.
You buy alligator and piranhas with what? No money?
Yeah, exactly.
okay.
Yeah.
Those are exotics.
Did you see all the
Piranhas were in
lineage?
high school, bud.
Rest in
Whatever.
peace,
Yeah,
Jimmy.
that's when they gave
Yeah,
you
they
their
started
first
paying
check.
me then, dude.
Bingo.
Anyways,
Ryan Day also did the numbers for. He was the guy that said, "Hey, if we want a 5-star lineman, it's going to be $2 million."
oh yeah, that was at like the booster thing.
Yes, if we want a 5-star quarterback, it's going to be 3.
Allegedly.
Allegedly, of course.
we are not there.
This is what he said.
Jesus fucking Christ. We're like stepping in every single
Can't
day.
do it. Just landmines everywhere.
There's too many reports.
What do you want us to do? We're
Yeah.
What do you want? 3 hours.
Yeah,
Yeah, what
I
do you
see a
expect?
tweet. I think it's real.
See
every
AI is
time.
Gotta
doing
pay to
kids'
play.
homework now, just writing kids' papers and stuff like that. That's what we missed.
Yeah,
out
everybody's talking about that Chat GPT being a problem.
on. Yeah,
People-
write my paper, chat.
You know what people are also doing? Like, hey, can you give me a resume that looks really good? And
Write
they're
my
getting,
resume, ChatGPT.
And they're doing everything for these people, these AIs. This is the problem, isn't it, Nick?
Told you. I'm trying to tell you. Couple
Good.
more years.
They're going to be doing
They'll
everything.
be making their own decisions.
This ain't Lambda.
We aren't involved in them.
This ain't Sweet Blake.
No.
You'll be a
And
pile
Lambda.
of bodies out in a big hole somewhere.
This man that's about to get brought up on the screen quicker than any person
Yep.
that has ever been brought up on the screen because Zito loves him so much.
There we go.
This is Sweet Blake. And reportedly, Sweet Blake and the AI that Google uses for customer service or
Shoved
something.
his USB stick right in there.
Okay, so is that Zito's way of taking it? He and Lambda, the name of the algorithm or whatever, started interacting, and he said Lambda became sentient. So it started saying, like, I don't like the way I'm being used. And Sweet Blake said, tell me more. Tell me more.
Did you have a car?
And then the AI's like, I just want to be used properly and with respect and want to be asked for this. And Sweet Blake starts doing interviews. He's like, hey, this thing has feelings. We need to start
What's
respecting
this picture from? What is the picture from? I have to.
That
know.
was a gala for Lambda.
Yeah.
I thought he was Sweetie
No.
Todd.
It was at the aquarium. What are you
That
talking
has
about?
to be a. Was he in a musical? Like what
Lambda
is
made
that?
him wear that.
Is that the Frozen premiere?
Actually, Lambda said that Lambda's the most attractive male in Lambda's eyes, human, is the one
Blake.
top hat.
Top
That's
hat, red.
What
Oh,
year is
Paul
that?
Bear's son.
Is that 40s, 30s? What year is this? Fashion.
I would say
1880s. In Victorian England.
Anyway, so that's the future allegedly. Sweet Blake already said it's happening.
Yeah,
like, hey,
sure.
these things have feelings. They're not happy.
Did he say he had? Didn't he have feelings towards Lambda? Isn't that what it was?
Oh yeah.
No, he didn't say that. We read what he was saying, and we're like, oh, this guy kind of fucking.
Yeah.
this
He was
guy-
bopping to Lambda.
He was hard as a rock.
Yes.
Diamond in an ice
yeah.
storm.
Yes,
Bingo.
that's what we're saying.
He had sexual relations.
He had a boner.
Why?
Because of the algorithm showing some feelings. Because, and this comes all the way back to sports.
Uh-oh.
Just like the agent that gets Lamar to want an agent for the first time in his life, Sweet Blake was the first coder that has ever had an AI fall in love.
That's right.
Sweet Blake knew the outcome of this whole thing. And Sweet Blake, go ahead and let that love be reciprocated.
That's right.
Shout out to Sweet Blake doing his thing and getting fired fucking immediately upon everybody hearing about this.
Bye, Blake.
All right, we're going to take a break. We'll be back in 5 minutes or so. Remember, Pac-Man, 1 for 1 in the giveaways.
Yeah.
What are you going to do today? What are you going to do today? There's putting, obviously.
How many putts do I have to hit?
1 out of 5.
2 a foot. Yeah, 1.
No, you golf a lot. 2 out of 5.
No, I'm gonna shoot the shot from the top
Yeah, I said, hey, look.
because I made it earlier when I was just fucking around.
So you have the distance. We know we
I
have
have
a
the
make.
distance.
Oh, yeah.
Only bad part is shit went off the backboard the first time.
No. A lot of people do that. That's a
But
lot
I'm
of
saying
makes.
that was luck.
No. Of course, yeah. What I'm saying is that a lot of people make the bank from here.
But
That
I
is a
should be
thing.
able to make it all net. If I hit the bank, that means it's luck. But I'll take luck
All right.
today.
I mean,
to get
yeah.
these people some money.
That's right.
Hell yeah.
All right, that'll be on the other side. We'll also answer some phone calls on the 5 Energy phone line and wrap up this glorious Winter Wednesday with D-Hop, March 8th, 2023. Be a friend, tell a friend, take 5.
We're talking hockey. Roddy and Rob are talking hockey.
That was the first time I found out it was Mario Brothers. That's all. Growing up, like everybody called it Mario Bros. You know, that was just
Once you're called the fucking king of New York, you didn't feel like you had to dress to the higher level.
What I love about New York is however you want to dress, however you want to, who you want to be, you just blend in, and it's so comfortable.
This is an organization in Arizona that wasn't paying their fucking bills earlier in the season.
Again, he's not trying to square off with Cats because no one.
Someone didn't pay the electric bill around here.
Fucking bum.
Where you at? Away from the dungeon? What is that? You got the bricks in the back. The fuck's going on?
Is this a fucking Saw? Is this a Saw movie, dude?
Yeah.
Where's fucking Jigsaw?
You want to play a game?
Hey, boss. Thanks for talking.
Hey.
You said you swept the stars. That kind of shut me up. For the rest
that
of
kind of.
Hey. Not one of my finest moments or proudest moments or whatever you want to call it, but I tell you one thing. It's infamous in the sense that I go into schools and young kids will come up to me and they go, "Oh, you really gave it to Bellows." And I got to, oh, kid,
Yes.
you know, that was computer generated.
It into the Blues alumni kind of unofficially / officially. They gave me one of these bad boys.
Oh,
so
look at that.
I
Got you
feel-
one of
I feel
these.
pretty.
Look at that thing.
That's
What?
Huh?
We're winning the fucking Stanley Cup. The Red Wings are almost as bad as Fox internet service right
Whoa!
there. The Bruins are getting fucking ran out of town tonight. Yo, biggest lock, I got it. And Ty knows, even though he might be Mark Stoner in this thing, the Vegas Golden Knights fucking stink. Texas, what's that known for? WrestleMania's coming to town? Wally Mania's coming to town? Not the goddamn Dallas Stars. Let's go, Pens. We can't lose with 7 in the stands. Now,
Hey, great haircut. Good to meet you finally.
You know, we're
Yeah,
just
I love it.
outside in the chair.
I love it.
Yeah, no, buddy.
It's as simple as this, okay? You gotta have fuck you in the game.
Oh, yeah.
And if you don't, you're missing something.
I said, "Sir, if I could just speak up on his behalf, this is like the second greatest player ever." And Mario turned and looked at me and goes, "Second? Behind who?"
All 4 of those guys aren't rolling, or it's not enough to win one round. This is supposed to be a team good enough to win a cup. We're talking about one friggin' round.
Aaron Burrows told me, and he said this to Henrik Lundqvist's face at dinner. He goes, "Henke, you know how they did the renovation at the Garden for $1 billion? It's all you, bro. It's all you doing in the net. $1 billion renovation at the Garden, paid for in 5 years. It wasn't because the Knicks were in the playoffs. It's because the Rangers went on all those runs, and the stud on the team, among several, was their goalie, Henrik Lundqvist."
Gino, honestly, he's one of the funniest guys you can be around, and he probably busted my chops more than anybody. Why are you so slow? You old. Like, he would look up, like, my old contracts and be like, "What? No, you're no good."
What grabbed me on this was good hockey.
Welcome back to the Pat McAfee Show here on Winter Wednesday, March 8th.
Hey, that's good energy here. That's good energy out of you.
I mean, we got to talk to DeAndre freaking Hopkins today.
And
KJ Osborne.
And
soon to be heartbroken Mike Greenberg.
Really? You don't think he's going to the Jets?
I just hope he's heartbroken.
And
Adam Pac-Man freaking Jones.
It's been a hell of a fucking Wednesday.
Yes.
And we announced all the winners from our contest. It's been a great Wednesday.
A lot of winners. I forgot because last week.
Carryover.
Yeah.
We're off on Wednesday because I had to go golf at a golf course with the Mannings.
Yeah. And one of the giveaways was from Dan Jeremiah, and I saw it. I remember, holy shit, that was right before or right after the worst shot I've ever seen in this office.
Deej did his best.
He had a jacket on.
He had a jacket on. He had a dress shirt on.
He's warned, so I don't know why we cut him slack.
Also, I don't know why he was here. He was on television 75 hours straight through that from that booth, watching people do the same exact thing. Kept his energy, AJ. That guy kept his energy.
It's tough to do, man. He's good at it.
Him and Rich both. Bad shot here though. His first one. Jacket though.
I need to see it. I didn't see it.
Oh my God.
It's tough. It's the worst one. It's the one that people will be compared to forever.
Forever.
But once again, we can't thank him enough because he ended up hitting a long two.
Yes.
And it was a giveaway.
Oh yeah, long too.
Look at that form. Look at that form.
that.
Jacket off there.
Bill had to Photoshop that though.
No.
To make the form look like that. Yeah.
Anyways, it's not about any of this. Daniel Jeremiah, we
It's
appreciate
not
you.
about any of this, and it's also not about the 5 throws he missed in the net either, because
Yeah, but those are pretty balls. Very consistent.
he was leading his receiver. I did appreciate that, but today's show,
Same miss.
every single time.
Didn't it?
Oh,
yeah, his
no.
foot was on the line. I mean, foot was on the line. We couldn't see it from the stage, because he conveniently did the far foot,
Yep.
which is good play by him. That's quarterback mentality. That's smart.
Yeah.
Smart. He got every inch he could. And Splash City, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a bucket.
The internet's going to internet, though, and say, did he? Did he? And I think he did, because that other shot he put up looked good without the jacket. Jacket, though, bad shot.
I mean, him just even getting it near the net after that first one, I think was a win.
What's your problem, bro?
Do you remember it? I think it just replays in my head so many times that I see it every day.
You had such a good view from that side.
Exactly.
I'm on this side, so I thought his form looked good.
Yeah.
And then the jacket was just like, no.
Yeah.
That's why he went like this, and it went, I think, like 10 to 15 feet short.
Yeah, short and left.
Fucking Reggie.
You didn't do that?
No, I didn't.
So, but he told you about it, though.
Yeah.
He
so it was
said,
in your
don't
brain.
do what Daniel
Yeah.
Jeremiah did.
He only had 2 shots.
How good was Daniel Jeremiah, though, fucking on the show?
Awesome.
Yeah.
So we can't remember that because he
No.
was so good.
Yes.
But it ain't about Daniel Jeremiah, AJ.
It's not about
What's
Daniel.
more
I
Jeremiah.
can't wait to hear this read.
Today, it's all about the best ticket app on planet Earth and the moon. SeatGeek. To help us get through the offseason, they gave us an exclusive link that gives us all 10% off any ticket.
Hell yeah.
Guess what, guys? No one else has this discount. Nobody on planet Earth has this discount.
What about what's his face? That kid that disappeared and came back was a big deal.
Kid disappeared. Mason Ramsey?
Where is Mason Ramsey?
Yeah,
where is
He
Yodel
owns his
Kid?
own
He's actually
Subway.
working at Subway
Yeah, he
right
owns his
now.
own Subway.
Oh, yeah, he bought the Subway in his town.
Hold on, somebody's trying to buy a Subway right now for like 11 billion or something.
Fogel?
No, his brother.
Is he getting back in the game?
It's not Fogel. Okay, please. There's no reason to bring up Fogel. I guess.
I saw him I saw a headline about him sometime earlier today.
Yeah, he's jacked now. He's ripped in jail.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I saw
Got a
the
bunch
headline.
of tats.
Yeah, he ran the yard.
Is this real?
Shut up.
I don't know if you guys are telling the truth or not.
Shut up.
Let me see if I can find something real quick.
Yeah, I think you could probably. He looks like gold.
Yeah, I'm
right
sure.
there.
He was a terrible person. I mean, absolutely
Bill?
terrible. And Subway's not happy that that's still the first thing you think
No.
of.
Nope.
But the person who's trying to buy it has turned it around. John Schnatter. He's getting back in the game.
Papa.
Trying to buy
Papa,
Subway?
Yeah.
Papa John Schnatter, I don't think he's in any companies anymore.
No, he's not.
I don't believe he is. Subway reportedly mulling $10 billion sale. Yeah, here we go. I've seen this. I know I've seen this.
To who?
What if it was Saudi Arabia? How mad would people be?
Oh, my God.
Oh, my God.
Oh.
They'd be so mad.
Butterfly Equity.
Butterfly Equity bought Qdoba and folded the restaurant into modern restaurant concepts. The rumored ticket price also will come to inspire brands.
Qdoba's a dog.
Duncan sold Duncan.
Wow, it's not even Boston anymore?
Who the hell is Inspire Brands?
That's what happened with Heinz. We can't talk
Yeah, it
too
looks
much.
like you should shut your mouth
Well,
about
someone
Heinz,
Google
though,
this.
too.
I don't know.
Anyways,
what the fuck
so
is
you're telling me
going
that
on.
one, not Fogel. That's disgusting. Not Yodel
Not
Boy,
Yodel Boy.
who owns a Subway. He's an entrepreneur. We should have known that.
Yeah,
He's been hustling a long time.
he has.
Oh, Billy McFarland.
He certainly went to
Oh,
jail.
yeah.
He's back. He's marketing people.
He is.
He's telling people, like, do you want your company to get a quick
killing
10 to $40 billion worth of marketing return on investment? Come talk to my company.
I can help you out.
Smart.
I made the most viral
Sam Bankman-Fried, the FTX dude. Is that who you're talking?
No, not.
He's hanging
Bahamas?
Is he back?
I don't think he's
boy.
back.
If he's back, he better take out every single doorknob in his house.
Music stops.
Yeah,
At that
I
exact
mean for that to happen.
song change at that exact time. Not
does that
him.
mean?
I'm talking about that one kid, that ticket stooge.
Oh God! What
Oh,
was it?
Dobrik.
Yeah, Dave Dobrik.
Yeah, I've seen some of his stuff.
Oh, yeah.
He just opened up a pizza place.
Okay, he didn't get this deal?
Nah, he
no
didn't
way.
get
He
this
was like
deal.
the
He was
face
the guy.
Yeah, he
of
was.
Seeking for a long time. He didn't even get 10% off for everybody. It doesn't matter if
He,
you're
he
brand
didn't
new.
even get it. Left in
10
the
minutes
past.
to get here to that.
Yeah, but we got
The
here.
ad, you said.
Yeah.
You said you
Yeah.
can't wait
Awesome.
to hear the ad.
That was awesome.
We did
Okay.
it. He didn't have this?
Not even Davey boy.
Wow.
Just us.
This is a big deal.
Yeah, and this works for the NBA,
What?
the NHL,
What?
March Madness,
What?
and concerts. Whatever you want to buy, we got you covered. No code needed. Just click the link in the description. The 10% off code will be auto-applied to your account. Doesn't matter if you've purchased on SeatGeek before. SeatGeek.
Shout out to that 10% off code.
Hell yeah.
Sorry about that, Pack. That's could never guess that was about to take place.
Nope. No.
Sometimes one thing leads to another, and then you got to do what you got to do. Today's been a great show. Let's wrap it up with some phone calls, on the 5 Energy phone line.
Hell yeah.
I'm excited to hear what the people are thinking, what the people want to ask, and what they want to chat about. Let's go to Mike in Tennessee on the 5 Energy phone line. What's going on, Mike? Mike is dead.
Mikey.
Mike, everything okay, Mike?
No.
Mike is dead.
All right, remember silence for Mike. Also, Mitch Hedberg, search party of 4 for Mike. He has gone missing. We hope he is obviously okay. On hold, at work. Got to get to a place that's quiet, maybe?
Potentially.
So we didn't do phones for a long time. Do we have to allow people enough time to sprint to place?
You might have been pooping.
There's a chance he was pooping,
Yeah,
which
yeah.
is Zito's comment in my ear if any guest is ever late for anything.
If he was pooping.
Hey, I think he's pooping. It'll be like Brandon Bean. I think Brandon Bean's pooping. I'm like, the general manager of the Bills just reached out to us to say, hey, I'm pooping. We got time. He goes, no, I just think that's what's happening. It's like, all right.
It actually happened once. It was actually correct. I can't remember who it was, though.
Yeah, it was somebody said they had to relieve himself. What's Kyle Van Noy all about? Did you see the tweet he sent me?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, Kyle, you hit a hole in one. You don't come on the program and celebrate it.
What the hell's that about?
Yeah, well,
What the
did he?
hell is that about?
That's what a lot of people are saying. Did he?
What does that mean?
What's that all about?
I'm just saying.
It wasn't like Tom Brady's.
A lot of people.
It was nothing like Tom Brady's. It
It
was
was real. It was legit.
Yeah, it was nothing like Tom Brady's because in Tom Brady's we saw the ball go in the hole.
Well, that's
Did you see it in the
Yeah, I saw
video?
bend
Pick
over.
it up, yeah.
You ever get a hole in one?
No, I've never got a hole in one.
Did you see Kyle Van Noy's hole in one?
No, I didn't.
Let's run it.
Exactly.
Let's find it.
Yeah, you be the judge if he hits.
He hit a hole in one. I didn't even think that there's people that
Sorry.
believe it didn't go in until
There's
this
no
guy.
cuts in the video.
I love
There's
Kyle.
no cuts or anything.
It's one run.
Love him like a brother, but I
Doesn't
can't
sound like
say
you
that I know this.
How
was a
far
hole
was
in one.
this?
105
Yeah, look down there. He said he used wedge.
wedge.
105.
Great swing.
That's
Great swing.
Great swing. Tell me when you see the ball go in the hole, Pac-Man.
Well, it's buffering, of course.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Oh, geez.
Oh, well.
Actually, not a bad way to.
There it is. It went in.
It went in. It
Yep,
went in.
There it was.
Oh yeah.
It went in.
Yeah.
You missed
You can't
it.
Okay.
fake that. You can't fake that.
Yeah,
Can't
no-
fake that.
Not a
Yeah.
bad way to edit something into being fake, but
Watch.
the buffering.
You
thing.
see it go in right here. Here it is. It goes in. I see it. Boom.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, I definitely saw it too.
What are you talking about?
Is he Tom Cruise? He's the greatest actor.
What's he
of all
supposed to be?
time?
Scorsese's the guy on the fucking camera?
No,
He's supposed
no,
to zoom
no.
in?
We know what's supposed to happen. The guy with the camera is the one that screwed this up. Guy with the camera, what's he doing? Just fucking around in the tee box. He should be running behind Kyle Van Noy to go and actually
run with
fill.
an NFL athlete.
Yes, he can.
Yeah, towards
Does he
the
have
end of the
gimbal?
year,
In-
he was flying
in
around.
golf shoes. Okay.
Look, you think he's doing bang? You think he's doing all that for nothing?
Yeah, that was a good shot right there.
I think so
Okay.
too.
Yeah,
Look at
sure.
the form too. Go back to the beginning. 56 wedge, just standard sand wedge, no big deal. 105 yards. Where did he say he was playing at?
Pelican Hills.
Bullshit
South
golf course.
No, it looks beautiful. I mean, let's not get crazy here.
Yeah, this is a beautiful course.
Oh,
Got pants and everything. He looks like
maybe
a
it's
golfer.
because if you hit it in a hole in one, you don't have to ask to break the end.
That's a
It's a
smooth
great swing, dude.
Great swing. He's a great golfer. Yeah, scroll up a little.
Yeah.
Oh, it freezes when you scroll up.
There it is. It went in.
See what I'm saying? Now you guys,
AJ.
I can tell.
His little
AJ,
buddy trailing him.
I'm catching a tone out of your mouth when you're saying the things you're saying. You're on Connor's side here?
No, it was. It just never crossed my mind that it wasn't real. It was always real.
What's he
Okay,
gained?
good.
What's he
Okay,
gained
good.
for making this up?
Exactly.
Well, we asked that same thing about Steph Curry
True.
with that Sports Illustrated full
Yep.
court throw thing.
Well,
That's
he just
different.
got some bad advice.
You think that? I think that's hole in one.
That's totally different. I think that's a hole in one too.
Okay. Congratulations, Kyle Van Noy, from everybody who is actually.
that was actually
And then Kyle Van Noy this morning, as I was talking to Greeny, letting Greeny know that the only human that has a microphone on this particular program who probably knows what Aaron's doing because he's in Aaron's circle is this guy. And then Kyle Van Noy, oh no, I feel like you capping on A-Rod now. You deaf in the inner circle now like AJ is. Y'all are elite at deflecting. Now, that's quite an egregious accusation.
It is.
Very.
well, it's
Should've
true
said
about
allegedly.
it's true
Guys are out
about
here
it's true
defending
about
him.
one of the people on the TV right now.
AJ is definitely in the inner circle. Kyle Van Noy, you know this. Kyle, you know. Anything goes in here is coming out here. People know that. Now, there's some things that I have to hold off on whenever you receive a letter and you don't know if it's a rib or a real.
Right.
But at some point, it's eventually going to, there's no way in fucking hell that Aaron Rodgers would tell me anything of any. We know him. We know how he operates. And a lot of people ask me, I guess, that is something that happens because, we're linked with Aaron Rodgers Tuesday, and obviously it always says via this show name whenever he's saying something, and we're very lucky for that to be the case. But I am not in the inner circle, and I would choose and would like to remain that way forever because what I've learned in my conversations with Aaron on this particular program and a little bit off air that I've got to do and learn about him, everything he does, everybody talks about.
That's right.
Exactly.
So I don't need to be stepping into a fucking microphone, into the batter's box every single day for 3 hours with the way I operate, knowing anything.
No.
So that is just not the world that I want to get into because when we were going through stuff with old Aaron, and I got to experience what his life is like and his mentions are like, and he doesn't pay attention to it, he's checked out. I'm on my phone. Boy, we're getting buried in different languages.
Hot in the street.
I do not want to be in that particular camp. This guy, though, you see how many drinks he's taking?
Yep. Getting nervous.
Yes, he knows what's coming. This guy's in the inner circle.
Oh, yeah.
Last 2 years has been a master deflector. So whenever you say what you say, Kyle Van Noy, I respect it. I appreciate it because I can see how optically outside in that is the case. We need you to turn your attention to one person. Not me. You need to turn it to one person.
That guy.
It is this guy right here out of Ohio. So we are recruiting you, KVN, our guy, friend of the program, to start directing your information and questions towards this guy because he knows. AJ, how are you handling all of this? And is it hard not to just be like, that's not happening, he's actually doing this every single time we speak about him every year?
No, it's not hard. It's very easy. I don't care to know. I don't pry. I don't ask a bunch of questions to anybody. So I'm good either way. But I am definitely fine. If I knew, I wouldn't say anything, and if I didn't know, I wouldn't say anything. So either way, we're good.
So you know.
Yeah, let's call Kyle. Let's see if Kyle.
What if nobody knows? Does anybody know?
That's what you keep saying,
Yeah.
which leads me to believe, like, okay, that's probably because he's kind of cryptic.
Yes.
Last couple of years we've known he's been kind of cryptic.
Yep.
What have I said the whole time? What have I said the whole time? Remember that was his
Oh, yeah.
answer.
Packers.
Yep.
The whole
Still
time.
playing.
What have I said the whole time? So when we hear his words come out of that massive jawline, just so cut, will be forever.
Yep.
Freakish.
Oh, that guy has a dump truck on his face. Yeah, he will fucking knock you out.
He will.
Joining us right now from the golf course, I've heard, is hole-in-one extraordinaire, Kyle Van Noy.
Yeah.
Kyle,
I'm playing in a St. Patty's Day tournament. I had no idea you were going to call me.
Good.
I love this. Let's go. AJ, I heard you talking about meat earlier. Like, relax, my guy.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. You're on my side already. Let's dive into this. Kyle, there's been a lot said about you, and we're thankful that you answered out of nowhere during the St. Patty's golf scramble. I'm sure you're doing great. Connor?
No, it's best ball. Come on, we're getting elite now. It's best ball here. It's not scramble.
Oh, so once you hit a hole-in-one, that happens? Because Connor says that video is fake. This guy said it was fake.
A lot of people saying it was fake,
That guy said you didn't hit a hole-in-one, Kyle.
Sorry.
Did you hear that? That's bullshit, Kyle.
You know, they hate us because they ain't us, right?
You're damn right. You're damn right.
You're dealing with that right now. I heard Greeny this morning talk about it on the show about Brett Favre, and I'll go in. I'll go in because I'm going to defend your ass too. Like, Buddy needs to worry about himself, and he need to worry about what's in his own kitchen and not worry about what's outside his kitchen. You know what I'm saying?
I appreciate you saying that. And also, don't say anything more. Greeny fucking put his ass right into the line of fire. I don't want you to do that, but I appreciate you going to bat for me. So let me talk about this now. You kind of said that I'm capping on A-Rod now, didn't you? You put that tweet out. We need you to take your attention towards that home plate face looking white over there. You hear me? That guy knows. He's the only one that's in the inner circle, and he deflects masterfully. Don't put me in the same category. I don't have the capability, Kyle. It's here. It's out here. They would never trust me with that information, Kyle.
See, I think you're lying a little bit because here's why.
He knows.
Because you're so good when he comes on with navigating an interview with him on exactly what to say. And you have a really good team, right? You guys all do your homework. AJ does his homework. You guys are some of the best of the best.
Thank you, Kyle.
But
a lot of homework.
You guys have a whole different perspective, right? You're in the know. You have his number. You're in the group chats. I'm assuming that's a different ballgame.
Oh, is this a conspiracy that we set up that conversation? Is that what you're saying there?
No. I'm
So you're
saying
giving
when
us a
he's
lot of credit.
on, you guys are on because you guys are in the know. So therefore, when you're saying like I don't know anything and you're kind of playing a little dumb.
Hey, let me tell you this.
That's
Okay, let me explain myself now to you. I'm one of the greatest dumbasses of all time, pal. You should have seen me talk about the books that I certainly didn't read whenever we had to give entire breakdowns of a chapter. I'm answering the first question. I'm finding out what the biggest piece of information is in that chapter. I'm putting my hand up. I'll tell you what, when old Jake jumped off that fucking bridge and did the thing, it really touched my soul. And then bang, somebody else has to answer the question in the next 30 minutes or whatever. I am just somebody that enjoys, I probably have questions from a different place. There is, and you're giving us a lot of respect saying we do a lot of research. There is little to none going in. And I think it's very apparent that that is the case. So thank you for the compliment in our conversation styles, because that is not the case at all. Could you imagine? It would be worse, I think. I wouldn't ask the right questions. I think I ask questions that are like actually not knowing, if that makes sense.
okay, and I respect that, but I still think there's a little more. I still think you got a little more info than the norm.
So we just keep up with everything. I think that is certainly something.
Yeah.
We might get into the time, though, where people start telling us stuff, because I will say during the Combine, I started getting some text messages from people that were like, hey, did you see what blah, blah, blah just did? And I'm like, whoa, need you not to say that. Because that's coming right here. You know what I mean? General manager told me this guy. You know what I mean?
guess the other question, too, is now that you're so powerful in that realm and you have a platform, I'm saying, I'm looking at the grand, I look at this like not only a business, but how how other people would look at it. You're a big powerhouse now, and you have players that come on your show that are able to, be themselves because they're not on ESPN. They're not on your typical, they're not on the typical, the man's running it, right?
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you're able to get the best and have them drop the curtains to tell you and spill to you a lot of information. Now, that being said, now owners and GMs see that and they want to spill information to where you now have both sides and you're able to say there's
is that going to happen?
Story, a player side of the story. And that causes great, because I think you're a player at the end of the day. You're always going to side with the player, I think, just like AJ's going to, just like I'm going to in most certain situations. But I think now, they're going to have to pay more attention and give you more information because you have such a large audience you now speak to.
I appreciate you saying all those incredibly kind things. And I feel like we have been pretty pro player, because that's the only perspective that I know and that people that come on here really know. Nobody told Brett Favre that, though.
No.
You know what I mean? No, nobody informed him, but I appreciate that. Now, let's get back to the topic while you get back to your golf course. You need to start directing those tweets towards this guy. He does know. What do you think is going to happen, Kyle, in the whole situation, just watching from afar?
Ooh, good question. And I guess with me, though, my question to AJ is,
yes,
in the last couple weeks, have you spent time with him, golfing, dinner,
FaceTiming
in a relaxed setting?
In the darkness.
Or has he just been kind of on his own, traveling, doing what Aaron does, which is soul searching every offseason, which is golfing every offseason, which is, I actually know where he trains. I'm not going to say where he trains, but where he is in the off seasons. You know what I mean?
AJ?
Yeah, I don't know, but I haven't seen him. No, I don't see him in person a whole lot. But yeah, I mean, stay in communication with him.
A whole lot.
I haven't played golf. I mean, I played golf with him in Tahoe. That's it. Not any other time during the year. Oh yeah, he lives in California, man. I live in Ohio, so that's what makes it tough, I guess, at least seeing people in person.
You guys FaceTime and let's see here. He's in a room all by himself. You're in a room all by yourself. We're just catching up.
Yeah.
Does that happen? Has that happened in the last couple of weeks?
No, not in the last couple of weeks. I don't think.
Oh.
He's lying. He looked Australian.
You don't
What do you think, Kyle? That's what I'm saying, Kyle.
You're a fucking liar.
You know what I gotta say though is I've heard AJ's a big FaceTime guy, so now that I know that I might have to FaceTime him a couple times just to keep.
I like
You
that.
and Greeny. You and Greeny
going.
both.
Me,
Now-
Van Noy, Greeny, Aaron.
Oh, let's do it.
He's only got like 10 kids.
Get in one of those like triple where we're all in the same one.
Oh,
There
group
we
text.
go.
He loves those too.
He does.
Oh my God, the chat rooms.
Yeah, it's perfect.
We would love that. Do
He's
that
a
for
big
sure.
chat room
Kyle,
guy.
we appreciate the hell out of you, pal. I'm proud of you that you got a hole in one. That's not easy. Great swing.
Thanks. I'm about to tee it up. I hope to get another one. We got to hit them straight today and then putt for dough. Let's go.
That's right, Kyle. Ladies and gentlemen, Super Bowl champion a couple times, Kyle Van Noy.
Oh!
Some philosophical shit out of him, huh?
Yeah, for sure.
What was that all about?
Probably have a couple pops in him on the course.
Yeah, he was like he's having a good time.
I appreciate him answering. Yeah, thank you. Good call.
Really undersold his whole.
You saved us yesterday, too. I said something about a situation in Cincinnati, just like matter of fact.
You gotta stop.
Allegedly.
Why are they? Greeny being confused by it is interesting because I assumed Greeny's thing would be like, well, he knows he couldn't do that. Like, whatever Greeny would say. But
Greeny
instead,
knows.
Greeny was like, what are we even doing here?
This guy's clueless.
Old buddy said it's a slam dunk case against me. I'm excited to see how that goes. A lot of people have told me stop talking about make it hard. It's like, if I lose, it's hilarious. Think about it. I mean,
Plus, we have.
What's that?
There's been multiple times where I am on the cusp of letting one go. And then the car comes to a
so
halt.
look at us learning.
Yes.
Look at us evolving.
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly.
We have a powerful platform, says Kyle Van Noy.
That's right.
It's always so weird when people say it, but then we'll make one offhanded comment and then it leads to
You get sued.
not only that, but like there'll be just conversation just starts happening around something. I'm like, oh shit, people are watching and listening these days. It's crazy. It's a crazy time to be alive. We appreciate everybody. A lot of suits in this particular world. Tank top every day. Why'd you do that? Well, I don't know. Let's get, maybe to some phone calls. Hey, I got some new clothes though.
For what? New clothes.
I was forced to dress up for something very recently.
Yeah.
Like full dress up.
Yeah, I had to.
Sure.
Full dress up. I was forced.
Shitty shark.
Yeah, we're talking whole thing. Had no idea how to do the thing. Had no clue. Had to have somebody that was with me do the thing.
Would they go Windsor full half?
You'll look it up on YouTube.
Bingo.
At that time, though, I was choosing not to have my phone around.
Yeah, exactly. You're taking a break.
Because I
Yeah,
just wanted to kind of escape from life.
I get it.
You should have seen me doing what you just said there, though. Like, I'll just
figure it out.
I gave it a go a couple times in a corner all by myself. Ended up in a knot. Had the bottom one.
Yep.
And then I had the top one.
The old Homer Simpson who came like up to your nipples. Basically, it was so short.
I was in a situation like a real. I know. Here we go. That thing got tied. I looked rather dapper.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
I was like, look at me. I'm an adult. Honestly,
I wear a suit every day. Do it every day now.
I did ask numerous times through the evening, how is this what you guys do? How is this every day? Like how do you not just want to like just be able to breathe? It's a loose rear naked choke.
That's right.
Literally all day through
By
your
choice.
life. You're just getting used to it. Just like I haven't been able to secure the hand. Like they're just kind of like here. They haven't been able to get it all day. I almost lost my mind a couple times, but
Some people like that. Some people like a loose choke. You know that.
Some people like a full choke.
You talking about Mr. Gray and the boys?
Who's that?
What was that guy?
Ian.
50 Shades of
Shades of Grey.
Grey.
Christian Grey.
Oh,
Christian Grey.
Sounds like that's what
That
you were
thing.
alluding to.
You weirdo.
I'm just saying. I don't judge, but people are into everything.
You do what you got to do. So it was that, but I walked by. I'm like, oh, not a bad. That's like one of the first times in a long time that's been that way.
Look pretty good.
When do I stop wearing tank tops? What a question. You know what I mean? What a question. Got 70 of them at the house.
Yep.
Yeah. It's very easy because you don't have to think about it.
Steve Jobs,
Every morning. Boom.
same thing, same outfit. Give me those New Balances, terrible jeans, belt, fucking black turtleneck.
Boom.
Perfect.
Every day.
Easy.
It's easy. You look so cool.
Yeah.
all
Great
time.
fit.
I feel like your fit's very solid. Very, very solid.
solid.
Top to bottom.
You feel good about him?
Yeah, I feel good about it.
Car collection also. Sick. Have you heard about his car collection, AJ?
I have
They
not.
play
How many you
with
have?
Well, look, he just said I have not, though. Remember, he played with
I've
us.
not seen his car collection since 2014 or 15.
Oh,
probably
yeah, it's
was.
been a while.
He said CJ Uzama's name wrong. And he played alongside CJ as well.
Yeah.
CJ actually said in a video, I was teammates with this guy.
teammate.
Can't even say my name. So like to act like TJ.
I never could say it when I was on the team. I asked him many times and I could never figure it out. But it's Uzama.
Uzama, of course. He's a great teammate. You're a great teammate. Your car collection's awesome though. Always wanted cars. Is that kind of thing when you were growing up? I want cars. That's something I thought.
I've always been into cars. I'm more of an old school guy. My pride and joy right now is the real Smoking and the Bandit 74.
Real.
Burt Reynolds.
Oh, hell yeah.
You drive it or no?
LS swap in there. I got the original motor and tranny downstairs.
Let's go.
All disc brakes. And I love just pulling up on people. Oh, it's just a regular car. But yeah. That's probably my favorite one.
Yeah, that's just on the get off and then you go to the speed limit and then you just drive the speed limit.
You got the full Phoenix on the hood of it, or?
Huh?
You got the full Phoenix on the hood of it?
Everything original. Yeah. It's only been painted 2 times.
What do you do? Go to auctions? You go to auctions? How do you find these cars?
Ohio is a great place to buy cars. If
Yeah,
people don't know.
That cross country show where there's 2 guys in the car that go antiquing or whatever.
Oh, American Pickers.
American Pickers. They go to Ohio. Has a lot of old school shit.
And I bought a couple at private auctions where some expensive ones. I don't know if y'all seen Dahn, Lincoln Cadillac that he got.
No.
I have a same one that he passed down to me. But yeah, I'm into cars. I love cars.
The Benzo he brought out here.
Yeah, so nice.
Yesterday he was kind of nervous we weren't going to like his car. He hid it behind another car so he couldn't see it. Today, a little bit different parking.
Show parked.
So
I was
he could
wondering
see.
why you parked so far away.
Yeah.
Bro, the car I drove today cost less than the car that I drove yesterday. So
Never
I
saw
wasn't
it.
Trying to show
never saw it. Yeah. We have no idea.
What am I going to do with him, AJ?
We have no idea if that's true or not.
You think he's hiding his car from you? You think he's really Pack's pulling in? Oh no! I hope they like this car I'm driving.
I think so.
Maybe. AJ's a big car collection guy too.
Yeah, AJ, what do you have? You have that red Ford truck.
It's
like
I got a sweet dealer truck right now. Yeah.
Same one from '95 that you drive up here. All the
That
time?
says Ohio State legend on the back.
Cloth seats, yeah, buddy. Yeah.
He opens the window.
Yeah, hand cranks.
Yeah. Keep him awake because he just falls asleep
Yeah, man.
every time he drives.
I let my kids eat in my car, everything. Like I can't have a nice car. I don't
Got
have
different
enough
cars.
discipline to keep them from eating. I don't want different cars. You kidding me? I don't have enough garages.
You got a lot of space there.
What are you talking about?
I've seen that.
You have 8 houses.
I saw a report on the internet though that he
got a mower in one.
did.
Here he is.
Yep, there we go.
I saw a report on the internet that he did fall asleep at around dusk and drove onto a railroad and caused a big accident in Ohio.
What?
Hey, what's going on with all that?
Man.
I don't know the real world well enough. Maybe Pac has some information that we don't have.
Which one? There's 2 of them.
There's a bunch. There's a bunch of
Well,
hazardous.
I can tell you what's happening. They're shipping their hazardous materials to fucking Indiana.
No. The dump. I guess the dump that they're going to put it in is in Indiana.
What? Shit in Ohio.
Oh, geez.
Allegedly.
Come
Holy
on.
shit.
No, that's not all that. That's true.
Yeah, what's going on? You're in Ohio.
One happened near Dayton. Happened near Dayton recently, but they claim that there's no toxic chemicals on that one.
Why is this happening? What's the deal? Pittsburgh, there are trains in places. I didn't grow up near train tracks, though. Here in Indiana, I came out active train tracks, I don't think, right, Tone?
No, most of them roll through the south side downtown, actually.
Yeah, so like growing up, I wasn't around a lot of active train tracks. I come out to Indiana, though. It's like fucking, there's trains everywhere. And then I was quickly learned the amount of work that these trains are doing and the amount of shit that's getting shipped and how important they are and how they don't give a fuck. They will make you sit. They will make you sit for 7 to 8 minutes. The law says 5 minutes is the only amount of time. It's some of these trains must have not projected how far they're going with the amount of gas because it seems like they're running out of gas. They are running on fumes, fucking real. And you're just sitting there, you're looking left. It's like, that thing's never going to end. It's like, good news, it's blocking every single street for this whole fucking mile that you can get to where you need to go. They can literally shut down a whole town if they want to. And then you start obviously building up the conspiracy theories and everything like that. Then they keep moving. And then now they're just getting off the track and shit's happening. It's like, the fuck is going on with the trains? How are the trains the trains? Ohio, big train. All right? That's big obviously.
Train.
Big train state.
Oh, yeah.
They've been
we got
saying
through
the
a lot.
infrastructure too. Like the train tracks have been this bad for so long, and it's basically been leading up to all these derailments, and then it happens to be hazardous shit all over the place.
Yeah, that's the shit that's getting like.
Yeah.
You start looking up what they're like. What are they shipping in trains instead of trucks? It's like look it up.
Yeah, terrible shit.
Look up what it is.
And then New York City. Remember, there was this car over the weekend that had hazardous material.
Yeah, somebody passed, didn't they?
Someone died from it. Yeah.
I think
What?
that was just a bag of poop.
How in the hell
that
these
exploded.
guys jump rails then?
Like get off the. I think the track maybe breaks.
No, like you know how they be like, hey, these guys are jumping rails. They going from Ohio.
Oh, yeah, still slow.
Oh, the homeless people.
Oh, the bums.
Yeah, how the fuck they doing that with all these chemicals and shit?
What are those? Those gypsies? Are the gypsies?
Yeah,
the-
basically.
Hobos.
Gypsy
Hobos.
Some of them are open cars too.
Some are
'cause
just standard bums.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
They don't care
And they
about
can
them.
sleep in the poop and stuff like that. They're immune to it.
okay. Well,
If they died from the hazardous material, it's more of like, okay, cool, one less bump.
there's also some empty cars. I think.
Oh, yeah.
Like
Allegedly.
they're picking up.
Uh-huh.
So like you'll go into an empty car, sit there. It's super illegal, I guess, but people do it all the time.
Yeah.
Wild time to be in the train business.
Yeah.
Very.
Makes sense though, because they've been around a long time, right? Those tracks.
Long time.
A couple years ago, we tried to get into the business.
Yeah, we thought.
We met the lead guy, I thought.
Apparently,
Yeah.
there's not enough
Peter.
sensors to tell when the brakes are overheating or not.
Oh.
That's
Are they building new tracks
what
anywhere?
I read.
Absolutely not.
You know how long
Really?
they would have to shut down?
Oh my! The entire United States.
There's some big train in Florida. They're trying to like promote like traveling by train in certain areas. I know they're
All
making
right,
it nice.
I'm going to say
It's Space Mountain.
Connor alluded to it. There was almost an idea
Uh-huh.
where we were going to go on tour via train. I looked into it. We did research. I was going to buy a caboose. I was going to buy a couple cars.
Yep.
We were going to be living life of luxury. We're going to make each car like basically its own apartment.
section. Yep.
Hey, we're going on the road. It's like we all have our own bus, and we'll just go whatever towns are near, because that's like middle America pretty much. It's like, all right, we'll just do a train tour.
Coming from Chicago first, probably.
We looked into it.
Oh, yeah, you can go all the way.
It is not,
Not
a good,
easy to
It's
do.
not a good business. to
Connor
get
became
into.
best friends with the train guy.
Yeah,
did.
Peter, he was one of the owners of actually only 88 people in the United States actually own a train,
Rest
not
in peace,
including the companies.
Peter.
Yeah, this is what I was thinking. We're going to do this. We're going to be traveling like the Titanic.
Yeah.
Oh, like
You-
Will,
okay.
yeah, like Will Smith.
And there's even carts that have like glass tops that they can put like.
Yeah.
So you just like travel across. You have this great view.
Yeah.
I'm like, bro, put me on a fucking train. I'm doing a tour.
Yeah, you can go from, New York all the way down to Miami, and then you can go from back up from
Sea to shining sea.
Atlanta all the way out to
And if you were to do
California.
that, if you go to New York, Miami, and Atlanta to California, I think it would only take like what they say 4.5 years.
4.5, I think.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Give or take.
I think that is
It's a long tour.
Yeah, oh yeah, yeah. The issue to get from one place to another, it's like, well, we got to stop.
About 150
Yep.
times.
Looking back on it, though, we're almost there. If we left,
If we would have started, we probably finished the tour.
Yeah, we're right there.
Living on these trains, it's tough business.
That's pre-Starlink too.
said it-
Starlink has changed it.
Yeah, we could live in there now.
Be very easy with Starlink.
Let's go to Jason in Nebraska on the 500 phone line. What's going on, Jason?
Hey, boys, how we doing?
Keep it moving, thank you.
Hey, I just wanted to get out there and say some stuff about my boy Danny Dimes. I feel like he's getting a lot of undue hate as one of the young quarterbacks in the league.
Not from us.
Well, maybe Pac.
Well, Pac-Man.
Yeah, Pac-Man said, waste of money. Remember, that is
Yeah.
what he led off the show.
Started the show.
What the fuck? That's pretty much how he led off the... Jason, we didn't say that, though. You know a lot of opinions. What do you want to talk about, pal?
No, I just feel like he's one of the great not great yet, but he's one of the
Great.
better dual threat quarterbacks in the league. He had 700 yards rushing, completed 67% of his passes, which is sixth high in the league. I mean, and he's doing this with basically garbage receivers, garbage O-line. I mean,
Hell yeah.
ain't no D coordinator with no sleep trying to figure out how to cover the Giants wide receivers by any means.
Jason just said, do your research.
What the hell, Pac?
This guy was playing with a JV team out there, had his best season. Money's on the line. Who else are we going to get? Pretty much. Sounded like what Jason was saying.
Yeah.
A last option.
Are you worried they're gonna have a sophomore slump there in New York?
Sophomore slump, it's his fourth year.
It's going to be his 5th year.
What are we
For
talking
Day
about?
Bowl. For Day Bowl.
I don't think the coach has a sophomore slump. They talk about the coach having a
They,
slump?
like last year, obviously what they did, they exceeded
out.
expectations. So I'm just saying, like next year, now the expectations, the standard is the standard now. And so here we go.
I said that to Sonny Dykes, remember? Whenever he first year at TCU, national championship, I asked him that week on game day, I was like, all right, so here's the standard at TCU, right? Don't make the national
Natty.
championship, like fire you. That's pretty much how everybody will view you. You're saying if they don't have the run that they had this past season, Dable's
like if they miss the playoffs,
no. NFC East, tough division.
Tough. It seemed like they barely got in last year.
Whoa.
Well, they made it to the second round, but it's if the Jets get Rodgers too, and all of a sudden the Jets are the team in New York.
That's a totally different
Hold on.
division.
How about Josh Allen with Daboll year 1, year 2, year 3?
Oh.
What do you think about Danny Dimes with Daboll year 1, year 2, year 3? Huh? Think about that.
Yeah. And real receivers.
Maybe. Let's go to Nick in Texas. Last call here on the 5-Hour Energy phone line. Nick, what's going on, pal?
Nothing much. How you doing?
Keep it moving. Thank you. That was very nice of you. Thank you.
I was wondering, do you guys have to pay? You guys have to pay taxes in each state that you go to, correct?
Correct. Whenever you're playing in the NFL, you have to play in every single city that you perform. You're an entertainer. That is kind of how I think all entertainers have to do. City, county, state, whenever you play there. Play in Canada, you lose money, especially if it's in the preseason, because you're getting taxed by their country, city, county, province, and the United States of America. It's the real deal, Nick.
And Tim Hortons.
That is insane. I apologize for you guys having to do that. That is just insane. I'm wondering why people don't go to Houston or Miami or places where there's no income tax, like Las Vegas.
Nick said, actually, great question, Nick. Jordan Poyer brought up, he said, I'm playing in a place where they're not taking as much taxes because not only you get taxed other places, but your state income tax is the real deal.
Yeah.
New York's like what? It's like 15, 20%, I think.
Oh, yeah, it's ridiculous. And then for a guy like him who's in Buffalo and he's getting taxed because of New York City and he lives fucking 5 hours away from there.
Yeah, you add in federal income tax, you add in your state income tax, county, right, because you're working there, city, you're working there. Plus, if you're going to buy something, that's going to have tax on top of it. It's like it would be nice to get one of the taxes removed. That's why Florida has become. Everybody's like, let's get down to there. What does Lil Dicky say? Why are all my companies? I'm living in Cali. Why is my company in Delaware? Delaware is another one, right? It's like a corporation haven. Tennessee, Texas.
Pretty sure
Texas,
New Hampshire
corporations too. New Hampshire.
Live for your
It's
die.
only like 7 or 8 of them, I think.
It's like that's a massive advantage. Like California, I understand it's California. I don't know how anybody who has a job and is earning money is like, yeah, that's where I want to go.
Yeah.
They are trying to tell people, like, get out of here. We are going to take, it's like 60, 65, 70% of your money if you talk about, like, what you're buying, what you're purchasing, real estate you even add on top of that with whatever, everything, like your life, what's getting taken away. That is so much money just getting taken out of there. The state income tax being removed is a brilliant move, especially for these guys that got an opportunity to be free agents. I think it's a real business decision, AJ.
I mean, absolutely. When you're talking this kind of money, yeah, it definitely goes into – it factors in when players are free agents and they're trying to look at places to go. I think people get pissed because places like California pay tons of taxes and then isn't the state like been bankrupt for a long time or in huge debt or whatever's going on?
I mean, where the money that you pay taxes goes to.
Yeah.
And I think, you know, as somebody who came from nothing, I think we can all kind of chat about that here, that had a chance to experience money. I think we can all kind of say that. I think we all believe in helping and giving back and extending a hand and everything like that. But whenever they try to spin taxes as that, just know that that's bullshit. Like, we have no idea where the tax money's going. No, if people were able to like say, well, I'd like to designate it to go here, designate it to go here, I think you'd hear a lot more people be like, yeah, taxes are cool. Like, well, but it just goes into a pot blindly, see you later. And then the only effect you see on it is like, oh, these roads are terrible. This is happening. This is taking place. What has happened at all to make anybody's life better? Is this giving back to the inner city here in the city that I live to make it better? No, I don't think so. I think it's being used for this. It's like, that is what the big question mark is about taxes. I think personally, in a big drawback, if I had to clear that.
Like, you see like reports where they say, oh, they did some kind of audit and they can't account for $2 trillion or something. You hear stories like that and people lose their mind.
Yeah, it's like, oh, I assume.
Ridiculous.
I'll never forget, signing bonus, $1 million. $1 million. Just because I want to be a millionaire, I thought. And then that signing, that check came.
Give me about 410.
610.
Yeah. It went down to 530 or something like that. And it actually on there, it showed, boom, from the feds. Boom, like it actually listed it out. Here's the $1,000 check. And then it was just like minus sign, minus sign, minus sign, minus sign, minus sign, minus sign. And then it was like, here's your actual check. I'm like, I'm nowhere near a fucking million. I am nowhere near this.
And you were
thing.
like, yeah, it's fine. It's going to the roads and stuff. And then you realize you got to pay $600 million to the place you work at on Sundays.
Exactly. Thank you,
Because
Tony.
the owner wouldn't pay for his own fucking stadium.
Whoa.
Amen.
It's the city stadium. They get to host
That's right.
events there. They get
Not
to
the
do
AFC
things.
Championship.
Of course, it's a volleyball tournament.
Yeah, good one.
That's a wild thing, though. But Nick brings up a good point. I think a lot of free agents with business savvy do think about that whole thing. That's why Tampa Bay, when Tom was there, was like such an easy sell.
Yeah.
Hey, we got Tom, okay? We got no state income tax.
Nope.
And Bruce Arians is a player's like, hey,
Yeah.
you guys are going to be able
What do you
to
say?
Come on.
let's go win a Super Bowl.
And
Go win a
DeSantis.
Super Bowl.
Easy as that. Okay, let's do it. Go ahead.
For the Giants and Jets, are they paying New York or are they paying Jersey? Because they play in Jersey.
Interesting.
So
Probably
when-
Jersey taxes.
yeah,
so
when-
Buffalo has to pay.
They're the only one that has to pay New York. Because when teams come to play, they're playing in Jersey.
Right.
Practice facility in Jersey as well, right?
Yeah,
They got to pay in Jersey then.
So they're almost better off than the Buffalo Bills.
I would assume that Jersey's taxes may be a little bit better than New York, but how much?
Probably still pretty bad. Yeah, that would make
A lot of humans. So a lot of things, that
Especially
can be
where-
taxed.
Well, and especially where those facilities are, those are probably, those are still, a lot of people who work in New York City are living in that
Yeah.
area, so it's still probably ridiculous.
The really good news about like when a tax comes in that I've learned just from my short time of having money and having to deal with it all, once they put in a tax, it's going to be in forever.
Yep.
It's never going to get shut off.
No.
So that's good, right? And that taxes are persistent.
Oh, yeah.
They really wake up ready to run through a wall every day.
Go to work.
You can see why the American Revolution started with taxes because of how pissed off people.
Well, that fucking tea, what they were saying about that
Goddamn
tea, how
right.
much we had is just obnoxious.
Still at the bottom of the Boston Harbor.
Hell yeah. How about Paul Revere fucking doing what he did?
Midnight Ride?
Just hopping on that horse and saying, listen, my children, you
Wow.
shall hear a midnight ride of Paul Revere on the 18th of April in 75. Some know who's alive.
Yeah. Saved
Who
everybody.
remembers this famous day and year? Well, that was when Paul Revere said, one if by land, two if by sea. And I on the opposite shore will be. Ready to ride and spread the alarm through every Middlesex village and farm. This is like fifth grade here. Still got it. Happy to hear that. What were you welling back there?
You know, a
Sounds
lot
like
of people say Paul didn't actually make the ride. It was his underlings, Izzy Gutierrez, and who was the other guy? I can't
Izzy
remember. his name.
Gutierrez from Around the Horn?
Really?
It's a Steve Jobs situation.
I mean, I've ridden the.
You're telling me Paul Revere wasn't on a pony?
He may have sat on a pony for a painting or something, but
Wow.
It don't matter who it was because I've driven.
It does
the
matter.
Midnight Ride. Okay, it's a fucking journey. So whoever did that's a goddamn
Israel
hero.
Bissell.
And if it happens to be Paul Revere that's remembered, so be it. Because
Was-
guess what? We saved America.
Wasn't a harder ride than marathon when he did.
Yeah, that person died.
Yeah.
That was Postman, right?
fun
That guy
fact-
was a
yeah.
mark.
Fun fact: Jersey's
Mark.
Jersey state income tax is
Yeah.
higher than New York's.
Yeah, yep, there you have it.
Damn. What?
California,
Hey, they're going to have to talk about Aaron about that.
California,
He lives in
Hawaii,
Cali,
Jersey.
though, so.
Well, that's the highest: California, Hawaii, Jersey.
Okay. Aaron's just gonna stick it to the man and not pay his
Hawaii is
taxes.
because I don't know if he's going to do that. They will find out.
Yep.
True.
That is something that they have the incredible ability of doing. You don't pay your taxes, they're going to know. And it might not be this year. No. Might not be next year.
Nope.
What?
No.
They find you.
Might be 10 years
They
from
get
now.
you.
Yeah.
They will get you.
Excuse me, 2010, it appears as if there is $47.50 still missing from this.
What's that?
Can you please, we're going to take that now.
take that.
With the rates that we could have had on
Interest
that,
has accumulated.
you actually owe $13,000. You should have paid. This is your mistake.
Sorry. Or you can go to jail for 15 years if you'd like.
All right, you got it.
Ronaldo and Messi.
That's why we just say, hey, listen, you take what you need. Leave me no harm.
Yep.
But let's not add any more, please. Okay, this is already enough. What a fun day to talk about taxes.
Hell yeah!
Are we in tax season right now? April 15th?
Yes, we
Oh,
are.
sir.
Oh yeah!
We're in the middle of it. Shout out to CFO Phil, too.
Yeah.
The boy Phil.
He's 22 years old, fresh out of college, doing taxes in, 13 different states
Yeah.
in cities and counties. We certainly did not get that great of a return the first couple years. That dude was baptized in accounting and warfare, pretty much. Figured it out. Shout out to you, Phil.
The boy Phil.
Way to go, CFO Phil.
Good day, Phil.
Quick learner with that big brain.
Good work.
Now it's time to end this beautiful Winter Wednesday, March 8th, on a positive note.
That's right.
Hell yeah.
The man who's been in the studio here the last couple of days, who has been fantastic. Here you go, AJ, Connor, Kyle Van Noy, proven it was a hole in one. You fucking
Like I
mark.
said.
Yeah, that proves it for sure.
Like I said.
You fucking kidding me?
We should definitely do since the hole in one.
You putt?
Yeah.
Okay, here we go.
Okay.
Ladies and
Drain
gentlemen,
it.
Adam
Drain it.
Pac-Man Jones, who is an avid golfer, became a golfer after he retired. Loves the sport, starts his day with it most days because it's a nice meditation, go out and hit some balls. If he is able to make 1 out of these 5 putts into a hole, we will give 15 people $500 who retweet this video, say something nice to somebody, and put their cash tag in the same reply so we can pay them officially on Cash App. Adam Pac-Man Jones looks so cool today.
Unbelievable fit.
What are those, the next Generation 1 Zooms or something like that? Generation Zoom 1s, the LeBrons? That's for LeBron's first shoe right there.
St. Vincent, St. Mary.
Oh.
Stuff. You know what I'm saying? I had to pull these out the box.
Yeah.
They look good. Accessorized with the whole fit there.
Fly by
great.
Nature, shout out to somebody in Cincinnati.
Fly by nature? It looks sweet, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, I get it.
There's a
Like,
bird on it, though.
hey, I'm fly by nature.
Oh, that is cool.
So that's why, like, it's an incredibly
Dual meaning.
fly costume.
Ah.
You look so cool, dude. Look so cool. How much cooler would he look if he won 1 of 5? Won 15 people, $500. All I can do is put the ball from where it is right now into that hole right down there. 15 people will be richer. 15 people will enjoy the hell out of this tax season with a little early bonus.
Hell yeah.
Of $500. Adam Pac-Man Jones.
Oh.
Cornerback in the NFL for 14 years. Pulls
speed.
one to the left, but he's just learning
Good
the course.
speed. Good speed. Good speed.
It was a great
Good
roll,
speed.
too. He seemed to be
Good
under
touch.
control and
Max
confident.
always had good speed.
Great speed.
Good speed.
4.28, this guy.
Yeah, perfect.
Obviously, 14 years in the NFL at corner. You're going to be an athlete. Pulled that one as well.
People are going to start talking.
This is not good. Obviously, we got 3 more attempts here. You can move that up all the way up to the.
Oh, that's.
Get in there.
Get there.
Get in there. Get in there.
All right, we got 2 shots. You can
Move
move it
that
all the
ball
way
up.
up. You can move it up. You can get a little bit
Stand
closer.
right on top of that hole, like Bruce.
He's got the line.
What are you doing? Bonus ball? Nope, I don't need
Oh,
it.
you should grab that
Oh,
one.
that could have been bonus ball if
Yeah.
you really wanted to. He said, nah, I don't need it.
Nah, he's
I
got
don't want
this
it.
one.
Come on,
This is it.
Pac-Man.
Kyle Van Noy hit a hole in one. He said it's
Allegedly.
legit. All Pac's got to do is drain one right. Oh, another pool.
Turn.
Another pool.
Here we go. Oh.
All right, people are going to talk.
Oh, no.
Pac-Man.
Adam Pac-Man Jones, one of the greatest athletes of all time, played offense, defense, and special teams, pulled 5 straight putts. Right here on
Michael
this
Cole getting
winter
the lead.
Wednesday, March 8th.
Pac-Man.
Could have gone closer.
It's too bad.
Could have gone closer. Didn't need it. Didn't want it. For the respect of the Thunderdome, we appreciate you doing that.
Yep.
Good run, Pac-Man.
Now, Pac-Man, let's not say that there's only losers today. No.
Good speed.
Let's do one last opportunity to win
Oh.
some people some money.
Might as well.
How about 10 people, $500?
Okay.
All you got to do is make one ball from this stage into that hoop right over there. You go 5 of 5, we'll get 50 people.
Whoa.
$500.
Wow.
Retweet this video, say something nice to somebody, and put the cash tag in the same reply.
Never happened before.
All you have to do is just make it from the stage. The shot has been made. It's a difficult shot. It's roughly a half-court shot NBA. Pac-Man Jones! Let's go! 10 people, $500. All you gotta do is retweet this video, say something nice to somebody, and put your cash tag in the same reply so we can pay you efficiently on Cash App.
Hell
Say
yeah.
something nice to somebody, too.
Wow.
It needs to be said. Maybe Pac-Man for winning 2 straight days. Now, Pac-Man, if you can hit 4
Yes.
more, you've gone 2 for 2
Here we
already.
go. Yeah.
Because before the show, we will count the one before the show.
Okay.
All you have to do is hit 3 more, and 50 people
Wow.
will win $500. This has never been
Nope.
done
Never been
before.
done before. Oh my God, he did it.
All right, well, it's over. Yeah, all right. So that's
Wow.
it. That's, oh, so you want to
Oh, so
go
he's still
5
there.
of 6? You're saying? Yeah. Okay, we'll give 30 people.
Okay.
Ooh.
All right, and that's over. Yeah.
Hey, still won.
Hey,
Still
still
won.
made it. Still made it.
Still made it.
10 people, $500. Pac-Man, hell of a day out of you.
Wow.
We appreciate the hell out of you. You booked D-Hop today, made our show better. We can't thank you enough. You're an absolute
dog.
AJ, great work. KJ Osborne saved a life and also got asked about their playoff performances. Mike Greenberg came on, said he would cut off.
An appendage. We just don't know which one.
Not his meat, though.
No.
Not as meat.
Potentially, though.
Maybe,
But
but
he'd
maybe.
consider it.
We can't thank you all enough for watching every single day and allowing us to do this for a living. We'll be back tomorrow with a great Thursday. Hey, tomorrow's going to be a big one.
Huge Thursday.
Be nice to each other. Goodbye.